Chinka died in a catastrophic accident and inadvertently transmigrated to the mystical world of cultivation. Forced to be a living sacrifice for the fierce, bloodthirsty monsters, he fell into the abyss of despair. At that critical moment of life and death, the All Heavens extraction system unexpectedly activated powerfully in his mind. He earned shock points by causing everyone around him to be astonished, stunned, and terrified. From then on, he embarked on a strange path of cultivation, combining ancient powers and advanced future technology. Everyone, please follow Kingdom Manhwa to watch Chinka's journey to become the overlord of all heavens. A group of people were teleported to a desolate place. They wondered, where is this? Who brought us here? The Jade Ghost subordinates looked sternly at the Entei group. He stammered, I heard that the Jade Ghost Nyang is about to celebrate her birthday. We were brought here to offer our congratulations. Chinka's face paled as he slowly opened his eyes. He looked at the people around him and wondered, what's that sound? Am I still alive? He suddenly remembered, I was hit by a heavy truck, died unexpectedly? Suddenly, a suffocating feeling overwhelmed Chinka, turning his face pale. What's going on? My neck feels so uncomfortable. I can't breathe. Entei collapsed to the ground and cried out in panic, someone, save us. Where are the immortal cultivators who eliminate demons? He suddenly sighed and lamented, Jade Ghost Nyang has occupied this place for over 100 years. Even immortal cultivators can't do anything. Being captured by her only leads to death. Then he pointed to Chinka, who was struggling, and lamented sadly, didn't you see? Just now, someone hanged himself out of despair. He opened his eyes wide in horror and thought, hanged himself? Chinka struggled continuously and shouted, damn it! I'm being hanged. Save me. One person looked at him struggling in surprise. He seems to be moving. Entei rushed over in confusion to support him. How is that possible? This person has been hanging for half a shurchen. His body is already cold. Never mind, let's bring him down first. If Jade Ghost Nyang wants to eat someone, let her eat him first. He helped Chinka out of the noose and reminded him, little brother, don't blame me. Since you're dead, please contribute a little for everyone's sake. Unexpectedly, Chinka gave a forced smile at this moment, his face pale, and said, I think I can still be saved. Entei was shocked as if his worldview had been shattered. He threw him into the air and shouted, Mommy, the living corpse has come back to life. Chinka fell to the ground with a thud and cursed, damn it. You made me fall and it hurts like hell. The people who were captured with Entei were also surprised. What's going on? They looked at him as if he were a strange creature. He's come back to life. Lan Lang and Huan Lang rushed out and threatened, what's all the noise? If you shout again, I'll drag you out and chop you into 8 pieces. Looking at the 2 beast-headed people in front of him, Chinka doubted, damn it, what are these? Beast heads and human bodies? Are they the legendary monsters? Lan Lang raised his voice and threatened, I'm telling you, all of you sit still. Being able to participate in the Jade Ghost Nyang's once-in-a-century Mingxin and being her burial objects is your good fortune. Chinka listened in horror and muttered, I woke up and was hanged, and after surviving, I have to be a burial object for some Jade Ghost Nyang? What kind of damn start is this? The system screen suddenly appeared before his eyes. Ding! System activated. Congratulations, you've hit the jackpot. He looked at the screen in doubt and questioned, hit the jackpot? Are you mocking me for being run over by a truck? System, do you have any humanity? The system continued, ding. Because your new beginning has shocked many people, you are specially granted the All Heavens lottery system. Chinka stared in confusion. All Heavens lottery system? His information appeared on the glowing screen. Name, Chinka, shock value, 0, reward pool, real world, can be drawn from, high martial world, not yet open, mythical world, not yet open. He looked at it for a while and asked, in the current reward pool, I can only draw from the real world. The high martial and mythical worlds are not yet open. In other words, I can draw items from the real world. System, how do I draw? The system calmly explained, when your actions cause others to be amazed, you will receive shock points. It cheerfully continued, the number of shock points depends on the strength and level of amazement of the target. Shock points can be used to exchange for lottery draws. Every 10 points can be exchanged for 1 lottery draw from the real world reward pool. The lottery results are completely random. Chinka suddenly understood, so it's about making others amazed by my behavior to collect shock points for lottery draws. I understand now. It seems that if I want to defy fate, I have to rely on this system. Lan Lang turned back inside and did not forget to threaten, everyone, sit there quietly. You can live a little longer. He whispered to Huan Lang, let's go. Nyang is about to wake up. We'll wait outside. Chinka suddenly shouted, okay, brothers, everyone pay attention to me. Look at me. Look at me. The 2 monsters turned back in confusion. Huan Lang looked at him and wondered, what is this kid doing? Chinka shouted even louder, attracting everyone's attention, look at me. Look at me. I'm announcing something. He declared heroically, these 2 monsters are idiots. The faces of the Entei group were filled with shock. Shock points were also added by a few points. They reminded him in confusion, hey. Su-peng, standing at the end, sighed secretly as he looked at him. This mortal is really too reckless. They began to discuss in a commotion. He dares to scold the monsters. He's probably scared out of his mind and starting to talk nonsense. Entei couldn't stand it and shouted, shut up. If you want to die, don't involve us. Looking at the displayed information, he rejoiced. My move is really effective. I immediately received 11 shock points. It's time to defy fate. System draw. The system suddenly appeared. Congratulations, you have received a fragrant water beauty brand fetish miniskirt. Looking at the item, Chunko was petrified. What the hell? A fetish miniskirt? He said through gritted teeth. What's the use of this? Am I supposed to put it on and dance a sexy dance to beg for mercy? Don't people usually receive newbie benefits and draw a pile of heaven-defying items at the start? Why is my system so useless? The two monsters couldn't swallow their anger and roared. You don't know what's good for you. You really don't want to die easily? I'm going to smash his bones. Chunko turned back in panic. It's come to this. The only way is to continue drawing. Otherwise, there's no hope. Su-peng thought in alarm. It seems I have to reveal myself early and save him first. The plan has been completely ruined by this bold guy. Lan Lang blocked him ferociously. I like hearing people scream the most. Let's see which bone I'll smash first. Without saying much, Chunko punched him in the face. Lan Lang was surprised. 8 shock points were added accordingly. The onlookers also turned pale. What? He dares to attack? Lan Lang's eyes turned red, his veins popped out, and he said through gritted teeth, you hit me? He gave him another slap. Lan Lang didn't expect him to attack again. He stared at Chunko in panic. This kid dares to be so arrogant. Could it be that he's not as simple as he looks? Is he an undercover cultivator from some sect nearby? He shouted, system, draw. The system drew another strange thing. Joy brand inflatable doll. Remaining shock points, 17. Chunko immediately spat out saliva on the spot. Inflatable doll? And Joy brand? What the hell am I supposed to be happy about? I'm about to die. He did not give up and kept pressing on the screen. Continue the lottery. A bottle of medicine appeared. Elephant-specific aphrodisiac, Fury brand. Remaining shock points, 7. Chunko erupted and screamed non-stop. Aphrodisiac? I curse your whole family. What is this? If I had known the system was so useless, I wouldn't have jumped out. Lan Lang looked at him suspiciously. Have you noticed anything strange about this kid? Huang Lang vigilantly assessed him. Judging from his aura and actions, he is indeed immortal. He can't possibly be a cultivator from those sects. He drew his weapon ferociously. A mortal dares to make trouble on our territory. How arrogant. Then Lan Lang charged straight at him. I'll kill you. Chunko shouted in panic. Wait. He asked suspiciously. What else do you want to do? Chunko lowered his head solemnly. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please spare my life. Lan Lang said through gritted teeth. It's too late to beg for mercy now. A shout came from outside, stopping Lan Lang's spear. Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang has returned. Monsters, quickly pay your respects. He and Huang Lang rushed away. Nyang Nyang is awake. He was also in a hurry. Let's go. Quickly go there. Nyang Nyang's temper is not good. We can't be late. Su Peng's voice suddenly rang out from behind. That was dangerous. Almost became the end at the beginning. She leaned against the city wall, exhausted. Fortunately, there was no great danger. My identity has not been revealed yet. I'll wait for a suitable opportunity later to kill Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang and complete the mission. Chunko approached her and spoke, Miss. He frankly exposed her, shocking her. You're an informant, aren't you? Su-peng stammered. Chunko sneered inwardly. As expected, my guess was correct. Giving a full fearful reaction. The stronger the strength, the greater the fear. This is not a normal person, she said awkwardly. How did you see through it? He explained, Miss, you have a calm demeanor, you're not afraid of danger, and you're not frightened by change. You must not be immortal. You were definitely deliberately captured by these monsters. Chunko thought, before, when I beat the little monsters, everyone had a shock value above their head, but she didn't have any. It's really too obvious. You can see the problem at a glance. Su-peng looked at him and couldn't stop admiring. You're really smart. I'm here this time to complete a mission, to eliminate Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang. The familiar voice rang out again. System reminder, shock value has reached 20 points. Do you want to draw a lottery? Chunko quickly ordered, draw Emperor's Blessing Body. I can definitely draw something good this time. The system drew another strange thing. Congratulations, you have received Sure Air Siang brand barbecue meat ingredients. Remaining shock value, 2 points. Chunko cursed in shock. Damn it. Are you kidding me? What kind of scam system is this? He turned to Su-peng and suggested, Miss, are you confident in killing the demon alone? He thought to himself, if the system doesn't help, I can only think of another way. She was full of confidence, and said triumphantly, I wouldn't dare say I'm 100% confident. After all, Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang is a famous great demon. But in a one-on-one fight with her, I won't lose. He introduced himself. My name is Chimka. May I ask for Mrs. name? It may be due to the fact that I just transmigrated here. My mind is full of chaos. I only remember that the original owner's name was Chimka. I can't remember a lot of other information. She pointed to herself triumphantly. Su Peng, a disciple of Yao Shou Mountain. Chimka continued to suggest, Miss Su, to be honest, I also want to eliminate demons and defend the Dao. I'll help you. Following Su AI is the only way to ensure safety. She looked at him in confusion. You? No way. A mortal like you can't help. Chimka didn't give up and pressed closer to her. Does Yao Shou Mountain still accept disciples? Do you think I'm suitable? If this world is a world of cultivation, then how can I not cultivate after transmigrating? Su Ping was flustered. Yao Shou Mountain's requirements for accepting disciples are extremely strict. It's not a place that ordinary people can enter, he suggested. Then how about Miss Su helping me see my aptitude? Maybe I'm a peerless genius. She looked at him suspiciously and gently touched Chimku's forehead with one hand, reminding him, don't move. Su Ping felt it for a while, and then her eyes widened in shock again. This is... Chimku rejoiced secretly. She's shocked. This sister is shocked. I must be a peerless genius that scared her. This is the standard arrangement that a transmigrator should have. She said in confusion, your aptitude is a little... I don't know how to say it. He laughed excitedly. Miss Su, just say it. It must be that my aptitude is so good that you don't know how to describe it. In reality, Chimku was slapped in the face painfully. She said in horror, you are an extremely useless person. He was petrified on the spot after hearing this. Huh. The system suddenly rang. The host is self-shocked. Double reward. Shock value has reached 50 points. Do you want to draw a lottery? She continued calmly. In my 20 years of cultivation, I have never seen anyone as useless as you. Even mortals with the worst aptitude have 5-colored mixed spiritual roots, at most with 99% impurities. But you're good. There's nothing in your body. You can't even see the shadow of a spiritual root. Chimku's eyes widened. Are you saying that I can't cultivate? Su Ping was a little confused. How can you cultivate without spiritual roots? Someone like you can't have even a trace of spiritual power in your body, even if Yao Shou Mountain's ancestor poured spiritual power into you every day. He panicked. Aren't there any methods? She replied, I can't think of any way. But there's something very strange in your body. I don't know what the reason is. He was stunned again after hearing this. Strange? Lan Lang rushed in and roared, everyone, come out. Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang has left seclusion. Go there and congratulate Nyang Nyang. The people turned pale after hearing this. And Tay said fiercely, I have to go congratulate Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang later to fight for a chance to survive. You brat, be good and don't provoke Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang, or I'll make you look good. He grabbed Chimku's collar and said through gritted teeth, did you hear that? He sneered and teased him. What? Are you saying that Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang is ugly? And Tay was shocked again. He stammered, what nonsense are you talking about? I told you to shut up. He provoked him calmly. You said Nyang Nyang is fat and has an affair with Old Bull of West Mountain. Lan Lang, standing behind him, Tay said through gritted teeth, why are there so many arrogant people today? Do you want to die sooner? He stammered and defended I didn't say that. Huang Lang ordered, drag him away. Put this fat man in front later so that Nyang Nyang can favor him first. The system screen showed clearly, name, Chimku, shock value. 22, reward pool, real world, can be drawn from, high martial world, not yet open, mythical world, not yet open. He rejoiced secretly, isn't this an easy way to get 2 more lottery opportunities? Continue to draw. The things drawn were, higher brand air conditioner, Lao Tian E brand washing machine. Remaining shock value, 2 points. Chimku's face darkened as he read the information about them. Very good system. You can't even draw a single useful item, can you? The sky was clear, and the clouds were white. Stand still here for me. No one is allowed to move. Lan Lang continued, that fat guy, come out. And Tay shouted in horror, Lord, I'm a good citizen. The dogs pushed him to the ground while reporting to Jade Ghost, Nyang Nyang, the human meat Zongzi has been brought to you. A burst of aura suddenly appeared. Jade Ghost's figure appeared afterward. She observed in Tay. He looked up, his face flushed, and sighed, this is Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang, whose reputation resounds through the heavens. She is so beautiful. The corners of her mouth curved, and her appearance suddenly became bizarre as she questioned, am I beautiful? And Tay shouted in horror, Mommy! She burst into anger and shouted, stupid humans are only bewitched by appearances, not knowing that this is the root of your suffering. And Tay was immediately strangled by that aura. She continued arrogantly, there are too many useless people in this world. Come, let my stomach favor you. Su Peng, beside Chimku, commented, Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang's aura is stronger than I thought. He asked curiously, aren't you her match? She replied unhurriedly, "It's not that bad." Then she looked at Jade Ghost as she continued, "It's just that to be sure of defeating her, I must launch a successful attack. The current distance is too far. There's no opportunity." Chinku replied indifferently, "If there's no opportunity, create one." With a smile on his face, he declared firmly, "I'll help you lead Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang over there. All hope now rests on Sui Ai. Helping her is saving myself. I'll risk it all." Su Peng immediately reminded, "This is a great demon. Don't act rashly." At this moment, Chinku laughed loudly and said, "I'm not pretending anymore. I'm revealing my hand." Several background characters behind him released shock points, asking curiously, what does he want to do again? He dares to jump out in front of Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang. He's very brave. At this time, a wolf approached him and questioned, "Boy, I told you not to move around. You dare to." But Chinku kicked him directly in the crotch. He walked past this person and went forward, "Get out of the way. I want to tell Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang the real reason I came here." Jade Ghost asked curiously, "The real reason? What's your purpose?" Chinku sneered and continued, "Nyang Nyang, come closer. I'll only tell you this alone." In an instant, she appeared in front of him. "A mortal dares to hit someone in front of me. I've never seen anyone as arrogant as you. Speak." Chinku's expression remained the same as he replied, "Never seen one? Today, I'll show you more arrogance." In an instant, he retreated backward. And a loud shout was heard, "Deal with her." Several animals were shocked and released shock points. But after waiting for a long time, there was still no movement. Chinku couldn't help but freeze. "Damn it. Why haven't they attacked?" Jade Ghost replied, "The bewitching behavior of humans sometimes really makes people not understand." Chinku glanced at Su Ping and shouted incredulously, "Big sister, I've already made a threatening statement. Why aren't you attacking?" She remained silent. Then she glanced backward and sensed, "There's demonic aura." Hei Feng growled, "Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang." He appeared, asking angrily, "Why did you eat human meat dumplings without calling me?" "I smelled the fragrance, and came right away." Hearing these words, Jade Ghost replied, "Hei Feng Guai, you still can't get rid of your gluttony. Never mind. Since you're here, Nyang Nyang will share a portion with you." Su Peng's eyes widened in shock. This black bear spirit is no less powerful than Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang. I didn't expect there to be two great demons here. I'm no match for them. Chinku panicked, "Damn it. What should I do? Aren't I definitely going to die?" She replied, "Never mind. I can only force an attack and quickly return to the sect to call for people. These mortals may still have a chance to survive. Failure is failure." And Jade Ghost suddenly reached out to grab him, "Come here." Then she reached out and touched Chinku. Jade Ghost choked Chinku's neck with one hand, sneered, and said, "Now, I will suck all the blood from your body and turn your skin into a sky lantern. Do you have anything to say?" His face was twisted and ugly, and he stammered, I. She opened her mouth wide, revealing four fangs, "Come here." Jade Ghost's mouth was getting closer and closer, and Chinku's eyes widened in fear. Unexpectedly, in the next second, he kissed her on the lips. And Jade Ghost's eyes widened in shock. The scene made Hei Feng's eyes widen. Shock +3. This. Su Peng blushed, shock points +3 accordingly. Apart from them, Ante also gaped and sighed, "You're really hungry. You can eat anything." This person's shock points were +3. Lan Lang and his gang each got one shock point, sighing one after another, "What kind of bewitching act is this? I don't understand this mortal's actions. I'm really shocked." Nyang Nyang was humiliated by a mortal. Jade Ghost immediately pushed Chinku away while shouting, "You're presumptuous." Unexpectedly, his face turned red, and a lot of jumbled words poured out from him. "I'm not pretending anymore. I'll just say it straight. I've been in love with Jade Ghost Nyang Nyang since the first time I saw her. Nyang Nyang's beauty has invaded my mind, making me unable to restrain myself." Hei Feng hurriedly reminded, "Nyang Nyang, this guy looks like a liar, cunning. Don't believe him." Even so, Jade Ghost was already shy and blushing. She leaned close to him and questioned, "Do you really think I'm beautiful? Am I really beautiful?" Since he was already in this mess, Chinku took out a skirt at this time, raised it, and explained, "Beautiful. I even prepared a gift for Nyang Nyang." She asked curiously, "What is this?" Then she shouted in shock, "Smooth tongue. You just said you were going to attack." Chinku smiled and explained, "I said attack to cook for Nyang Nyang. This fat guy doesn't taste like anything. I can help Nyang Nyang process him and make a big feast." And Tae was also shot while lying down, shock points +3. He cursed angrily, "What? Are you even human?" But Chinku began to explain, "This fat guy is fat and plump. Barbecue the thigh with spices, bake it until it's bursting with flavor. Steam the sliced kidneys. Delicious and rich. Stir-fry the crispy pig ears with chili, deep-fried, crispy, delicious. One person eats 3 dishes. Others can also be processed like that." Everyone else got 1 shock point each. They commented on his personality one after another. "This bastard is actually a traitor. Eating his own kind. Not human. A traitor. You are shameless." Hey Phone listened to Chinku's descriptions, and his mouth couldn't help but drool. One person, 3 dishes. This way of eating is quite special. Just listening to it makes my mouth water. Why don't you let him try it? At this time, Jade Ghost smiled and spoke while turning around and walking away, betraying your own kind for survival and harming yourself. I really admire mortals like you. I'll temporarily give you a chance to live. Then it was Hei Feng's turn to growl threateningly, boy, if you don't cook well, I'll tear you apart first. These words hurt his self-esteem a little. After all, I used all my acting skills to get through a disaster. Huang Lang said, lead them all into the kitchen for this mortal to handle. Boy, you'll get your comeuppance sooner or later. You scoundrel. You're so unethical. Chinku was muttering, I'd rather commit suicide than let you cook. He tapped on the screen and shouted the activation command, system, draw all the points. With a somewhat reluctant expression, Chinku thought to himself, if I don't get something good this time, then I'm almost dead. I beg all of humanity to help me accumulate luck. The system screen quickly displayed the rewards he drew. The system congratulates you on receiving a parachute with no bad reviews and a divine shield bulletproof vest. Remaining shock points, 7 points. But the more he read, the more stunned Chimku's face became. A parachute with no bad reviews? Who would dare to use this? It wasted 20 points. On this side, Lan Lang urged hard, mortal, hurry up and arrange things. The 2 great kings are hungry. He glanced at his prey, and Tay, who was crying, and probed Jade Ghost's taste. Great king likes barbecue. Why not directly barbecue this fat guy? Chinku sneered and explained to him, this guy is fat and plump. If you barbecue him, all the oil will be gone, and the water will be dried up. It won't be delicious at all. Lan Lang became even more curious and asked, so you mean? Upon receiving this question, Chinku kindly enlightened this green dog, I have a specialty dish that's just right to offer to the great king. Just put this fat guy in yellow wine. Add onion, ginger, garlic, pepper, cinnamon, and other spices, marinate for an hour, then take out the internal organs, stuff him with chicken, duck, and fish meat, and steam it. It's extremely delicious. And Tay was even more horrified, shock points increased by 4 points. As he shouted, what? His hands and feet lost their strength, and Tay tried hard to crawl backward, constantly begging for mercy, spare me. I haven't showered in 3 years. Normally, when I go to the toilet, I stick to my pants. But uselessly, all his words were cut off by that order. Drag him down. According to him, wash him clean and marinate him with yellow wine and spices. The 2 Huang Lang and Lan Lang dragged Tay away like a piece of meat while cursing, damn spy. You were born without an ass. Chinku didn't forget to remind him, remember, you must marinate him alive. If he's dead, he won't be fresh. At this time, Huang Lang suddenly wondered, what about the rest of them? He smiled meaningfully and explained, the rest will be done according to each person's method. Their faces were covered in sweat, and shock points continued to be added as they listened to these words. Chinku even kindly promised, but I will make dishes based on the characteristics of each ingredient. Before I'm done, I'll roast some wild meat for the great king to fill his stomach first. Huang Lang carefully reminded him, the great king only wants to eat people. Eating something else will not make him happy. But he patted his chest confidently, don't worry. This monster, if the great king doesn't like roasted meat, I will roast myself and offer it to the great king. In a short while, Chinku had several skewers of juicy meat in his hand. He smiled and roasted them, thinking about what happened just now. I just drew 12 kinds of barbecue spices. It's just right. The aroma of the food wafted into the noses of the 2 dogs, making them drool. It's so fragrant. This mortal really has some talent. His cooking skills are also quite good. Chinku glanced and listened to these words. The ordinary, smelly pork that he roasts is so delicious? He drooled. He couldn't help but feel complacent. How could it not be delicious? The spices are sprinkled all over it. Even roasting shoe soles would be delicious. Unexpectedly, he was holding a bottle of medicine in his hand. Chinku sneered and muttered, aphrodisiac for fun. It takes effect in 10 minutes. I don't know if it will work on monsters. Then he was very generous, covering all the skewers of meat with this liquid, putting everything in. On the other side, Tay was soaking in water, tears streaming down his face. Chinku approached, speaking with some disparagement, fatty, don't blame me, it's fate. Who told you to be the fattest, with the most meat? Even pigs choose fatty meat to kill. Right. Hearing this, T's shock points continued to jump, adding 2 points to Chinku's bag. He cracked a sly smile and added, if you're afraid of death, I actually have a way. I'll cut off your thing, and losing your manhood will definitely make you want to die. He continued to offer shock points to him, loudly scolding, you perverted freak, I'll curse you to have a bad ending. Chinku, meanwhile, thought to himself. This fatty is really a point-generating machine, just teasing him gives me points. He turned his head, directly admitting the words he had just uttered, that's right, the more excited you are, the easier it is for the seasoning to penetrate. Chinku smirked and left, leaving behind an Tay who was constantly releasing shock points. After settling down in another corner, Chinku began to check the system. He had accumulated 25 points, enough for 2 draws. System draw. The screen displayed information about him. Name, Chinku, shock points, 25, real world rewards available, high martial world unopened, mythical world unopened. The 2 items drawn were named Desert Eagle semi-automatic and Rebby carbonated drink. Shock points remaining, 5 points. Chinku exclaimed, gold. Gold. Finally, something good. It wasn't easy. At this moment, Supung, who was next to him, commented with her arms crossed, seeing you so happy, do you really want to be a traitor? Chinku did not argue with her, smiling and correcting, how could I? My big eyes and thick eyebrows don't look like a traitor. Then, he kindly reminded Supung, Miss Su, instead of sitting here waiting to die, why not take the initiative and fight for survival? These words made her a little uncomfortable, and Supung directly declared, 2 great demons, I have no chance of winning. Unexpectedly, Chinku made a suggestion, I'll help you deal with one. Supung immediately became alert, reminding him unhappily, I'm not in the mood to joke with you right now. But Chinku affirmed, I'm not joking, I'm serious. At this moment, Hei Feng behind them said unhappily, human cook, my roasted meat is about to run out. He licked his lips greedily, urging, hurry up and deal with that fatty. Chinku frowned, signaling, Miss Su, listen to my command, prepare for battle. The Hei Feng then turned to Yugui and exclaimed, your ladyship, I must say, this human cook's cooking skills are quite good. Your ladyship must try it. She agreed with him. It's too delicious, so fragrant. Other demon beasts ate voraciously, drool dripping from their mouths. It's too delicious. This is the best roasted meat I've ever eaten. Not enough. What's the rush? This cook's roasted meat is just an appetizer. The real delicacies are yet to come. At this moment, N.T's face changed as he lay waiting for death. Hei Feng continued to urge from the side, cook, quickly kill that fatty. Your ladyship is getting impatient. The cooking knife in Chinku's hand was raised high as he spoke, fatty, don't move. I'll give you a quick death. N.T continuously jumped shock points, sweating profusely as he scolded, traitor, even if I become a ghost, I won't let you go. His expression became resolute, and his hand decisively struck down, go well. N.T released as many as 8 shock points as he shouted loudly. But Chinku untied him instead of harming him. N.T looked suspiciously at his freed hand, huh? I'm okay? Chinku then stood facing Yugui and Hei Feng, reminding N.T while turning against his enemies in front, quickly escaped far away. Next, I will eliminate demons and exorcise evil. He scrambled to his feet, shock points continuing to add 5, and N.T curiously asked, you're a good person? Going to deal with demons? Hei Feng questioned unhappily, cook, what are you doing? But at this moment, Chinku already had a gun in his hand. What am I doing? He aimed it at his enemies while answering, of course, I'm doing you. Miss Su, it's time to act. The name of Supung caused Hei Feng to subconsciously add another shock point, asking, Miss Su? Unexpectedly, Chinku muttered unhappily when he saw Supung still standing still. Damn it, still not acting? Can't there be some coordination? In fact, she was thinking at this moment, is this guy an idiot? Just rushing in like that, how can he have a chance of winning? Now, even a surprise attack is impossible. Yugui angrily continued, I gave you a chance, but you keep harming yourself. She didn't show any more consideration for Chinku, directly launching an attack, I have to tear you apart myself. Chinku's face did not hide his surprise as the hand with claws swung over. At this moment, a blow was struck, successfully challenging the two of them. Demon, stop. Yugui was surprised, gnashing her teeth unhappily. Chinku, on the other hand, was enthusiastically showing his face. Miss Su, you scared me to death. I thought you had run away. Supung, holding a sword in her hand, coldly replied, you've harmed me, now I can only fight desperately. Yugui was angry to the point of grinding her teeth when she realized she had been deceived. People of Tianqiu Mountain, daring to disturb her ladyship's good fortune, you're definitely dead. The Huang Lang, Lan Lang, and Hei Feng simultaneously launched an attack. I like eating cultivators from Tianqiu Mountain the most. My darlings, skin them for me. Following behind were several other dogs. We're too good at skinning this guy. They loudly clamored to each other, surround them. Don't let them escape. Meanwhile, Yugui on this side was pausing. At that moment, she felt something strange in her body. Her body became hotter. The dogs were also affected by the aphrodisiac from earlier. One spoke, what's going on? I feel difficulty breathing, and my body is unbearably hot. The second also added, I feel dizzy, with a strong urge. They turned their lustful gaze towards Yugui. Your ladyship Yugui is so beautiful. Thighs I want. Supung was so confused by the scene before her that she uttered a sound of surprise, while Chinku next to her gave a forced smile. Several dogs simultaneously rushed towards Yugui. Chinku cheerfully spoke, the elephant aphrodisiac is taking effect. Unexpectedly, she blew the pack of wolves away with one blow, accompanied by a curse. Presumptuous. Chinku could not help but think in surprise. Fortunately, these demons only have feelings for their own kind. Otherwise, Miss Su would also be in trouble. Yugui herself was sweating, muttering, this is. She looked at her subordinates with strange expressions, wondering, what's going on? Hei Feng then spoke, Your Ladyship Yugui. His face was flushed red with the drug, and his hand reached out towards her. I can't control myself anymore. Only then did Yugui understand everything. You did it. You put the drug in the roasted meat. But in an instant, Hei Feng closed the distance, appearing behind her. He returned to his animal form, drool dripping down, looking at her with greedy eyes. Yugui slapped Hei Feng in the face, causing syrup to fly out. Qinku enthusiastically signaled to Su Peng, Miss Su, this is a good opportunity to kill your ladyship Yugui. Don't miss it. Su Peng quickly moved according to the command, while Yugui on the other side was surrounded by the mindless dogs. Her expression became panicked. At this moment, Su Peng seized the opportunity to attack. Yugui backed away, cursing incessantly, You human brat, I have never been humiliated like this. There was a red item in her hand at this moment. A smug smile appeared on Yugui's face. She clenched this thing, muttering, Jade fragment. Immediately, a barrier appeared, surrounding and protecting her. The aroused dogs were also sent flying away. Yugui then rushed over, shouting towards Qinku, I will definitely kill you. But Su Peng in the back stabbed a sword forward, forcing Yugui to stop chasing to dodge. Get past me first. The dogs that were sent flying fell to the ground. Hei Feng struggled to his feet. His mind was now back to normal. Damn it, this king actually fell for it. This aphrodisiac is too strong. I have to force that brat to reveal the formula later. Yugui, dodging the attack, spoke, Black Bear Spirit, go kill that human. Don't let him escape. Mentioning Qinku, his expression also became many times more ferocious. That's exactly what I want. Qinku hurriedly raised his hand to stop him, retreating while speaking, trying to delay the fight. Wait, I have something to say. But Hei Feng growled and refused. No need to beg for mercy. Now I just want to torture you. He certainly did not expect that at this moment a gun would appear in Qinku's hand again. He arrogantly pointed it at Hei Feng while speaking, Great King. I want to say, the times have changed. His expression immediately became shocked. What? Su Peng on this side exclaimed in horror, What's that sound? Yugui also widened her eyes in surprise. This is. When they realized it, Hei Feng had been pierced through with a hole, lying motionless on the ground. The Black Bear Spirit is dead? How is that possible? What is that magical treasure? Su Peng then exclaimed, he wasn't lying. He really did eliminate a great demon. And Yugui was already bursting with power. No one will leave here alive today. The two girls kept their distance from each other. Su Peng backed away but still loudly shouted, Your ladyship Yugui, without your companions, I'm not afraid of you anymore. On the other hand, Qinku was stepping on Hei Feng, speaking, You brat, today I'll teach you a lesson, so you know that animals rely on mutation, and humans rely on science. He frowned and retorted, Human, how dare you hurt me? The words made Qinku step back in shock. Damn it, not dead? And Tay, meanwhile, was frantically running away from this place, his mouth constantly shouting fearful words. Mom, the Black Bear Spirit is alive again. I have to run. Hei Feng, covered in pink power, spoke gloomily, Your magical treasure is indeed powerful. But unfortunately, without spiritual power support, it can't cause fatal damage to me. It's just a skin wound. But Qinku exclaimed, Head shot through, and you say it's a skin wound? Then Yugui directly interrupted, urging Black Bear Freak, quickly kill this brat. He's just a mortal, talking too much. Qinku continued to ask the system, draw everything. The system immediately responded, giving him 3 items in one go. Congratulations, you received, Anti-Ghost card, Dead Child Grenade, Bear Kids Smoke Grenade card. Heavy Duty Truck card, Shock points remaining, 5 points. Qinku said with satisfaction, Good stuff, all good stuff, but not sure if it will work on this Black Bear Spirit. Hei Feng's aura grew stronger and stronger. He growled and replied to Yugui, Your ladyship, rest assured, he won't escape my grasp. At this moment, Qinku frantically fired at Hei Feng. But to him, it was just child's play, useless. I can recover from this wound by eating 2 people. Then, a hand with sharp claws reached towards Qinku. I will tear you apart. But he was not afraid. Instead, he threw something at him with a message, You become a bear kid. Hei Feng saw the strange thing and recoiled back in fright. The light flashed, covering his vision. His eyes closed tightly, and he cursed loudly, Damn it, what is this thing? I can't see anything anymore. Yugui, who was dueling with Su Peng on one side, couldn't help but feel annoyed upon hearing this. Waste, you're also a great demon. Don't you know how to use divine sense? The space then gradually softened, and Hei Feng backed away. He became more and more angry, growling threateningly at Qinku, You damned brat. Then Hei Feng jumped onto the ground, aiming at Qinku as his target, frantically chasing after him. You can't escape. Outside, the scenery was blue sky, white clouds, and golden sun. And Tay had long since reached the ground, frantically running away, muttering, Leaving this forest is safe. At this moment, a voice rang out from behind, startling him. Little fatty, wait for me. Seeing the calamity Qinku running from afar, Ante cried 2 lines of tears, calling out in a broken voice, Big brother, it's very spacious. Don't chase after me. Following Qinku was also the figure of Hei Feng. He ran while loudly shouting, "You idiots, you're just using your legs. Where can you run to?" And Tae, seeing another Heifeng, couldn't help but be shocked. "Big brother, I beg you, run somewhere else. If the black bear spirit chases, then neither of us will survive." But Chinku used a frivolous attitude to respond to his words. "Running with you makes me feel safe." These words made Tae incomprehensibly ask, "Safe? What do you mean?" He strode forward, leaving him with some advice. "As long as I run faster than you can help me buy some time to escape." And Tae, hearing this, could only exclaim in surprise, "What?" And then he raised two middle fingers affectionately towards Chinku as he watched him run ahead. "Me? Are you that kind of person? Is this your action?" At this moment, Heifeng rushed from behind with a wide-open mouth. "I will bite off your head." And Tae gave up trying to escape, sitting down on the ground, calling out in a broken voice, "It's over." At this moment, Chinku suddenly slammed on the brakes. Heifeng's wide-open mouth was still aimed at him. Chinku smirked and muttered, "Enough coming here." A screeching sound suddenly rang out. And Heifeng closed his mouth incomprehensibly when Chinku threw a grenade into his mouth. "What is it?" Chinku on this side loudly explained, "Black bear spirit. This old man invites you to eat a grenade." The words were barely finished when the grenade created a significant explosion. And Tae backed away, speaking unbelievably, "This is..." Heifeng growled in pain. He was now lying in a hole created by that grenade, cursing incessantly, "You hurt me again. This hot temper of mine." Chinku smiled and commented, "Too thick-skinned, can't kill him indeed." And he raised a hand high as he continued to speak, "Looks like I can only use powerful weapons." As soon as he finished speaking, a black car immediately appeared. And Tae became even more frightened seeing these strange things. "Mom, what is this? A demon?" Chinku signaled, "Get in the car," but he was too timid to comply. I don't dare." Chinku's attitude immediately became stern. "If you don't want to die, get in the car now. I don't want to waste time." And Tae scrambled to his feet, quickly heading towards the car. Okay. As soon as he got in the car, Tae released 3 more shock points as he spoke. "Big brother, what is this big box?" Chinku explained while fastening his seatbelt. "You can call it a technological magical treasure." Then he shifted gears. "Hold on tight." Following, he stepped on the brake with a reminder, "I'm starting here." Heifeng on this side was full of strawberry syrup but still tried to speak. "Even if I get hurt more, it's still just a skin wound." He watched the shadow of the car, annoyed, and exclaimed, "Brat, you really surprised me today. I didn't expect you to hurt me repeatedly." But when he saw the car in front of him, Heifeng couldn't help but exclaim, "Huh? Why is that guy in that big box?" And Chinku unhesitatingly rammed the car directly towards him. "I'm lucky today, let you have bad luck." Heifeng loudly shouted, "Damn it, it feels like being hit by a mountain." He was pushed back, constantly curious about that thing. "What is this? Why is the power so great?" Heifeng continued to be stabbed by Chinku. While backing away, he commented, "Without spiritual power support, it's all skin wounds. You can't kill me." Chinku then added another stab into this person. Heifeng continued to be pushed away, still firmly commented, "Skin wound." The next time Chinku rammed him, it was an all-out effort. And Heifeng, even though he spat out a mouthful of strawberry syrup, still believed that it was only a small skin wound. Early crow eats shit. Chinku's car continued to collide with him. Making Heifeng fly away, the only thing that could be heard was the word skin. At this moment, he began to feel afraid. Am I going to die at the hands of Immortal again? Taking mortal kills Immortal. Unable to accept this truth until the last moment of his life, how could this be? And Tae looked curiously dead. And he exclaimed again when they drove away, leaving Heifeng lying on a pool of his own syrup. "Big brother, you killed a great demon." Chinku arrogantly explained, rumbling for half a day, "An elephant can also kill 10, but this guy only died, it's too difficult." At this moment, his car suddenly stopped. Chinku jumped out while signaling to Tae, "Get out of the car." He asked incomprehensibly, "What for?" But also obediently followed him down, listening to Chinku's explanation. "This great demon is full of treasures, can't waste it." At this moment, a light suddenly appeared in front of him. After a fierce battle with Yugui, Su Ping was almost exhausted. She thought, prolonging it like this is not the way, I'm afraid it will attract other great demons. Su Ping made a hand seal, muttering worriedly about Chinku. I don't know how Chinku's side is. Must fight quickly and win quickly. Without thinking too much, Su Ping then cast a magic circle in the air. Yugui, seeing this, was not only unafraid but also gave a contemptuous smile. Tianqiu Mountain's masterpiece, 5 elements spirit-locking formation, using the cultivator's spiritual root as the foundation, erupting with powerful power. At this moment, the cave suddenly shook extremely strongly. Su Ping was momentarily flustered. From behind Su Ping, a stone slab taller than a person appeared, and a thick aura emanated from it. You think only you have masterpieces? Doesn't this lady have any trump cards? Seeing the aura emanating from it, Su Ping couldn't help but exclaim, this tombstone gives people a feeling of being too evil. Looking at her expression, Yugui was somewhat amused. This tombstone was obtained by me in an unfathomable and mysterious place. Even I have to be wary of the evil power on it. The most important thing is that it can directly hit and ignite the cultivator's spiritual root. causing you people with spiritual roots to explode and die. She ordered the tombstone to attack the magic circle directly. Break. Its speed rushed so fast that it seemed to tear through the wind. The circle of magic affected Su Peng's spiritual root. She spat out a mouthful of blood. It's broken. Yugui was satisfied with her move, teasing, if there were no tombstone, killing you would be a bit of a hassle. She revealed the scar on her face, disdainfully curled her lips. But unfortunately, your luck is not good, the mountain girl of Yaoshou Mountain, Su Ping. Hearing these words of Yugui, Su Peng frowned vigilantly. Your ladyship Yugui actually knows me. She did not hesitate to answer all her questions. Su Peng, top-grade spiritual root of the metal attribute. Famous, of course, I have heard of it. The blood on the corner of Su Peng's mouth had dried up. She frowned worriedly. Damn it, the great formation was broken by that weird tombstone. My spiritual root was backlashed. The injury is not light, wanting to kill her again, I'm afraid. While Su Peng was temporarily losing her power, Yugui took the opportunity to rush over. Today I will take your body, skin your skin to help me cultivate. Suddenly, a stylish four-wheeler appeared out of nowhere. Chinku excitedly called out, got lucky. He directly slammed into Yugui, knocking the whole person several meters away. Su Peng saw a shocking scene and widened her eyes. This is shock plus 2. He braked with a bang, lowered the car window and waved hello to Su Peng. Miss Su, I'm here. Yugui on the other hand had just stood up. She angrily scolded, you are still alive. Where is Black Wind Freak? Without waiting long, Chinku pointed behind him with a hint, lying in the carriage. In the truck bed, the black bear spirit who had been beaten to pieces was laying dead. Seeing a shocking scene, Yugui trembled with fear. The Black Wind Freak is dead. Who killed? Shock plus 5. Again ignoring the two people in the truck, she turned around to look around. Could it be that there are other cultivators nearby? He did not quickly or slowly replied. Don't look anymore, that black bear was killed by me. The two great cultivators and great monsters heard a mortal like him bragging. Without a bit of reaction, Chinku looked at their expressions and curled his lips. No sign of shock. Obviously these two people don't believe it. Yugui then summoned the tombstone bursting with purple aura, arrogantly said, I am at the key stage of the molting process, so priority is to leave here safely. But before leaving, kill this brat first, she said while sending the tombstone as hard as a grindstone into the four wheels, constantly shrieking, I have never hated a human like this, go die. Chinku sitting inside the car looked out the window and shouted, Miss Su, protect me. Su Ping did not slow down for a second and rushed forward. She faced to face with the tombstone, slashed down with a sword, watch sword. Yugui next to her did not let her succeed. She waved her hand to pull the energy to the other side. Naive, no one can protect you. Immediately, Su Ping was injured by the tombstone for the second time, flying far away. No, this tombstone is too strange. Chinku inside the car saw that the situation was not good and quickly spoke. What? Even Miss Su can't block it. At that moment, Yugui had recalled the tombstone, once again channeling the purple aura to attack him. If even this can't kill you, I will have been a great demon for nothing. Seeing it flying towards him, Chinku closed his eyes in panic, and thought in his heart, it's over, forced to transmigrate again. But a strange phenomenon occurred. When it came into contact with him, it was integrated. After a scene of extreme shock but his whole body without a scratch, Chinku blanked out. I'm not dead. Shock plus 3, times 2. Yugui couldn't believe her eyes, and a few traces of horror rose in her heart. What was going on? Where was my steel? Horror plus 5. At this time, she could hardly remain calm. Murderous intent enveloped the surroundings. How could such a weird thing be absorbed by Chinku's body? In a moment of unconsciousness, Yugui desperately rushed to snatch back the secret treasure. She aimed directly at Chinku in the car to demand her things back, constantly threatening him. Return the tombstone to me. This old lady will rip your stomach open. But Chinku was one step ahead. He quickly stepped on the gas pedal. Screech, screech, the car spun around, kicking her away again. Seeing Yugui's opening, Su Peng quickly seized the opportunity. Good chance, kill. With that, she directly rushed over, slashing a straight line at Yugui. Wounded severely, she couldn't help but hiss in anger. Damn it, Chinku, I, Yugui Nyang will remember you. Before Yugui could run away, she didn't forget to leave a warning. You wait for me, there will be a day. Having said half a sentence, she had already disappeared without a trace. With a few vague echoes, I swear I will definitely come find you. Waiting for Yugui to leave, and T's face was pale, and he exhaled. Is it over? Oh my god, that was too frightening. On the other side, Su Peng suddenly collapsed to the ground. Pfft. Seeing this, Chinku quickly got out of the car and ran to her, shouting, Su Gunyang. Because Su Peng was injured by Yugui, her spiritual root was damaged, so she spat out a mouthful of bright red blood. Chinku asked worriedly, are you okay? Knowing that she could hardly bear it, a few traces of urgency flashed in the depths of Su Peng's eyes. My spiritual root was damaged by Yugui Nyang. I must immediately return to Yaoshou Shan. Otherwise it will leave behind a Dao injury. Seeing that she was seriously injured, Chinku offered a suggestion. I'll take you back. Su Peng quickly wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth and refused. No need, Yaoshou Shan is 800 li away from here. Then, while she was continuing, I have to go back within a day. You guys are too slow. Su Peng spat out another mouthful of syrup. Chinka quickly supported her, urgently objecting, with such a serious injury, how can you go back alone? Having said that, Chinka quickly helped her up step by step and called Ntei, Fatty, help Su Gunyang into the car. In just a moment, Chinka, Su Peng, and Ntei were seated in the car, driving briskly on the rugged mountain road. Su Peng was enlightened at this time, constantly praising Chinka's war machine. This scientific magic weapon is really magical, and the speed is also very fast. Hearing this, he didn't explain much, just made up a reason. I cultivate the Tao of science, Su Gunyang, not to brag, but when cultivation is complete, the world will be peaceful. As for Ntei, he was sitting in the back of the car, hugging his knees and sulking. The back of the car was where the corpse of He Xiongjing was placed. Ntei didn't dare to move, and pleaded, Degu, can you take me home first? My father is still waiting for me to go back and get married. As soon as he finished speaking, Chinka decisively slammed on the brakes and said, get out of the car, no need to see you off. In the middle of the desolate mountain, there was the sound of Chinka angrily scolding, nonsense, Su Gunyang is seriously injured, she has to go back to Yao Shou Shan urgently. Who has time to take you? Ntei is more timid than a rabbit, he doesn't dare to stay here, so he quickly turned the car around. I don't dare to go alone in this desolate mountain. So let me go to Yao Shou Shan with you two first. Thus, the three of them continued their four-wheeled journey to Yao Shou Shan. At the same time, at the gate of Yao Shou Shan, two young men were gossiping with each other. Xiaoming said, in just 2 days, it will be the once in 10 years grand ceremony for recruiting outer disciples of Yao Shou Shan. I've been so busy these past few days. Xiaoyi next to him also continued to complain. I heard that Su Shiji was assigned the responsibility of organizing this grand ceremony. But she still hasn't returned yet. It would be bad if it's delayed. Suddenly, they were startled by the sound of an engine from afar. Xiaoming gritted his teeth and raised his vigilance, asking, what's that sound? Outside the gate, Chinka's four-wheeled car was leisurely driving in. Xiaoming and Xiaoyi saw it for the first time, panicking and talking to each other. What kind of demon is this? Xiaoyi quickly came up with an idea to call for reinforcements. Quick, a great demon of unknown origin has come to cause trouble. Quickly report to the sect. Before they could run in to report to the elders, Su Peng poked her head out and greeted the two. No need to panic, it's me. Seeing Su Peng sitting in the car, Xiaoming's face turned green and he muttered, is that Su Shiji? Beside him, Xiao Yi's face was distorted. Did Su Shiji get eaten by a demon? On this side, Su Peng winked at Chinka, smiling. We're at Yao Shou Shan, get out. Then the three got out of the car together, while He Xiongjing lay quietly in the back. Feeling that the atmosphere here was really different, Chinka greedily took a deep breath. This is the legendary Immortal sect? As expected, it's imposing, even the air here is sweet. Seeing his carefree expression, Su Peng conveniently approached and thanked him. Chinka, thanks to you this time, otherwise the consequences would have been unimaginable. I owe you a favor, you can say whatever you want. Suddenly an idea popped into Chinka's head, and he enthusiastically said his wish. I want to cultivate immortality. Su Peng thought about the precedents for a while and replied. This is a bit difficult. Wait a moment, you follow me back to the sect, I'll ask my Shifu to help you ask. While the two were chatting back and forth, a voice rang out, interrupting, little sister. A tall, dignified young man was slowly landing on the ground. Xiaoming and Xiaoyi respectfully clasped their hands. Greetings, Xiao Su Zhanglao. When she saw him, Su Peng ran over. Gage, you've arrived. This man was Su Pe, an elder of Yao Shou Shan. He glanced at Su Peng and couldn't help but frown. You're injured. Su Peng hugged her injured arm, smiled lightly, and explained, earlier, I fought against Yugui Nyang and was injured by her magic weapon. Hearing about Yugui's tombstone that could destroy spiritual roots, Po was surprised. Magic weapons that can damage spiritual roots are not common. Taking the opportunity, Su Peng introduced Chinke. That's right, thanks to Chinke, he greeted him openly like an old friend. Hello. Xiaoming's face darkened when he heard Chinke's greeting. This guy is really treating us like outsiders, calling Xiao Su Zhanglao Ge. Xiao Yi next to him was also no less angry and continued. Xiao Su Zhanglao is the youngest elder of Yao Shou Shan, and hates glib-tongued people who curry favor to climb high the most. After that, Pe began to carefully probe the magic power on Chinke's body. He frowned a little uncomfortably. Immortal. At this time Su Peng made a request. Gige, I want them to be temporarily allowed into the sect for a period of time. Without noticing that Po's face had turned darker than Bao Gong's, he turned abruptly inward, refusing flatly. Mortals are not allowed to enter Yao Shou Shan. Take them to the small town at the foot of the mountain and arrange for them to stay. And you follow me back to heal your injuries. Su Peng refused to give in, so she used her personal relationship as a bargaining chip. Gige, earlier when I fought with Yugui Nyang, Chinke saved me. Po originally looked down on Chinke, but now he heard that he had saved Su Peng. He felt uncomfortable and didn't believe it. A mortal saved a cultivation genius of Yao Shou Shan like you. What are you kidding me? Being suspected, Su Peng worked even harder to prove it. He not only saved me, but also killed a great demon. This statement had almost reached Po's limit of tolerance, and he scolded, "The more you talk, the more absurd it gets." Speaking with evidence, Su Peng pointed to the back of the car, confidently replying, "The corpse of He Xiong-jing is still in the car." In the back of the car at this time was the body of He Xiong lying motionless, with his eyes rolled back. The three of Pa, Xiaoming, and Xiaoyi quickly ran over to take a look. Xiaoyi widened his eyes and exclaimed, "It's really the corpse of He Fengguai." Xiaoming continued behind him. "This is a famous great demon throughout the thousands of miles." Only Pa was frozen in place. Only then did he speak, "How is this possible? You, Immortal, how could you do that?" Seeing that everything was wow enough, Su Peng began to praise him. Although Qin is immortal, he cultivates the Tao of science and technology, and his strength is not bad at all. He stood beside her, beaming with joy. Hearing about this strange cultivation method, Pa turned to ask, "The Tao of science and technology, what is that?" Suddenly, Su Peng's face turned pale, and she spat out a mouthful of dark red blood. Qin panicked and shouted, "Su Gunyang." Pa, worried about his little sister, ran over to support her and treat her injuries. He also instructed Xiaoming and Xiaoyi, "I'll take my sister to treat her injuries. And you arrange for Qin and his friend to go to the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute first." After Pa and Su Peng left, Xiaoyi greeted, "You too, follow us." And T's face was covered in sweat, and he refused casually, "I'm not going anywhere, I still have to go back and get married." However, Xiaoming quickly approached him, patted him on the shoulder and explained, "Xiao Su Zhanglao has told you to go. First go to the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute, and then we'll talk." Everything was arranged properly. The next day, after a day of enjoying the immortal energy of Yao Shou Shan, Qin sat in the room eating apples. The same apples taste much better here, not only unpolluted but also with a special kind of energy. Probably the legendary spiritual power. It's a pity that my body can't absorb it. Fatty and Te came from somewhere, whispering in his ear, "Dege, ask Su Gunyang when we can leave here." Qin was annoyed by his stupidity and couldn't help but blame him. "I'm telling you, Fatty, are you confused or really stupid? This is the Immortal Sect, a place that mortals can't step into in several lifetimes, a chance to cultivate immortality like this, and you don't seize it, and you want to leave?" And Te frowned in pain. He only had one wish in his heart. "I don't want to cultivate immortality. I just want to go home and get married." Hearing this, Qin rolled his eyes in contempt. Suddenly, there was a scolding voice from outside the courtyard. "Get out of here now." Outside, a young man named Qin Xiang was being dragged by the collar like a dog. "Let me go. I'm not leaving. On what basis are you making me leave?" The fat man dragging him was De Biao. He threw Qin Xiang hard like a sandbag. "Damn it, I've given you face and you still don't know what's good for you." Then, he squatted down in front of Qin Xiang and threatened, "In this Miscellaneous Affairs Institute, I'm the one who decides. You have to leave today whether you want to or not." Qin Xiang refused to yield to power, so he used the dog eats shit move. De Biao screamed in pain from being bitten. "Nah, it hurts." He didn't show mercy and swung hard, causing Qin Xiang to fall to the ground, landing neatly at the feet of Qin and Te. "Get out of the way." And Te had gone around listening to information everywhere yesterday. He recounted, "I heard that this fatty young De Biao is the steward of the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute. Fierce and vicious, everyone avoids him." At this time, the appearance of Qin and Te had caught De Biao's eye. He arrogantly said, "What are you two looking at? Get lost." Scared, and Te quickly tugged Qin. "Qin, let's go. It's not good to provoke young De Biao." But he hesitated, looking at Qin Xiang lying on the ground. De Biao's face became even more sinister. He questioned with a dark face, "Qin Xiang, you dare to bite me? You're not getting out, are you? I'll grant your wish." Suddenly, a pair of claws of a battle chicken appeared in the sky, sharp and keen. De Biao ordered his pet to swoop down and make mincemeat of Qin Xiang. "Ahua, I'll give you extra food today. This guy is yours." Unexpectedly, just as Ahua was about to swoop down, something impacted it, causing it to splatter blood. Ahua no longer had the ability to flap its wings, diving headfirst into the courtyard and logging out. De Biao panicked and called, "What, Ahua?" On Qin's side, he had taken out the handgun Qi Bao and killed Ahua, and Te gaped in fear. "Dege, what are you doing?" Horror +2. This action of his made De Biao's brain boil. "It's you killed my Ahua. Do you know how many lonely days and nights Ahua has warmed? You dare to kill it?" He took out a meat cleaver from somewhere and desperately rushed over. "I'll kill you." Qin calmly raised his hand to ask for a break. "Wait a minute." He frowned, and a warning smile rose. "You want to attack me? Do you know who I am?" Hearing these seemingly imposing words, De Biao paused, clasping his hands behind his back. "Okay, let me hear who you are." Seizing the opportunity, Qin began his blatant lie. "Do you know Su Punping? Do you know Xiao Su Zhanglao?" De Biao puffed out his fat belly and scolded loudly. "Nonsense. Who in my Yao Shou Shan doesn't know the famous Xuanjiao?" He immediately patted his chest and claimed his identity. "Xiao Su Zhanglao is my Dejioge." De Biao stared in disbelief. "What?" Then he dropped the knife, hugging his stomach and laughing loudly, full of ridicule. "Haha, where did this stupid kid come from, daring to say such absurd things? You're the Tao companion of Su Shenu, and you're in the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute? Although he was seen through, with his superb lying ability, Chinka put on a threatening face and continued, if you don't believe me, just go ask. I'm the one who saved Su Pingping's life. Xiao Su Zhanglao is my Dijioge. Suddenly, Pa appeared from somewhere, coldly asking, what did you say? Chinka had no choice but to brazenly turn around and wave to greet him. Haha, long time no see, Xiao Su Zhanglao. Pa didn't respond. He turned his face and ordered, come with me. But before leaving, he wanted to accuse De Biao. Wait, Xiao Su Zhanglao, this steward is going to kill this young man. Hearing that someone was defending him, Chen Xiang mustered up the courage to kneel down in front of Pa, explaining everything. My name is Chen Xiang. Steward Yang wanted to arrange for his grandson to enter the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute, so he wanted to drive me out. Please Xiao Zhanglao judge for me. De Biao was not a simple person either. He also knelt down to reverse the situation. Xiao Zhanglao, hear me out. Actually it's because Chen Xiang's work is not good. Seeing the two of them each saying a sentence, Chinka looked at Pa, expecting a clear judgment. However, Pa didn't bother to pay attention to it. He used his spiritual power to pull Chinka away. Mind your own business. Chinka was very dissatisfied, uncomfortably questioning, why are you so cold? Don't you care if the people in the sect do evil? And Tay was left alone, feeling very embarrassed. Don't go. What about me? What should I do? A moment later, Pa brought him to the place where Su Ping had arranged to meet. Seeing him appear, Su Ping smiled and instructed, Chinka, I have deliberately asked these two patriarchs to check the situation in your body. Remember to be respectful when you meet the two patriarchs. Later, Yao Shou Shan is managed by these two patriarchs. Chinka was slightly surprised, pausing for a few seconds. With everyone present, Su Ping went to the front of the gate and respectfully bowed. Qingfeng Patriarch, Manhwa Patriarch, I have brought the person here. A majestic voice came from inside. Come in. Mentioning the two names of Shizu, Chinka felt a little familiar in his heart. Qingfeng, Manhwa, these two people's names are quite nice. Then the door automatically opened. Someone was waiting inside. The two old ancestors were sitting at the highest place, and there was a man with salt and pepper hair in front of the hall. Su Ping began to introduce each person to Chinka. The people sitting in front are the two patriarchs Qingfeng and Manhwa that we asked for help. They rarely interfere in the affairs of the sect, and the daily affairs are handled by the Grand Elder. The person standing in front is the Grand Elder. Tianqi looked at Chinka briefly, then opened his mouth first. Su Pingping, is this the young man who knows the Tao of science and technology that you spoke of? He exuded a cold, uncomfortable, and condescending air. Just a common mortal, nothing special. You brought him to the main hall of the sect. It's really a disgrace to the two immortal Tao patriarchs. Su Ping didn't like Tianqi much either. She brought out Qingfeng Mingyue's name as an excuse. Grand Elder, I have already asked the two patriarchs, and they have agreed that I can bring Chinka here. Do you have any objections to the decision of the two patriarchs? Seeing the brat using the name of the patriarch as a backer, Tianqi snorted coldly. Humph, the two patriarchs are high above. How could they come into contact with such a filthy mortal? I will handle the work for the two patriarchs. Having just met, Chinka was insulted, and he couldn't help but scold inwardly. Your mother, you are filthy. Your whole family is filthy. In contrast, Su Ping remained calm. She smiled and recounted his cultivation school, although Chinka's Tao of science and technology does not have spiritual power to help. The power is really not small, almost similar to one force breaks 10,000 laws. Then, she turned to ask him to prove her words. Chinka, show the Grand Elder your Tao of science and technology. Chinka took out the handgun she bowed from nowhere and replied neatly, okay. With that, Chinka threw the gun to Tianqi and said, Grand Elder, take a look for yourself. It was the first time he had seen this magic weapon, and he was slightly surprised. But very quickly he began to show contempt. Ordinary iron, it's quite exquisite. But I can't see anything special. Seeing the way he was holding the gun, Chinka hesitated and reminded, the muzzle can't be pointed directly at yourself. Suddenly, Tianqi clumsily pulled the trigger, eating the bullet fired from the muzzle completely. Smoke rose, making Chinka's eyes widen. Tianqi was self-assaulted. His face was burned black, and he was angry. Damn it, what kind of garbage is this? Seeing that he only had black dust on his face, and there was no scratch at all, Chinka pursed his lips. His body wasn't hurt. This Grand Elder is more powerful than Hei Fengguai. Seeing this scene, Manhwa was also curious. This old ancestor will take a look. As soon as the order was given, Tianqi obediently used his magic power to offer the gun to Manhwa. Yes. The old man raised his hand to welcome the flying gun. Manhwa casually controlled it to pull the trigger. A flame was emitted from the muzzle, bright and dazzling. Then, 3 bullets flew to his face and stopped, floating in the air. This made Chinka extremely shocked. He muttered, the bullets are also in a static state. This is a master. This skill is really a skill of immortals. Shock plus 3 times 2. With just a wave of Manhwa's hand, all the parts of the gun body separated, a small matter. Without saying a word, Manhwa directly raised his hand in front of him, using his spiritual power to engulf Chinka and lift him up high. Suddenly losing control of his body, Chinka couldn't help but be startled. What's going on? Seeing his bewildered expression, Su Ping spoke to reassure him. Chinka, don't be afraid. The patriarch is checking your body. The old Manhwa, who was examining his body, exclaimed in surprise. Seeing this, Su Peng asked in surprise, Manhwa Patriarch, does Chunku still have a chance to cultivate? The old man didn't answer in a hurry, but asked her an incomprehensible question. Do you know why he lost his spiritual root? Su Peng awkwardly replied softly, I don't know. Manhwa frowned and explained slowly, because the spiritual root in Chunku's body was taken away by someone else. These words of his were like a blow straight to the nerves of both Chunku and Su Peng. The two exclaimed in surprise at the same time. What? Surprise plus 3 times 2, surprise plus 4. Then, he looked at Chunku's floating body, his face thoughtful as he posed the question. Taking someone else's spiritual root is a hatred that is irreconcilable. Even deeper than the hatred of killing one's parents in the cultivation world. Chunku also felt a headache at this time. He tried to remember but there were no results. My spiritual root was taken away. Who did it? I have no memory in my head. From the beginning Tianqi had looked down on Chunku. Now he knew that he had no spiritual root. He showed even more malice. Could it be that this kid had top-notch spiritual root aptitude? So his opportunity was robbed by someone. But it doesn't matter anymore. His spiritual root is gone, so he's useless. Su Peng didn't think so. She was determined to ask how to salvage the situation. Patriarch, is there no way to restore it? Hearing the question, Manhwa didn't hide anything. He was serious. It's not that there isn't. As far as I know there is only one way that will give him a certain chance to regenerate his spiritual root. These words were like a straw saving Chunku's path to immortality. He asked anxiously, what way? The old man only replied lightly with 3 words, ginseng fruit. Suddenly feeling that the name was too familiar, he thought to himself, ginseng fruit, isn't this the kind of fruit in Journey to the West? Does it really exist? Mentioning Journey to the West, suddenly Chunku paused. Wait, Qingfeng, Manhwa Patriarch. He looked up at the 2 old ancestors who were meditating above, boldly guessing, if I remember correctly, there are 2 great boys named Qingfeng and Manhwa in Wuzhuang Temple. Is it a coincidence? Suddenly, a loud laugh interrupted his thoughts. Tianqi sneered mockingly, haha, wouldn't that be the same as hopeless? The ginseng fruit is locked within the miasma barrier 500 li behind the mountain, making it impossible to obtain. Hearing these words, Su Peng quickly asked, Grandmaster, is there another way? Mingyu held the horsetail whisk in her hand and replied calmly, no. Su Peng searched her memories for information about the ginseng fruit. She frowned and muttered, there really is a ginseng fruit, a celestial medicine, behind the mountain. But it is blocked by miasma, making it uninhabitable. No one has entered for countless years, making it impossible to obtain. Tianqi disliked him, his tone carrying an explicit dismissal. Little brat, go back and live your life well. After all, a mortal's life like yours is meaningless. In contrast to Su Peng's pessimistic state, Chunku was even more interested. I want to stay and try. Tianqi glared and raged, try my ass. Even Grandmaster can't enter that miasma-filled place. A mortal like you will turn into water if you go in. He ignored the Yaoshou Mountain Elder's words and directly pleaded with Qingfeng and Mingyu, please, Grandmasters, let me stay. I want to wait here for an opportunity. Tianqi didn't want to hear a word of it. He vehemently objected, waving his horsetail whisk, don't make a fuss. Your fate with Yaoshou Mountain is over. Little Su Elder. Immediately take him down the mountain. Su Peng also stepped forward to speak up for him. Grandmaster, Chunku not only saved me but also brought the Black Wind Monster's corpse back to Yaoshou Mountain. Yaoshou Mountain owes him a debt of gratitude. Seeing that they were all well-intentioned, Mingyu said in a deep voice, if that's the case. The old man bestowed a favor on Chunku, making an exception, then let him stay in the miscellaneous service yard for a year. After the 1-year term expires, send him down the mountain, severing the karma. With the Grand Master's approval, Su Peng couldn't hide her joy. Chunku, on the other hand, frowned slightly. After the meeting with Qingfeng and Mingyu, Chunku and Su Peng had a short conversation. Chunku, I can only help you this far. She smiled at Chunku and continued, how you proceed from here is up to you. The ginseng fruit is impossible to obtain. No one has entered that place for many years. Knowing that Su Peng had tried her best, it was already an extreme exception for a mortal to be allowed to stay on a celestial mountain. He smiled, I understand. Miss Su, I want to ask a question. Where is the ginseng fruit located? Besides Yaoshou Mountain, are there any other mountains? Hearing the question, Su Peng stroked her chin thoughtfully. I'm not sure of the exact location of the ginseng fruit, but I heard that Yaoshou Mountain used to have another name. But I have to check the sutra depository to be sure. Without waiting for her to check, Chunku relied on his memories of Journey to the West and asked, is it called Wanshou Mountain? Before Su Peng could answer, Pua used his spiritual power to pull Chunku away. You should go back to the miscellaneous service yard. Chunku was very reluctant. I haven't finished asking. Let me go. Junior sister Su, come find me to play when you're free. In just a moment, the sign of the miscellaneous service yard appeared, and Pua and Chunku landed on the ground. He was friendly, inviting Pua for tea. Senior elder, would you like to stay for a cup of tea and a chat? Pua didn't bother to answer and jumped up and disappeared. Chunku was extremely embarrassed. He was exhausted from being looked down upon all day. Damn it, the people here are not hospitable at all. And she walked out of the miscellaneous service yard, yawning and complaining, Chinku, can we leave yet? Looking at him, he smiled slightly, you can leave. You go ahead. I'll stay here for my immortal cultivation opportunity. And she was so excited that he woke up completely. That's great. Then I'm going home to get married. See you later if fate allows. After and she left, Chinku lay sprawled on the chair to relax. According to them, the ginseng fruit is located in the miasma, and ordinary cultivators can't resist the intrusion of this miasma. If I draw a set of biochemical protective clothing, would it be effective? Speaking of this, Chinku opened the system notification panel and glanced at it. He switched to the lottery screen. Now I have 57 horror points, enough to draw the lottery 5 times in a row. Well, let's just draw and see what I get. After the lottery draw, the system panel showed the item notifications. Congratulations, you have received a F card, a revolver, a Yelade card, a grenade, and an NVIDIA 4090 graphics card. Looking at the unremarkable rewards, Chinku curled his lips slightly. The Desert Eagle has already been taken apart by Grandmaster Mingyu, and the grenade has also been used. Yet I drew the pistol and grenade again. It seems that items can be drawn repeatedly. Hopefully, the remaining 2 draws will yield something better. Speaking of this, Chinku prayed silently and clicked to draw again. Looking at the items in front of him, the rewards included the game Black Myth, Wukong, a Thunder Module battery card, and 7 horror points. Chinku couldn't help but feel helpless. He lamented, I already have the graphics card, and now I get the game and battery? I'm drawing all sorts of weird things. At this moment, and she threw open the door and walked in, startling Chinku slightly. He was a little surprised. Why are you back here? And she looked lifeless and sighed deeply, don't mention it. And she began to recount his stormy journey down the mountain. As soon as I got to the gate, I was stopped by Xiao Ming and Xiao Yi. Isn't the once-in-a-decade outer sect disciple recruitment ceremony coming up soon? Now Yaoshou Mountain is only taking people in, not letting them out. I can't go down the mountain until the ceremony is over. Chinku suddenly had a bold idea. He whispered into Inshi's ear, Fatty, you're not using your brain at all. You can go down the mountain if you fail the test. Why don't you just participate in the test? Hearing this plan, and she ran out excitedly, that's right. Why didn't I think of that? I'll go right now. I just need to fail to go down the mountain immediately. Chinku looked at his hurried manner and quickly followed, wait for me. I have nothing to do, so I'll go watch the fun too. Outside Yaoshou Mountain, a long line of people stood waiting to register. Above them, an old man with a beard stepped forward to introduce himself. I am the 5th elder of Yaoshou Mountain. The disciple recruitment ceremony only considers spiritual roots and aptitude. Everyone line up and take the test one by one. As soon as he finished speaking, each person stepped forward to the stone tablet for the test, placed their hand on it, and received the result. When the examinee touched the stone turned bright red. The examiner next to him curled his lips and announced, Single Fire Tribute Spiritual Root. Mundane quality, does not meet the requirements, eliminated. Next was a little girl. The stone also changed color, but it was mottled orange and red. The examiner announced, Dual Fire a Spiritual Root, with the Earth's spiritual root reaching low grade. Passed the test. The girl breathed a sigh of relief, that's great. I passed the test. From now on, I'm a cultivator too. And she stood in line, eagerly waiting, it's almost our turn. Suddenly, some arrogant jerk demanded of Chinku and Enshi, you two get out of the way. Make room for our young master, so our young master can take the test first. The red-haired youth on the other side stood quietly fanning himself. Chinku retorted unhappily, you're cutting in line, do you know that? In my hometown, doing this will get you thrown into a pig cage. The arrogant youth relied on his master and sneered, don't talk nonsense. Do you know who this is? This is young Master Wu Qian from the Wu Saizan Kingdom royal family. Since reasoning didn't work, Chinku played by the rules of the jungle. He shouted loudly to embarrass Wu Qian, alright, everyone, look at me. I declare that there is a shameless person from the Wu Saizan Kingdom royal family cutting in line here. Jin Bao was angry and intended to make a move on him, impudent. I think you're asking for a beating. Chinku was not one to be trifled with. He sneered and threatened with the status of an elder. You dare to hit someone in front of the Yaoshou Mountain elder? Wu Qian spoke up at this time. Little brat, you're too naive. You can ask if the Yaoshou Mountain immortals will care. He turned to look at Yang Qi, who only reminded him, hurry up and take the test. If you miss the time, everyone will be driven down the mountain. Feeling that Yaoshou Mountain was extremely unfair, Chinku couldn't help but criticize, what kind of bullshit immortal sect is this? They don't care about things like this. Not like I imagined at all. Only Su Pingping is normal here. Wu Qian opened his fan and spoke condescendingly, I'll give you a chance. Apologize to me. He threatened him arrogantly, otherwise, even if I beat you to death, Yaoshou Mountain wouldn't bat an eye for you alone. Looking at the situation just now, Chinku knew that Wu Qian was right. He kept silent helplessly. Then, he bowed 90 degrees, clasped his hands, and bowed. People under the eaves must bow their heads. I apologize. Along with the apology, Chinku also offered a grenade as a gift to Wu Qian. He asked, "What is this?" He only answered vaguely, "A small toy from my hometown, used to apologize to young Master Wu Qian." Wu Qian took it, thinking it was a good deal. "Consider yourself sensible. If you get into Yaoshou Mountain in the future, you can be my servant." After he turned away, Chinku's eyes suddenly changed. He spread out his hand, in which was the grenade pin that he had removed. Wu Qian didn't notice that the toy in his hand was smoking. He didn't realize any danger. On the contrary, he felt very interested. It can even emit smoke? This toy is quite exquisite. And she jumped, surprise times 2. He muttered, "This isn't." Without letting him reveal the secret, Chinku pulled him away. "Quick, get away from here." After running a sufficient distance, the grenade exploded. Wu Qian was blasted unconscious, with smoke billowing up. Yang Qi didn't care and announced, "Continue the test." Seeing the fifth elder's indifference, Chinku finally came to a conclusion, along with a question. Yaoshou Mountain really treats everyone coldly, even the Wu Saizong Kingdom royal family is no exception. Is this the normal state in the cultivation world, or is it just Yaoshou Mountain that's like this? At this time, and she leisurely walked closer to the testing stone. He was excited. "It's my turn. My heart is pounding, my hands are trembling. After the test, I'm going home to get married." Thinking this, and she touched the stone rather casually. Unexpectedly, the stone turned purple and released a powerful spiritual force. "This is..." And she didn't notice this special phenomenon. He turned around and shouted, "Going home to get married. Goodbye." But heaven didn't grant his wish. Before she could leave, he was called back by Yang Qi. "Stop." He had a look of astonishment on his face. "Single lightning attributes spiritual root of supreme quality." "Excellent, excellent." The people present were in an uproar when they heard supreme quality spiritual root? This guy is too lucky. This is the first time I've seen a supreme quality spiritual root. If only it were mine. And she still tried to refuse to understand his meaning, pointing towards the sect gate. "Elder, it's nothing. I'm going home first." Yang Qi immediately flew over and grabbed his shoulder, announcing, "Go home my ass. You are now directly promoted to inner sect disciple of Yaoshou Mountain." It's been countless years since a supreme quality spiritual root has appeared in the sect. And she was dumbfounded, disappointment written all over his face. "Then when can I go home?" Without waiting for him to continue, Yang Qi grabbed his hand and pulled him in. "Don't even dream of going home until you achieve minor success in cultivation. Follow me." In an instant, and she was dragged away, with only his echoing voice. "No, elder, it's urgent. My wife is still waiting for me to bring her home." Chinku stared blankly after him. He lamented bitterly to himself, "That fatty is actually of supreme quality aptitude. I'm a transmigrator and can't cultivate. Where's the justice?" Then, Chinku ran to the testing stone and placed his hand on it. "Since I'm here, I'll take the test and see what happens." This time, everything was even more terrifying than in Shi's dazzling purple light. The stone had turned into a rainbow color, shooting straight into the sky. The people present were all wide-eyed, exclaiming repeatedly, "The rainbow in the sky from legend. How is this possible? It's too blinding. It's even more blinding than that fatty just now." A series of surprise +2 notifications popped up. The others couldn't help but sigh in amazement, surprise +2 continuously. The important thing is that the fatty only had one type of spiritual root, and this is how many types. And they're all supreme quality. This background is too fake. Suddenly, along with the shining of the stone, Chinku had a severe headache. "My head hurts." A vague memory appeared in his mind. At that time, he was bound by an endless chain. Chinku hugged his head and gasped for breath. "I seem to remember some scenes, but they're very vague." He released his hand from the stone, and everything returned to normal. The surroundings were filled with whispers again. It disappeared. "I told you there was no such thing. It was just a momentary illusion. If it were real, the entire immortal realm would be shaken." Chinku looked at the stone and muttered, "The reaction of the testing stone just now, could it be related to the spiritual root aptitude that was stolen from me by someone? If that's really the case, I am a supreme quality all attribute spiritual root." A youth ran over from somewhere and suddenly asked back, "If that's really the case, then I am a supreme quality all attribute spiritual root." After finishing the test, Chinku turned to leave. Supreme quality all attribute spiritual root, just thinking about it is heaven-defying. Damn it, no matter who it is, I must investigate who stole my spiritual root. It had been 3 days since the spiritual root test. Chinku inquired about the mountain of the ginseng fruit and came here alone to explore. This is the large mountain within 500 li covered by poisonous mist? Sure enough, the fog is thick, making it impossible to see the road clearly. Finding the ginseng fruit in this mountain is like looking for a needle in a haystack. He reached out towards the dense gas, and his fingertips splattered blood. He winced and hissed, "It hurts." This poison is no different from concentrated sulfuric acid. Even if I draw protective clothing, I'm afraid it won't withstand it. I have to think of another way. Suddenly, from within the dense mist, a red-skinned monster appeared. He startled, trying to see clearly. Holy sh*t, what the hell is that? That monster was a shogui, a lifespan ghoul. It glared at him with its red eyes and growled threateningly. Shinka looked at the blood on his hand, and an idea flashed in his mind. Could it be that this thing is attracted by my fresh blood? Speaking of this, he turned to run away. Fortunately, it seemed unable to break out of the poisonous mist. I'll go back first. Somewhere else, De Biao and the purple-haired Shan Yang stood observing everything. He asked, Uncle, aren't you going to make a move? De Biao followed his fading figure and curled his lips. Although this kid has nothing to do with Little Su Elder, he has met us after all. It's best not to make a move ourselves. Shan Yang still didn't understand. Uncle, what do you mean? He said in a deep voice, frowning. The shogui cannot leave the poisonous mist during the day, but it can move freely at night. And the shogui loves the smell of fresh blood the most. You go back and splash blood on that kid's room. A mortal like him can't detect it at all. Understanding De Biao's intention, Shan Yang sneered excitedly. Uncle is indeed brilliant. If that kid is drained of his lifespan essence by the shogui and dies, then he dies without proof. De Biao remembered Shinka making stew of his beloved pet, Ahua. He gritted his teeth and hissed, dare to kill my Ahua, causing me to toss and turn every night. I'll make sure you don't survive tonight. That night, at the miscellaneous service yard, Qin Xiang was sitting in front of the Toa Lin Dang, constantly muttering, it's been so long, but I still can't control the Bao Lin Dang. Am I really useless? Suddenly, a fishy smell rushed into his nose, Why is there a fishy smell of blood? Feeling that something bad was about to happen, Qin Xiang ran out to check. It seems to be senior brother Chinku's room. Could it be that something happened to him? He walked along the road to Chinku's place. Everywhere was splattered with blood, so much blood. Suddenly, a red shadow flashed across the sky. Qin Xiang looked at the roof of the building. He sighed, not good, it's a shogui. Several shogui followed the fishy smell of blood and came, filled with murderous intent. Qin Xiang widened his eyes in fear. The shogui are attracted by fresh blood. It seems that someone wants to harm senior brother Chinku. The group of shogui rushed like lightning towards Chinku's room, directly smashing through the door. Chinku was about to sleep when he was attacked. He quickly jumped up and shouted, who is it? He turned black when he saw the monster in the poisonous mist. Why did that ghost find its way here? They didn't say a word, only knowing to rush to attack. But Qin Xiang appeared in time, grabbing their hands to stop them. Chinku was surprised by his appearance. Qin Xiang tried to hold them back, gritting his teeth. Senior brother Qin, run quickly. I can't hold on for long. He took out his trusty pistol and fired repeatedly. Let me. 2 bullets hit the shogui's head but were shot right through. Feeling that his technology had no lethality against the shogui, Chinku was frightened. The bullet passed through its body without causing any damage. What kind of monster is this? Qin Xiang explained at this time. This is a shogui, specializing in sucking human lifespan essence. Senior brother Qin, run quickly. Chinku glared and refused to leave. If I leave, what about you? Qin Xiang bit his teeth, wanting to repay Chinku's kindness. You saved my life once. This time, consider it my repayment. As soon as he finished speaking, he was flung aside by the shogui. Then, it rushed madly towards Chinku's neck. Chinku quickly dodged, causing the shogui to grab the teddy bear on the bed by mistake. There was another one, carefully looking at its prey, Chinku. Chinku was very nervous. There's another one. The shogui on the other side hugged the teddy bear, its head full of question marks. Its $150 nails brushed across, tearing a hole, and the teddy bear ran out of air. On this side, Chinku still didn't understand why this happened. What's going on? Why does this shogui seem to be deliberately looking for me? Could it be that it's picky about who it sucks lifespan essence from? Qin Xiang had gotten up at this time. He shouted, Senior brother Qin, someone wants to harm you. He poured fresh blood on you in your room. Before he could finish, Qin Xiang had to witness the scene of the shogui pinning Chinku to the floor. He made up his mind to rush up. I'll risk it. However, the shogui still had a clear advantage. It tightened its grip on Qin Xiang's neck, his face turning purple. This shogui is too strong. I can't deal with it at all. On the other side, the shogui began to bare its sharp teeth, sucking the blood of the fresh meat that was Chinku. Chinku bit his teeth to endure. I'm so tired. Is this the feeling of lifespan essence being drawn away? Suddenly, the memorial tablet that he had obtained from the Jade Ghoul last time came out, causing the shogui to stop dumbfounded. The tombstone flew up high, emitting a strange purple light. Chinku was a little surprised, suddenly remembering its origin. This is the tombstone of the Jade Ghoul Nyang that I accidentally absorbed into my body before. The shogui seems to be very afraid of it. The tombstone suddenly burst with power, sucking in the bodies of the shogui in the room. Chinku exclaimed with wide eyes, the tombstone is sucking in these 2 shogui. Their bodies were gradually decomposed by the demonic energy in the tablet, leaving only dry bones. Chinku witnessed this scene, and even saw the bones falling to the ground, and was extremely frightened. Too strong. The Shogui was sucked clean by the tombstone, leaving only dry bones. Horror plus 2 times 2. Chen Xiang was no exception, shock times 3. In the past, only Shogui had drained the life essence of humans, but this was the first time he had seen a Shogui being drained to death. He ran to the side of their skeletons and wondered, Shogui are different from demonic beasts, extremely difficult to kill. Mostly they can only be avoided or passively defended against. What kind of treasure is this after all? When asked, he didn't know how to answer. I'm also not sure, I accidentally saved this thing. Suddenly, the epitaph underwent a strong change. It transformed back into purple gas and burrowed back into Chinku's chest. He was shocked. What's going on? Chen Xiang tried to restrain his panic, shock times 2. Seeing this, he reassured, I'm fine, this epitaph seems to want to merge with my body. At this moment, Chinku began to feel energy entering his body. Everything has ended, the body fusion is successful. Chinku was still stunned. Indeed, it's completely merging with me. Before entering my body was only temporary. This time is completely different, it has completely merged into my body. Chinku tried to circulate his energy, unleashing his new ability. This is spiritual energy. I can feel spiritual energy. He became even more eager when he thought of the hypothesis. Could it be that this epitaph has turned into my spiritual root, allowing me to cultivate? But after a while, nothing happened. Chinku's face twisted. That's not right. Even though I don't know what it feels like to have a spiritual root, it's definitely not a spiritual root spreading throughout the body. On the contrary, it's like the dantian in novels. A purple ball shone brightly in his abdomen, absorbing everything left behind by the Shogui. He continued, spiritual power is only concentrated in the position of my abdomen. Chenku directly took out the ball in his abdomen, breaking into a hearty smile. I can control spiritual energy. This feeling is truly magical. Is this the feeling of a cultivator? Chen Xiang's eyes widened, shock times 2, this is. He raised his hand to try to release spiritual power, then wondered to himself, but why is my spiritual energy black? The released energy shattered a corner of the wall. Chinku still couldn't understand. He frowned and looked at his new spiritual power. This epitaph must have a great origin. My spiritual root was taken away. Yet it created a new dantian for me, helping me gain cultivation. Chen Xiang exclaimed unconsciously, Chendige, how are you a ghost cultivator? He held the purple ball in his hand, looking at Chen Xiang in confusion. Ghost cultivator? Are you talking about this black ball? He didn't listen to the explanation, directly drew his sword to fight. Indeed, you are a ghost cultivator. Seeing the excited young man, Chinku humbly waved his hand. Chen Xiang, don't be agitated, I'm still your Chenge. Chen Xiang heard this and questioned loudly, then answer me, which leg of Yang Guancher did I bite yesterday? He waved his hand before Chen Xiang's naive probing question. You didn't bite his leg, you bit his right hand. Seeing Chinku answer completely calmly, Chen Xiang became even more unsettled. Not possessed by a ghost cultivator, Chendige, what exactly is going on? He touched his chest, his face couldn't help but turn blank. I don't know either, it's definitely related to that epitaph, but I'm definitely not some ghost cultivator. Chen Xiang shouted angrily, no matter what, your aura now is no different from a ghost cultivator's. The entire cultivation world will absolutely not tolerate ghost cultivators. In the future, you must never reveal this aura in front of others, otherwise you will definitely be eradicated from the roots. He listened attentively to him, and replied dejectedly, damn it, I thought it would be fun to have cultivation. Who knew I would be played by the epitaph? It's better to quickly get the ginseng. Chen Xiang's expression immediately froze, and he asked in a raised voice, Chenge, you also want the ginseng fruit? Chinku quickly replied, what, you need it too? He had no choice but to tell him, to be honest, I came for the ginseng fruit too. Chinku wanted to know more details and asked him, what do you need the ginseng fruit for? As soon as he finished speaking, there was a sudden noise from outside the door, attracting both of them. They shouted, this little brat must have been drained dry by the Shogui. Drag his corpse out and bury it. Chen Xiang was the first to react. He said loudly, the one who harmed Chenge has appeared. Outside, the backs of 2 people were heading towards the gate. Yang Shang told the person next to him, later, bury his corpse a little further away. Remember, don't let anyone see. A Chang immediately replied happily, Yang Ge, don't worry. I will definitely do my best working for you and Yang Guancher, his hands still nimbly opening the door for him. The 2 entered. That guy pointed directly at Chinku and asked, Yang Ge, is this the one? I'll take him out and bury him right away. But suddenly he realized something was wrong and shouted in horror, wait, didn't Yang Ge say it was a corpse? How is he still alive? The name Yang Shang was also equally surprised. You're still alive? Could it be that the Shogui didn't come? He leisurely pointed to the pile of dry bones and said, it came, but it was killed by me. His face immediately turned as black as the bottom of a pot, and he shouted in horror, what? Different from his expression, a Chang laughed out loud, killed the Shogui? Yang Ge, this guy knows how to boast. He was awakened by a Chang's laughter, and immediately reacted, if Uncle C hadn't told me beforehand, knowing that the Shogui could not be killed, I would have almost believed you. If you're not dead yet, then I'll kill you now. Seeing his imposing manner, Achan quickly echoed, Yang, let me do it, I'll kill him and bury him. After finishing speaking, he quickly stepped forward. Immediately, Chinka pulled out his gun and fired at the two of them. The bullet immediately pierced his forehead. That guy was still talking tough. What the hell is that? So loud, scared me. The next second, he fell to the ground with a thud, logging out immediately. Seeing this, he went closer to check, and commented dejectedly, indeed, not everyone is a He Xiong Jing, who can withstand a shot. For low-level cultivators, guns are deadly artifacts. Yang Shang witnessed all of this and became angry. He held his spear and charged straight at him, shouting loudly, you're courting death. Without any extra movements, he pulled out his gun and fired straight at his leg. Not stopping there, to be sure, he fired another shot at his arm. His face turned pale, using his last strength to beg Chinke, don't kill me, otherwise my Yang Guancher won't let you go. But those words could not sway him. He replied coldly, if I don't kill you, wouldn't he have one more henchman? After finishing speaking, he pulled the trigger. The bullet unfortunately went astray and pierced straight into the floor. He was immediately stunned, exclaiming, he still dodged it. The next second, he immediately recovered and jumped up to counterattack. Now you can die. Chen Xiang stood still and shouted in horror, Chinge, be careful. That attack was immediately completely blocked by Chinke's protective layer. His face flashed with astonishment, not believing his eyes, this aura is. Before Yang Shang could make a sound, he was immediately strangled by his strength. He struggled to endure the pain and shouted miserably. He spoke with difficulty, Ghost Cultivator Aura, you are a ghost cultivator. No, before he could finish speaking, he immediately turned into a dry skeleton. On the other hand, after witnessing that terrifying power, his strength was also drained significantly. But in exchange, his strength had changed significantly. Chinke coldly sighed, my strength has increased again. Relying on killing people to increase strength, ghost cultivation is indeed evil. Switching scenes to another place, a monster was lying flat on the ground. An old man spoke, very similar to the Hong Pai Guai of yesteryear. No wonder it dared to call itself Hei Feng Guai. Qing Feng slowly replied to him, similar is similar, but it's not him. After being ambushed by Ho Zi, that guy went back to reside in Luo Jiashan, becoming a great god with a long line of petitioners. Carefree and at ease. He listened attentively and laughed, carefree and at ease, just forced to be, what's the difference from a beast being raised in captivity? After finishing speaking, he disposed of the remaining corpse of the monster. Suddenly realizing something different, he shouted, that's not right, this He Xiong Jing has an aura very similar to Hei Feng Guai, could it be his descendant? Hearing this, she keenly realized, then that means something happened in Luo Jiashan as well, the Hei Feng Guai has truly run out. Ningyu also agreed with her words. He replied, it seems so. 500 years have come to another cycle of reincarnation. Then, he also used blood and flesh separation on the monster. A wave of power quickly surrounded the two of them. After completing it, Qing Shan was the first to speak, we don't have much time left, we must quickly get the ripe ginseng fruit. He also had his own plans, pretending to be mysterious, arranging for Tua Ping Peng and Tua Pawa to go into seclusion, quickly improving their strength, preparing for the next plan. Returning to Chinke's side, he turned to the person opposite him and slowly asked, Chen Xiang, you haven't told me what you need the ginseng fruit for. His eyes showed determination, taking out a treasure to reply, Shindige, there's no need to hide anything between us anymore. His eyes immediately noticed the treasure, asking, what is this? His face turned serious, replying, Chen Lian Deng. His face immediately turned to horror, shouting, you're Chen Xiang. He confirmed his words, that's right, I'm Chen Xiang, Chen Ge, you're so tall. He stood up stunned and slammed the table, your uncle is Langshan. Seeing him so decisive, he also followed in confusion, how do you know? Chinke, as if not hearing the question, walked back and forth in thought, constantly exclaiming, oh heavens, confirmed, this is the journey to the West world. Moreover, according to the timeline, this is what happened a few hundred years after Tang Xing obtained the scriptures. Realizing something, he turned around sharply and asked, then where is Dixing? Chen Xiang's face became confused, asking him back, which Dixing? Chinke shouted a name very decisively, Sun Wukong. The reply was still only his blank look, Sun Wukong, who is he? He still didn't give up, continuing to explain, Mei Ho Wang, Qi Tian Dixing, Sun Xingzhe, Do Zhan Xingfo. But all of them made him disappointed, he didn't know how to reply, I've never heard of these four names. Chinke suddenly remembered a detail, he recounted seriously, haven't heard of it? How is that possible? He once made a great disturbance in the Heavenly Palace, haven't you ever heard of it? He tried to remember, vaguely replying to him, I don't know, the Heavenly Court did have a disturbance 1,000 years ago, but I've never heard of anyone making a great disturbance in the Heavenly Palace. He was stunned, his mind immediately went blank, what exactly is going on? Dixing Jia is no longer here, Chen Xiang will worship Sun Wukong as his teacher later. He also had another important matter and had to interject, Qingge, I want to get the ginseng fruit so that I can control the Bao Lian Deng, there are still great things to do in the future. Suddenly, A foot kicked the door open from the outside. De Biao led a group of guards in aggressively, shouting, "Chinke, where is my nephew Yang Xiang?" He stood opposite them, but his voice was still calm, replying, "I don't know." Hearing this, he became angry, constantly accusing him, "He went to kill you last night, and now he's missing, you really don't know." The more Chinke heard, the more ridiculous it became. He loudly replied to him, "Killing 3 dogs, you don't even bother acting anymore? Do you know you've caused a big problem?" He replied to him angrily, "Little bastard, who are you scaring? If you really had any relationship with the 2 Tianjiao of the Tuo family, you wouldn't just be a small handyman. Now no one can protect you, 3 days later I will make you die without anyone knowing." Chen Xiang couldn't bear his excessive attitude and spoke up to defend him. Tian Shoshan has always been strict in cultivation. The lives of ordinary disciples are like weeds. No one cares about their life or death, Chinge, otherwise, leave here temporarily first. Chinke also replied to him helplessly, "Can't leave. If I leave, this bastard will definitely attack me immediately." Returning to De Biao's side, Shan Lu spoke up and asked him, "Yang Guancher, why do you need to wait 3 days to kill a handyman? Why not strangle him right now?" His face turned purple with anger, unwilling to admit defeat, secretly planning, to be sure, if this kid really has a background, someone will naturally speak up to protect him within 3 days. And I won't touch him either. If no one protects him, I won't need to worry about killing him 3 days later. Shan Yuan spoke up and asked, "What if he runs away within 3 days?" He clenched his hand, replying, "As long as he dares to run, that means he has no background at all, then I will immediately send him on his way." Hearing this, the two praised him repeatedly. "Yang Guancher is wise, your calculations leave nothing out. This disciple admires you, I've learned it, I've learned it." As they were walking forward, a figure suddenly appeared in front of him. De Biao was stunned. He shouted, "Zhang Lao." "Greetings, Zhang Lao, why have you personally come to the handyman's courtyard?" His face became somber, coldly asking De Biao, "Last night, was it you who led the Shogun here?" Seeing this, he became flustered, stammering, "Shogun is extremely evil. How would this disciple dare to do this?" The next second, he stumbled backwards. Zhang Lao slowly approached and said, "Tell the truth, I will spare your life." His whole body began to tremble. The 3 of them immediately knelt down and begged, "Zhang Lao, spare our lives. It's really because Chinke bullied me too much. He killed my spiritual beast. I had no choice." His face turned ashen, his voice rang out coldly, "Shut up, I'm asking you, how did the Shogun die?" De Biao hadn't heard this news either and immediately became stunned, shouting, "What? The Shogun is dead? Everyone knows that Shogun can only defend, almost impossible to kill. Who can kill a Shogun?" Zhang Lao, "I really don't know about this." Seeing this, the old man didn't investigate further and turned to say to De Biao, "You kill that Chinke, I don't care. But before he dies, you must force him to reveal clues about the death of the Shogun." He received the order like a tiger with wings, understood. Even so, but in his heart he thought, one Shogun dying is losing one. I'm afraid it will anger that immortal. This absolutely cannot continue. We must investigate clearly. Returning to Chinke's side, he was pondering, unexpectedly, I've encountered successive life-threatening dangers just after transmigrating. To break the situation, I must get the ginseng fruit, step onto the path of cultivation and become a powerhouse. Otherwise, in this world of the strong eating the weak, I will forever be at the bottom. My life never guaranteed. Chen Xiang's face immediately lit up with determination. He said to him, "Chengge, if Yang Guancher has said such vicious words, we cannot sit still and wait for death." Chenge's face turned serious, turning to ask him, "Chen Xiang, I ask you, how to increase the attack power of spiritual energy on bullets?" He was secretly planning. "Currently my biggest problem is that the attack power is not enough. If I can engrave spiritual energy on the bullets, I can solve this problem." He replied quickly, adding attack spiritual energy. "As far as I know, you only need to engrave a small formation on it, or be proficient in the art of weapon refining." Refining the bullets into attacking spiritual weapons? Chenke asked curiously, "How can you do it?" He replied calmly, "In Tian Shoshan, the only one who is proficient in both formation and weapon refining is Zhang Lao. You can ask him to take action." Hearing this, he became delighted. Let's go find Zhang Lao. If Yang Guancher wants to die, I will fulfill him." The 2 of them went to another magnificent palace. He exclaimed in surprise, "This is Zhang Lao's residence?" Inside was Entei. He saw the 2 and asked, "Chinke, what are you doing here?" He was also surprised, shouting, "Fatty, why are you here?" He sighed listlessly, replying, "Don't mention it, because my aptitude is so dazzlingly bright, like a meteor in the night, so I was personally taken as a disciple by the bald-headed Zhang Lao. And not allowed to go home to get married. Tell me, where's the logic?" From Entei's words, he realized something, asking him back, "Zhang Lao is your master?" He also replied firmly, "That's right." He happily patted him on the shoulder, "Quickly take me to see your master." The 3 of them arrived in front of an old man. He said listlessly to the 3 of them, "Do you know, don't even mention handyman disciples, even the royal family of Wu Zizang country, or the newly recruited elite disciples of Tian Shoshan, bringing spiritual rice from Gao Lao Zhuang to beg me to refine spiritual weapons. I don't agree. Seeing him say this, Ante begged in confusion for them. Shifu, Chinka saved my life. Seeing him say this, his face turned serious, saying, Ante, there's a difference between immortals and mortals. No matter what you were like before, from now on you are people of two worlds. Understand? Suddenly, another voice rang out from outside, interrupting their conversation. Lu Zhanglao, this disciple Wu Qian requests an audience. He showed his annoyance, saying, why is this little kid here again? From outside, Wu Qian held a cage containing a pig, smiling happily at him. Lu Zhanglao, this is a spiritual pig, a specialty of Gao Lao Zhuang in my Wu Zizang country. It is said to be a descendant of a world-renowned demon god. Only one is born every 500 years. Eating it is very beneficial for cultivators. I specially brought it to show my respect to Zhang Lao. After finishing speaking, a pig's cry came from the cage, extremely piercing. He looked attentively at the cage, thinking to himself, this little pig seems to understand human speech and was born in Gao Lao Zhuang. Could it be a descendant of that one? Lu Zhanglao had no choice but to sigh. Well then, this Zhanglao is not an unfeeling person, but this Zhanglao's time is limited. You too, I can only help one person. Hearing him say this, the first to react was Wu Qian. He replied stiffly, Lu Zhanglao will definitely help me. When testing his aptitude, this little kid didn't have any talent at all. He's a waste. What can he compete with me? Hearing him say this, Chinka could only smile coldly, replying, you've been bombarded by me before. He laughed out loud. Currently I'm an elite disciple, and you're just a handyman, not even worthy of carrying my shoes. But he still repeated that sentence, you've been bombarded by me before. At this point, he became speechless, angry but unable to retort. Wu Qian turned to question the Zhanglao. Lu Zhanglao, let's start. I don't want to waste words with him. He slowly explained to both of them. In the two pill rooms on both sides of the courtyard, there is a Dan furnace refining by Xia Dan. This Dan medicine specializes in resisting the fog of the 200 Li Deshan. There can be no mistakes. Therefore, controlling the temperature of the Dan furnace is extremely important. Go and help the Dan furnace reduce the heat. Whoever does better will be helped by this Zhanglao. As soon as he finished speaking, Wu Qian turned to say to him, Qin Ke, admit defeat. He turned to ask with a blank look, why? He immediately raised his voice, assuming he was the winner. Why? Don't you have any self-awareness? Although I'm not an ice spiritual root, I have a water spiritual root. Reducing the heat of the Dan furnace is as easy as flipping a palm. I don't want to waste time. If you admit defeat, I'll give you 10 grains of spiritual rice. Although you can't cultivate, eating it can prolong your life. Hearing this, Chinka also became confident, replying to him, in that case, let's make a bet. If I win, you help me do one thing. Wu Qian heard Chinka say this and immediately sneered, replying, if you lose, what then? Don't tell me you're taking your life as a bet. Your life isn't worth it. Chinka turned to pat his close friend on the shoulder, smiling and replying, if I lose, my brother Ante owes you a favor. After finishing speaking, Ante's face immediately turned horrified. Wu Qian considered the pros and cons of this deal, slowly replying to him, Lu Zhanglao's only disciple is indeed worth befriending. I'll bet with you. After finishing speaking, Ante turned to ask him, no way, you're selling me out? The two of them walked into the pill refining furnace. He sighed to himself, the aura is really hot. To reduce the temperature, I'm afraid only cultivators with ice or water spiritual roots can do it. Ante standing next to him was even more worried. I can't think of a way. How can we win this? Even so, Chinka's face was still full of confidence. He said, have you forgotten that I cultivate the path of science and technology? After finishing speaking, he pulled out an object. Seeing that object, the two of them were stunned, shouting, what is this? Chinka pointed to the air conditioner behind him, introducing, this is called an air conditioner. Everyone in my hometown uses it to reduce heat. The effect is extremely good. Looking at the air conditioner behind him, Chen Xiang asked curiously, how do you use this thing? Hearing his question, he turned to look at Ante, asking, Ante, I remember you have a top-grade lightning spiritual root, right? Can you generate electricity? Hearing this, Ante replied, I know a little, but not too proficiently. He raised 2 fingers, smiling and saying, 220V, do you know that? Hearing this, Ante looked at him in confusion, asking, huh? Although not understanding, he still picked up the wire and tried to transmit electricity into it. Chinka was observing the air conditioner on the side, saying, make the current stronger, the voltage a little higher. After adjusting, feeling the breeze coming from the air conditioner, he said happily, success, that's it, keep it up. At this time, in another room, Qian was carefully adjusting the temperature, saying enthusiastically, fortunately I brought enough spiritual rice this time. Otherwise, constantly reducing the heat for the Dan furnace would consume a lot. I really couldn't withstand it. At this time, in Chinka's room, he was leisurely drinking tea. Chen Xiang was sitting on the side enjoying it, saying happily, Chindaga, your hometown is indeed a magical place. Sitting next to him, Chinka was now leisurely holding a teacup in his hand, saying happily, that idiot Wu Qian is probably still struggling to reduce the heat. We just need to turn on the air conditioner, adjust the temperature to the most suitable level for refining pills, comfortably complete the task. Hearing what he said, and she looked at him with dissatisfaction and said, "You're having a good time, but I'm about to die from exhaustion." Seeing and she working so hard, he couldn't help but raise his index finger and praised, "This human-shaped generator is really convenient. 100 degrees of electricity costs 2 large mantu." At this time, the elixir was about to be refined, and the fragrance spread everywhere. Chen Xiang inhaled the fragrance in the air and said, "I can feel it. This pill furnace will definitely produce extremely high-quality elixirs. Now I can already smell the rich medicinal fragrance." Sitting next to him, Chunke was now in deep thought, thinking, Sixth Elder said that refining these evil-repelling pills is to restrain the fog. Could it be that the Tianqiu Mountain has a plan to enter the fog and search for the ginseng fruit? After a while, outside the courtyard, Guangtu shouted loudly, "It's time. The pill refining is over. Everyone come out." At this time, Wu Qian happened to walk out of the pill refining room. He walked while panting for exhaustion. He said, "Although I'm very tired, I used the water element cultivation technique to continuously water the pill furnace to reduce the heat, and successfully completed the task assigned by the Sixth Elder." As soon as he stepped in front of Guangtu, Chunke, and Qi, and Chen Xiang also stepped forward at the same time. Chunke said at this time, "Elder, I have also completed the task." Hearing this, Guangtu reached out his hand to collect the elixir. He said, "This old man will check the quality of the elixir first." Receiving the suction from him, the elixirs flew out of the furnace one by one. They floated in the palm of his hand. He carefully looked at and evaluated each elixir. Not bad, the elixir is of medium quality, enough to restrain the fog. Receiving praise from him, Wu Qian couldn't help but stand with his arms crossed, wearing a smug smile, while Guangtu continued to reach out his hand to collect the elixir from the others. Then, he turned to look at the others, and his eyes revealed a mocking look. He said, "No need to look. The quality is definitely terrible. I'm just afraid of ruining the elder's elixir." At this time, bearing the suction from him, Chunke's elixirs flew out of the pill furnace one by one. As soon as he saw the elixir flying out of the furnace, his eyes widened in surprise, and he said in surprise, "This is..." After saying that, he quickly took one of the elixirs. After seeing it clearly, he smiled brightly, "Ha ha ha, top-grade elixir. Only when the temperature is controlled without even the slightest deviation can a top-grade elixir be refined. Even this elder finds it difficult to do." Hearing this, Wu Qian immediately changed his expression and said in disbelief, "How is that possible? What does he rely on to refine a top-grade elixir?" Guangtu also looked at Chunke at the same time and asked, "Chunke, how did you do it?" Hearing him ask, he happily pointed to the air conditioner and said, "Sixth Elder, this thing is called an air conditioner. It can control the temperature. I'll give one to you for when you refine pills." Seeing that he was so thoughtful, he was also very happy and said, "You little brat, you know what's what. Follow me inside." As soon as he entered the room, he took out the bullets that he had given before and said, "These things you call bullets, I not only added formations to them, but also refined them. This elder is very curious. What are you going to use these for?" Hearing this, his face immediately darkened, and he said seriously, "To kill people." Seeing his serious expression, he couldn't help but ask, "Kill people? Kill who?" He looked directly into his eyes and said slowly, "Yang Dabiao, the steward of the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute." Hearing this, he immediately reminded him, "You're really dreaming. Don't say you don't have cultivation, even if you want to use these bullets as hidden weapons. It's just a waste of effort. It's better to just use a sword for fun." Although he knew that what he said was right, he sighed helplessly and said, "Manager Yang wants to kill me. I can't just sit and wait for death. I must fight." Seeing him like this, he didn't stop him anymore and said, "You're just a handyman at the bottom of the sect. No matter how much you struggle, I'm afraid it's hard to avoid death. I don't want you to drag Anqi into this. He is currently the disciple with the best aptitude in Tianqiu Mountain and needs to concentrate on cultivation." Hearing this, he nodded seriously. This disciple understands. Seeing him like this, he couldn't help but sigh. "Don't blame me for being heartless. This is Tianqiu Mountain. This is the path of cultivation paved with white bones. Not everyone can reach the end. There will always be people who have to become stepping stones on this path." Seeing that there was nothing more to say, he clasped his hands and said, "This disciple takes his leave." He watched his departing figure and asked curiously, "I thought you would beg me once." Hearing this, he turned to look at him and asked, "I just want to confirm one thing." He asked back, "Confirm what?" He said, "In Tianqiu Mountain, killing people is not a crime." Then he immediately turned around and walked away without hesitation. Seeing his determination, he couldn't help but be shocked. This kid's mind is not ordinary, but it's probably too difficult to kill a cultivator with a mortal body. Scene change. 3 days later, Su Ping and Su Po were sitting in the cultivation room. Suddenly, Su Ping turned to ask him, "Brother, I heard that someone wants to kill Chunke." Hearing this, he also stopped cultivating and said to her, "Now is an important moment for you to break through, you can't be distracted. I'll take care of it." He stepped outside and said to a miscellaneous disciple, "In the future, don't tell my sister anything related to that little handyman." The man replied, "Yes." "Then should I send a message to the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute, telling Yang Dabiao to spare his life?" Hearing this, he said, "No need, let him live or die on his own." The man replied, "Yes." After saying that, he turned around and left. Time is urgent. The ancestor will not wait too long. Well, whether he lives or dies, we'll see the results. Then, he flew away. Scene change. In a room, Chen Xiang asked Chen Ke, "Brother Chen, the 3 days are up." Hearing his reminder, he carefully thought and said, "For safety, let's draw a few rounds first." System, draw all the prizes. System, congratulations on obtaining Landmine Tank Buster, 10, Barrett Sniper Rifle, 1, Explosion-Proof Shield, 1 set, 2nd Battalion Commander's Insignia. Italian Cannon, remaining fear points, 1. Looking at the things he had drawn from the system, he secretly thought with satisfaction, "This time I really drew some good things." Scene change. In another room, a miscellaneous disciple said to Dabiao, "Manager Yang, the time is up. No important figures have said anything." Hearing this, he immediately stood up and went to Chinku's place and ordered, "Go, send that kid to the Western Paradise." Scene change. Tianqi was standing on a mountain at this time. His face was full of thought, and he thought to himself, "I've investigated back and forth these past few days. Shogei's death has no clues. Is it related to this kid? I'll know later." At this time, Guangtu suddenly appeared from behind him and asked, "Great Elder, what are you staring at the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute for?" Seeing Guangtu suddenly appear, he asked curiously, "Sixth Elder, what are you doing here?" He replied, "I'm here to see what happens to that handyman named Chinke." Hearing this, Tianqi became curious. A small handyman can also make Sixth Elder, who doesn't care about worldly affairs, interested. Hearing this, Guangtu replied, "I think this kid's mind isn't bad. The Great Elder is also here to see him." He replied, "I'm just idle and have nothing to do." At this time, Pa also suddenly appeared. Seeing this, Guangtu said, "It seems that we're not the only two who are interested in Chinke. Little Su Elder has also come." Pa said at this time, "This kid has karma with my sister. I've also come to see the outcome." Hearing this, Tianqi said, "The outcome is already determined. This kid will definitely die." Guangtu heard this and retorted, "I feel that Chinke won't die so easily." Hearing him say that, Tianqi became curious. Sixth Elder actually thinks so highly of this kid? How about we make a bet? Hearing this, Guangtu turned to look at him and asked, "How do we bet?" Tianqi said, "If you feel that he can't die so easily, then let's bet on whether he can survive one moment in Yang Dabiao's hands. The loser has to take out a spiritual weapon." Seeing him say that, Guangtu couldn't help but smile. It seems that the Great Elder has long been thinking about the spiritual weapon that I just made. At this time, Tianqi no longer had the mood to talk nonsense. He asked directly, "Sixth Elder, do you dare or not?" Guangtu replied, "Why wouldn't I dare? I'm just afraid you won't be able to afford it." Bet. After saying that, Tianqi turned to look at Pa and asked, "Little Su Elder, what about you?" Hearing this, he replied, "I bet he won't live for more than one moment." Scene change. At the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute, Dabiao kicked the door open and strode forward aggressively, shouting loudly, "Chinke, Chen Xiang, the day of your deaths has arrived." At this time, Chinke was still sitting at the table, leisurely drinking tea and said, "Old dog, what are you shouting for? It's not certain whose death day it is yet." On the other side, Tianqi, who was observing him, saw this and said disdainfully, "A mortal who runs away can still live a little longer. Now he's not only not running, but also mocking a cultivator here. Foolish." Guangtu also sighed at this time and said, "Alas, he's a little impulsive. I'm afraid I'll have to lose 2 spiritual weapons this time." Here, Dabiao said angrily, "You're about to die, and you're still being stubborn." After saying that, he took a step forward, but seemed to have stepped on something. He lifted his foot and looked at the mine on the ground and wondered, "What is this?" Immediately, the mine exploded, sending him flying backwards. Seeing this scene, Guangtu was very happy and asked, "What is that?" "I can't sense any spiritual power, but it can blow away a cultivator." Tianqi said at this time, "Heretical ways, hard to achieve great things." At this time, Dabiao stood up after the explosion, holding a sword and strode forward aggressively. "You little brat, I'll kill you." Suddenly, he stepped on another mine. Immediately, he was blown away again. He struggled to use his sword to prop himself up to sit up, and coughed non-stop in his mouth. Chinke was still leisurely sitting and drinking tea, and said, "This Manager Yang's cultivation is not low, he's fine even after being blown up twice." At this time, a miscellaneous disciple also reminded Dabiao, "Manager, there's danger in front of the door, fly straight in." Hearing this, he flew up and flew in, and couldn't help but praise, "Good idea." Soon after, he stopped in front of Chinke, but he continued to step on something again. He looked down at the ground in fear and said, "Why is there still one?" Immediately, an explosion rang out again, sending him flying backwards again. Guangtu watched the whole process below and said with a smile, "The opening is really unexpected. I seem to have the upper hand in the bet." Tianqi also had a serious expression at this time and said, "It's only been less than half a moment." Pa also spoke at this time, "Just relying on some kind of science and technology, you can't kill young Dabiao." At this time, Dabiao was already a little scared and ordered, "What are you guys standing there for? All of you, get up there." Hearing this, the miscellaneous disciples who followed him also rushed up one by one. Unsurprisingly, all of those guys stepped on mines and were blown into the sky. At this time, Chen Xiang looked at Qin Ke and said worriedly, "Qin Ke, the landmines are almost used up." On the other side, Dabiao slowly strode forward at this time and said angrily, "You little beast, you keep blowing me up. It's over, right? Then it's my turn." Seeing this, Qin Ke turned to look at Chen Xiang and said, "Chen Xiang, where's your mother's Italian cannon?" Hearing this, a cannon was immediately pointed at Dabiao. Chen Xiang had already pulled out the cannon from somewhere and replied, "Here it is." Dabiao was now extremely angry. He flew up and said, "A mortal has injured me like this. I must tear you apart." Seeing that Dabiao was determined, Tianqi said expressionlessly, "It's over." At this time, Qin Ke ordered, "Blow him up for me." Immediately, Chen Xiang fired the cannon at Dabiao. The cannonball hit him right in the chest, causing him to vomit blood. Immediately after that, he was blown backwards and slammed into the wall. Seeing this, Tianqi couldn't help but be shocked. What is this again?" Guangtu was also surprised at this time and said, "This little brat, the power is even stronger than the landmines just now. This time, Manager Yang will be crippled even if he doesn't die." On the other side, Dabiao was lying motionless against the wall at this time, coughing nonstop in his mouth. Seeing this, Qin Ke strode towards him and asked confidently, "Old dog, whose death day is it now?" Dabiao had difficulty getting up at this time and said, "You've hurt me half to death. I really didn't expect it. But a mortal killing an immortal, you're dreaming." Seeing him continue to rush towards him, Qin Ke immediately ordered, "Fire the cannon." Chen Xiang immediately followed his orders and fired the cannon. The bullet quickly flew towards Dabiao, but this time, his figure quickly disappeared. Seeing this, Qin Ke said worriedly, "He's disappeared. This is bad." Suddenly, Dabiao appeared in front of him, his eyes full of murderous intent. Seeing this, Chen Xiang hurriedly shouted, "Brother Chen, be careful." At this time, Dabiao was also staring at Qin Ke and said disdainfully, "Kid, the biggest difference between you mortals and us cultivators is that cultivators have many immortal methods. Do you really think I can't kill you?" Qin Ke immediately reacted at this time. A shield immediately appeared along with his words, "Fireproof shield." Seeing this, Dabiao struck him with a palm, causing the shield to shatter immediately and sending him flying backwards. He fell to the ground. Chen Xian hurriedly ran over and shouted, "Big brother Chen." Seeing this scene, Dabiao nodded in satisfaction at this time. "Kid, you still can't avoid death in the end." On the other side, Tianqi laughed loudly now and said, "Sixth elder, it seems that I've won." Guangtu sighed upon hearing this. Alas, 3 breaths of time were missing, and it would have been 1 moment. But a mortal who can do this is enough to be proud of. This kid's mind, if he could embark on the path of cultivation, I'm afraid his achievements would be immeasurable. At this time, Tianqi didn't wait any longer, turned and left, and said, "This elder is leaving first. Don't forget to send the 6th elder's spiritual weapon over there." At the same time, he thought to himself, it seems that Shougui's death has nothing to do with this kid. Over there, at this time, Dabiao was slowly striding towards Qin Ke and said, "Chen Xiang, this brat is dead. Next, it's your turn." Suddenly, a bullet pierced through his hand. He looked down at his arm that had a hole in it and said in fear, "What?" On the top of the mountain, Tianqi also turned back in shock and asked, "Not dead?" Dabiao looked at Qin Ke with a surprised expression at this time. Immediately after that, he said calmly, "You actually haven't died, but this little bit of damage is completely insignificant to me." As soon as he finished speaking, a bullet suddenly flew towards his hand and exploded. The small explosion caused him to sever his arm. He hugged his arm and shouted, "Ah, my arm." At this time, Qin Ke was holding a gun in one hand, looking at him with satisfaction and said, "The bullets with added spiritual power attack effect are really good." Hearing this, Dabiao looked at him, his voice filled with fear. "The attack you launched actually carries an exploding formation." On the top of the mountain, Tianqi also turned to question Guangtu at this time, "6th elder, you refined weapons for this kid?" Hearing this, Guangtu turned to look at him and said with satisfaction, "Not bad, this kid asked me before, but Qin Ke's attack methods are extremely simple. Young manager could have avoided it, but he can only blame himself for being careless." At this time, Qin Ke had continued to point his gun at Dabiao and said, "Manager Yang, it's over." After saying that, he opened fire and shot continuously at him. He was now riddled with holes, and he shouted unwillingly, "No! Damn mortal, what do you rely on to kill an immortal like me? What do you rely on? Even if I die, I must drag you down with me." Seeing the attack launched from his mouth, Chen Xiang immediately recognized it and hurriedly shouted, "It's a life-bound attack of young manager. Brother Chen, dodge quickly." Although he had said it so quickly, the attack had already touched Qin Ke. Immediately after that, Dabiao was now weak and hurriedly begged, "Great elder, save me. I don't want to die." Suddenly, another explosion rang out. On the top of the mountain, Pa said, "The time of 1 moment has arrived." Guangtu also said with a regretful tone at this time, it's a pity for this kid Chinku. Using a mortal body to destroy an immortal, this is something that no one has ever done. This mind, if he could step onto the path of cultivation, I'm afraid his achievements would be immeasurable. At this time, seeing that the matter was over past, both of them are dead. Who wins now? Hearing this, Tianchi said, of course we won. Regardless of whether Yang Dabia died or not, this kid was indeed killed within 1 moment. Seeing Tianchi say that, Guangtu became angry. Great elder, you're a bit shameless. Doesn't Chunku's performance make you change your views? Hearing this, Tianchi didn't care and said this elder will not change his views on a mortal, and will not change his views on a dead person even more. At this time, under the mountain, Chunku stood up calmly, stretched and said, fighting, it's great. Seeing this, the elders on the mountain were very surprised. What? Not dead? Impossible. Chen Xiang also approached Chunku at this time and asked, Brother Chen, you're still not dead? Hearing this, Chunku pulled open both sides of his coat, revealing his bulletproof vest, and said, luckily, I got the bulletproof vest in the previous draw. Otherwise I would have really died this time. On the top of the mountain, Guangtu laughed loudly at this time, ha ha ha, great. Great elder, you never expected it, Chunku is still alive. This time you have no way to play tricks anymore. Right? Pa also seriously evaluated Chunku with a serious expression at this time and said, is this the path of scientific and technological cultivation? It's really magical. But it can only barely deal with this kind of Yang Dabia. If you encounter a slightly stronger immortal, there is absolutely no chance. In the end, it is still impossible to get on the banquet table. Tianchi was no longer patient at this time and left, cursing in his mouth, good for nothing Yang Dabia. Guangtu saw him leave and did not forget to remind him, great elder, don't forget to send me the spiritual weapon. At this time, Guangtu approached Chinku and Chen Xiang and said, kid, you are indeed a talent. This mind and calculation are not possessed by many great cultivators. Seeing that the person who came was Guangtu, the two immediately respectfully bowed and said, greetings, sixth elder. At this time, sixth elder happily wanted to reward him for his performance just now. Chinku, this time you made me win 2 spiritual weapons. This elder is in a good mood. You can make a request to me. Chinku was excited, but he refused Guangtu's suggestion. Sixth elder can let me win, which shows that you value me. I have no requirements, only gratitude. He immediately laughed heartily and said with satisfaction, haha, good kid, knows how to talk, I like you very much. Then, Guangtu frankly asked again with seriousness, tell me, this elder will not be polite with you, for example, I can let this elder be your backing, and no one will dare to easily touch you in Yaosho Mountain in the future. Speaking of this, Chinku put his hands together and said respectfully, if that's the case, I want to ask sixth elder to give me 2 elixirs to restrain the fog barrier that I refined last time. Hearing his condition, Guangtu was surprised, you also want to go behind the mountain to find the ginseng fruit? Chinku replied, I want to try this path of cultivation. Guangtu began to analyze his choice. The ginseng fruit is illusory and unrealistic. No one has obtained it for hundreds of years. Then, he carefully stated the risks involved. Not even anyone has ever seen it, causing countless people to be buried in it. A mortal like you should not think about it. But Chinku's eyes clearly showed determination, and then he made it clear to Guangtu, if I don't cultivate immortality, as sixth elder said, I will eventually become white bones piled up on the path of others' cultivation. I don't want that. I want to be a person walking on the road. After hearing Chunku's answer, Guangtu was slightly stunned and did not say anything more, but seemed to be thinking about something. At that time, he did not say much more, so he took out the 2 elixirs that Chunku wanted and threw them to him. Okay, take them. Receiving the elixir that Guangtu gave him, he immediately thanked him. Thank you, sixth elder. Sixth elder's great kindness, this kid will repay you in the future. At this time, Guangtu turned around and left, not forgetting to tell him, Chunku, with your state of mind, I'm afraid you have already made a decision. It's useless for this elder to advise you. But I still have to tell you a fact. At that time, he flew up into the air, instructing the unfinished words, the ginseng fruit even the 2 ancestors Qi Feng and Mingwei could not obtain, you better give up early. After Guangtu left, he turned to share an elixir with Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang, here's one for you. Chen Xiang took the elixir in his hand and happily said, Brother Chen, I have heard of this kind of elixir before. It is said that only formal disciples are given it. I didn't expect Brother Chen you to get it. This time, we can go find the ginseng fruit. Then Chunku spoke, don't be impatient. There are shoguis in the fog, and there are other unknown dangers. Let's prepare for a while and then decide. At Su Peng's place, who was sitting in cultivation, Su Pa suddenly came. Seeing this, she asked, Brother, how is Chunku? He said indifferently, he's fine. In the tone of Su Po's words, Su Peng realized that there was something different. Brother, you are not good at lying, and you have never lied to me before. Suddenly, he sighed and frowned and replied, he is indeed fine. He used something called the path of science and technology to kill Yang Dabiao, the steward of the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute. Receiving the news from Su Pa, she immediately stood up and strode away. I'm going to see him. Suddenly, Supa called her with displeasure, sister. At this time, he bluntly stated his dissatisfaction with Chinku. Immortals and mortals are different. He is far away from our world. But those words not only did not make Su Ping have a cold or contemptuous attitude towards Chinku, but also made her feel admiration. But he can take a mortal to kill an immortal, isn't he? Seeing that he could not dissuade his sister, Supa sighed and said, okay, go, come back quickly, and don't delay your cultivation. Su Ping replied with a word and left, okay. When only Supa was left, he sat down and operated his cultivation, and around him, faint lotus flowers appeared. The speed of cultivation is still not fast enough, it must be faster. Unexpectedly, Manhwa appeared in front of Supa and praised. One thought blooms, very good. Seeing that the person who came was Manhwa, he immediately bowed, ancestor. But the old man waved his hand, no need to stand up, you continue to cultivate. Taking out 2 elixirs from his hand, he threw them to Supa, and then the old man said, you have only used 3 months to cultivate from dry wood meeting spring to one thought blooming. And the progress of the realm can be said to be rapid. The old man praised, you 2 siblings are worthy of being the most outstanding disciples of Yashou Mountain. At this time, Supa saw the 2 elixirs that Manhwa gave him. Receiving them, he could not help but be surprised, ancestor, such precious immortal medicine, give it all to us, ancestor you. Seeing Supa's astonishment, Manhwa slowly said, Qifeng and I are nearing the end of our lifespans and won't live much longer. Now the cultivation world is in turmoil. For the future of Yashou Mountain, you 2 siblings must quickly improve your strength. In Supa's eyes, a firm determination appeared. Ancestor, rest assured, I will definitely do my best. Manhwa instructed you cultivate well. In a few days I will find some immortal medicine and bring it to you. After saying that, he disappeared. Holding the 2 immortal medicines in his hand, he tossed them happily. Immortal medicine, it's really a good thing. Then he threw both of them into his mouth and ate them at once. Returning to Chinku and Chinxiang, suddenly a group of people strode towards them in unison and shouted, Manager Chin, greetings Manager Chin. Hearing them call like that, they both looked at each other in confusion. Manager Chin, who is that? One of them came forward and said happily, Manager Chin is you, Chinku Manager Chin. Seeing this, Chinku was stunned and pointed at himself, asking, I've become a manager of the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute? Why don't I know? The person immediately explained, Manager Chin, you killed Yang Dabia. From now on, you will replace Yang Dabiao and become the new manager of the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute. Those words made them unable to calm down. Chinku said it can still be like this. Then this person explained more clearly, this is the consistent rule of the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute. As long as the big figures above do not interfere. Whoever is stronger in the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute is the manager. Yang Dabiao killed his predecessor to become the manager. At this time, Chinku stroked his chin and thought, so that's how it is. The Miscellaneous Affairs Institute is so much like the big fish eat the small fish. It seems that the higher you go in cultivation, the more cruel it becomes. This is the true world of cultivation. Suddenly, Su Ping flew over and appeared in front of him and called, Chinku. Seeing that the person who came was Su Ping, everyone respectfully knelt down and saluted, greetings, Senior Sister Su, greetings, Senior Sister Su. At this time, she ordered the group of people, you all retreat. Please help me to go to the Sex Treasure House to get a few jars of spirit wine. I want to congratulate Chinku on becoming the manager of the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute. The group bowed and replied in unison, understood. After receiving the order, the group left and discussed enthusiastically, Senior Sister Su has specially come here to congratulate Manager Chin. Who said that Manager Chin has no backing? It's the goddess Su. Yang Dabiao really deserves it. He didn't die unjustly. At this time, Su Ping hesitated slightly, Chinku, I am in seclusion, your matter. Immediately he patted his chest and firmly replied, Girl Su, I understand, no need to explain. You can come here to prove that our friendly revolution has passed the test. In another place, Yugui was standing there as if waiting for something. Suddenly, the stone coffin lid vibrated violently. Seeing this, she immediately rejoiced, she's here. From within, a skeletal hand reached out. Yugui immediately knelt on one knee and respectfully saluted, Welcome, Holy Bone Lady. A purple-haired girl stood up. Her whole body was a set of white bones without any flesh except for her face. A person who looked like a normal person like that could never survive. So this is the legendary white bone spirit. After she was awakened, she asked, What year and month is it now? Yugui immediately replied, It has been 500 years since the lady fell asleep. Receiving the answer, the white bone spirit was quite surprised. 500 years? So much time has passed. My broken body has finally recovered more than half. She said in a loud voice, Congratulations, lady, with the lady's strength, you will definitely become the king of this surrounding area for thousands of miles. Suddenly, the white bone spirit noticed the abnormality on Yugui's body. At first glance, your aura is unstable. What's wrong? At that time, the white bone spirit strode closer to Yugui, and she replied, I was attacked by a cultivator of Yashou Mountain and was slightly injured. Suddenly, the white bone spirit waved her hand, and cracks immediately appeared from the ground next to her. She said, "Take me to Yaosho Mountain." A bone carriage appeared, and she continued, "I will demand justice for you." At this time, both of them sat on the car and set off. The white bone spirit was full of momentum. Let those useless cultivators know that the Holy Bone Lady has returned. At Yaosho Mountain, after the three of them had eaten, drank, and celebrated, Su Peng stood up and wanted to take her leave first. "It's not too early. I have to go back to seclusion and cultivation." Suddenly, Chinku took out a bottle of blue water and handed it over, saying, "I'll give you this." Receiving the bottle of water, Su Peng was surprised. "What is this?" Chinku happily introduced, "A specialty from my hometown, Thunderbishia. You can drink a sip when you're tired from cultivation." Receiving the gift, Su Peng said goodbye to Chinku before leaving. "I'm leaving." Looking at Su Peng's back, Chen Xiang happily said to Chinku, "Brother Chen, senior sister Su is so kind." She deliberately said those words in front of the miscellaneous affairs disciples. "And stayed for so long, just to announce to the entire Yaosho Mountain that you are her person." Chinku followed the shadow of her eyes and smiled softly. There are few people like Su Peng in the cultivation world. At this moment, suddenly a voice shouted, "People of Yaosho Mountain, come out!" In the sky was the carriage of the White Bone Spirit and Shogui, coming to demand justice. The killing intent that the White Bone Spirit exuded immediately made Su Peng unable to believe it. This is the aura of a top-level great demon. Chinku's eyes widened, staring at the bone carriage flying over. "It's Yuge Nyang. She has brought people to attack Yaosho Mountain." Perhaps everyone felt the powerful aura, so even the elders Yang Qi and Tian Qi appeared to resolve the situation. "How dare you? What kind of demon dares to break into Yaosho Mountain?" Looking at those elders, the White Bone Spirit did not show any fear or weakness and said, "Stop talking nonsense. You injured my people, hand him over, and I will spare your lives." These arrogant words angered the elders there. Yang Qi couldn't bear it and rushed up, shouting, "Presumptuous, you still dare to be arrogant in Yaosho Mountain." Feeling that Yaosho Mountain had no intention of handing people over, the White Bone Spirit was annoyed and controlled one of her fingers, saying in a deep voice, "Die." After saying that, a dark light pierced straight into Yang Qi's body in a sudden manner. Blood immediately poured out. The unexpected attack made Yang Qi unable to react in time. What? But it was too late. Unexpectedly, the bone finger of the White Bone Spirit could still grow longer. She pointed her finger and despised, "You useless thing." Witnessing all the images just now, Chinku sighed. Demons are really scary. One blow kills the fifth elder. Chen Xiang then said, "If she wants to kill you, I'm afraid no one can stop her. I don't know who to find." As if realizing the purpose that the White Bone Spirit came for, Chinku's voice trembled slightly. "She's looking for me." Hearing this, Chen Xiang looked blankly with a point of surprise added to 4 points. "Huh?" At this time, Chinku thought quite nervously, "Damn it, why am I so unlucky? There has never been a moment of peace in this world. If I'm not being killed, then I'm on the road to being hunted down." At this time, Tianqi used his cultivation technique to fly into the air, not in a hurry to guess the identity of the other party. "Such terrifying strength, you are the Holy Bone Lady." She received the question and answered immediately, "I am." Unexpectedly, surprise followed surprise. This information came too quickly, making Chen Xiang even more amazed, and the point of surprise was also added to 4. "Brother Chen, I've heard of this Holy Bone Lady. She is an old monster. It is said that she is a set of bones that have become, so she is also called the White Bone Spirit. Compared to Manager Yang, she is stronger than I don't know how many times." Suddenly, Chinku reacted. An unbelievable surprise appeared in his eyes, increasing by 3 points and then multiplying by 3 compared to normal. "Huh, the White Bone Spirit?" Then he remembered the story in the journey to the west. Damn it, didn't the White Bone Spirit get killed by Sun Wukong? Why is she still alive? Yuge's eyes swept from top to bottom and stopped on Chen Xiang and Chinku. Then she turned to complain to the White Bone Spirit. "Lady, these 2 people injured me, especially that Chinku who also robbed my treasure." Without saying much, the White Bone Spirit waved her hand to signal, "Go, kill them together." Yuge received the order and jumped from the carriage, replying, "Okay." The elder appeared in front of Yuge, wanting to stop her. "Stop." As soon as the words came out, a huge outstretched bone hand flew straight into the elder's body. With a huge and powerful push, he was hit directly in the hand by the White Bone Spirit, and blood spurted out of his mouth. Although he had just suffered a serious injury, he still struggled to beg, "Holy Bone Lady, calm your anger. Su Peng is one of the 2 disciples most valued by the ancestor of Yaosho Mountain. Please spare her once for the sake of the ancestor." But those words were useless to a person who now only had a skeleton left and had lost her heart. How could she move the White Bone Spirit to refute, "Your ancestors are nothing to me. Go and kill them." Receiving the White Bone Spirit's order, Yuge rushed down like a rocket and shouted, "You 2 little brats, you didn't expect it, did you? Yuge Nyang, I have a strong backing." Suddenly, Su Peng also used her cultivation technique to rush up, wanting to confront Yuge, and she advised him, "Chinku, you run quickly." Immediately afterwards, both sides rushed straight in as if competing for strength. Yuge smiled excitedly, "Hee hee, with the lady sitting here today, no one can save you." While she was at the height of her power, a spark shot straight at her. She was attacked unexpectedly, and Yugui shouted, "What?" It turned out that Chinku had used a cannon to fire a bullet to help Su Ping. At this time, Yugui was panicked and didn't understand what was going on. Her face was full of daze, and the point of surprise also increased by 2. What is this? At this time, she landed on the ground full of annoyance and scolded, "Damn it, it's this attack again, I'm so angry." As soon as she finished speaking, Chinku fired another cannon, again. The bullet flew swiftly closer to Yugui. Just when it seemed that she would be hit, unexpectedly the white bone spirit appeared in time and reached out to block the movement speed of the bullet. This scene hit his eyes, making Chinku unable to look away, and the point of surprise increased by 2 and then multiplied by 2 again. He said, "Bare hands to block artillery shells." Immediately afterwards, a loud explosion rang out, and the white bone spirit destroyed the bullet in just a moment. She raised her hand to her face out of habit and smiled sarcastically with contempt. This kind of attack does not fundamentally hurt, it's just child's play. At this time, Chinku gradually understood, completely unharmed. As expected, for a powerful cultivator, this type of attack is useless. Suddenly, sharp, large needles were launched from a distance. Without a word of warning, those needles pierced straight into each instep of the two people, making them unable to react. Because of the needles, the pain began to roll up, causing Chunku's face to become ugly and darken. At this time, she wanted to resolve it quickly and ordered Yugui, "Go, don't waste any more time, kill them." Receiving the entrustment, she immediately rushed up and shouted, "You mortal brat, I'll kill you first." Suddenly, Chinku took out his gun and aimed straight at the target and pulled the trigger. The bullet hit Yugui's stomach, causing her to stop. Unexpectedly, that move did not have any effect on her. Yugui sneered, "What is the use of this kind of skin injury?" While she was complacent, the bullet suddenly exploded, spurting fire. When the smoke cleared, her stomach had turned into a hole that could be pierced through. Her face changed from complacency to panic. What? The point of panic was then added to 3. Following that success, Chinku continued to pull the trigger and attack. She painfully blocked each shot and couldn't bear it, and then asked for help. "Lady, save me." Hearing the signal for help from Yugui, the white bone spirit immediately took action to assist her in blocking the speed of the bullets again. Then she turned to glare at Yugui, her tone full of annoyance. "You useless thing, you still need me to take action many times to kill a mortal." Seeing that the situation had become critical, Chinku immediately informed the system, use up all the fear points to draw prizes. The system's response quickly gave the results. "Congratulations, you have received all-terrain motorcycle, 1, Tiger Tank 1. Not only that, but he also exchanged for 3 more tanks. And then the balance appeared, remaining fear points, 9. Observing the screen sent by the system, Chinku couldn't help but be stunned. He then reflected to the system, "I got a motorcycle and 4 tanks, but the important thing is, how do I use them in the current situation?" On the white bone spirit's side, she immediately made a move, pointing a finger up and saying only one word, "Fix." Immediately, Chinku's whole body was controlled. Feeling that his body had lost control, he panicked, and the point of surprise increased by 2 and then multiplied by 2 again. Only his mouth was still able to move. Chinku shouted, "This is bad, I can't move my body at all." Seizing the opportunity that Chinku was controlled, Yugui eagerly came forward. "You little beast, watch me skin you alive." Suddenly, Chen Xiang stood out and blocked in front of Chinku. "Stop." Fearing that he would be implicated because of him, Chinku angrily shouted, "Chen Xiang, go away, you are no match for them." But Chen Xiang stubbornly did not listen. "Brother Chen, I'm not going anywhere. Quitting halfway is not my style." At this moment, Yugui rushed up madly. "Looking for death is indeed your style." She poked hard into his stomach and lifted him high. In his mouth, a stream of hot blood immediately spurted out. Chinku angrily watched his loved one being harmed right in front of him but could not do anything. He shouted and called him, "Chen Xiang." Yugui threw Chen Xiang aside and sneered, "You're really just a chicken who likes to show off." Then her face became sinister, ready to end Chinku in her hands. "Now it's your turn." At this time, Su Ping endured the pain and pulled her feet out of the 2 sharp needles. Her feet were numb and accompanied by throbbing pain, but Su Ping still gritted her teeth and endured it. Yugui's attack had approached Chinku's body. She gritted her teeth and said, "Die." At the most critical moment, Su Ping appeared in time and knocked Yugui away, saving Chinku from a fatal blow. Yugui was pushed back a few meters, and the ground was also ground into a groove. She said angrily, "Su Ping, for a mortal, you actually pulled out the lady's bone nails. This pain is not something ordinary people can endure." Hearing the pain that Su Ping was suffering, Chinku asked anxiously, "Girl Su, are you okay?" Her breathing was a bit rapid, but she quickly answered him, "I'm fine, with me here. I won't let these monsters kill you." Seeing that everything was not over, the white bone spirit began to feel uncomfortable and cast a spell, and then said, "It's really troublesome." Unexpectedly, Su Ping was also controlled like Chinku, and she panicked. What? Both of them were now in danger because they had been controlled. Yugui strode up and sneered, "Hee, bound by the lady's holy light, let me see how you plan to stop me from killing him." At this time, Su Ping was unwilling and wanted to struggle, but she couldn't. "Damn it, quickly open it for me." At that time, Yugui smiled evilly and rushed over and said, "If I can't kill you this time, Yugui Nyang, I don't deserve to be a great demon." Seeing this, Su Ping's face darkened in panic. It's too late. Just when she was rushing over with murderous intent, a tank suddenly appeared on Yugui's head. Suddenly, she realized that something was wrong, and the point of surprise was added by 2, and she looked up reflexively. With a bang, the tank pressed on her body and landed safely on the ground. Seeing this, Su Ping couldn't help but be surprised. Thinking that she was already dying, unexpectedly, she immediately stood up and lifted the tank up with one hand. Yugui breathed a sigh of relief, not injured. Phew. Before she could settle down, another tank fell right on top of the first one and stacked on top of each other. Because of the sudden fall, she lost her balance and knelt down, supporting herself with both hands, and said grittingly, "Kid, what's the use of this little trick?" While she was trying to resist, another one fell down. Yugui roared like crazy, "Damn it!" At the same time, the fourth one also fell down and continued to stack on top of each other. At this time, she was crushed and unable to move her limbs, and then she roared in dissatisfaction, "Oh heavens, why can't a mortal be killed no matter how hard I try?" At this time, Chinku dared to breathe a sigh of relief. Tanks can only be used temporarily. Yugui's whole body shook. She was not worried about herself, but also had time to think about the white bone spirit's feelings. If this goes on, the lady will be disappointed in me. Thinking of that, she used her strength to throw all the tanks away with a move, burning demon blood. Suddenly, Su Ping had escaped the control of the white bone spirit. The next second, she rushed over to fight with Yugui and said, "I've already said that. With me here, no one can kill Chinku." Seeing the two of them fighting together without distinction, the white bone spirit felt a little surprised. "Huh? A young junior actually broke my holy light binding." Immediately afterwards, she wanted to solve it quickly, so she ordered Yugui, "You retreat. Let me deal with these two people myself." The deadly bone hand reached closer to Su Ping, and Yugui, receiving the order, moved aside. In a critical situation, a staff appeared and knocked the bone hand of the white bone spirit away, and a familiar voice rang out, "Stop." At this time, Manhwa and Qifeng appeared, and the old man said, "Girl, bye, white bone spirit, it's been hundreds of years since we last met. You are getting more and more impatient." Seeing that the people who appeared were Manhwa, the two of them, Su Ping and Tianqi, quickly saluted, "Greetings, ancestor, ancestor." At this time, the white bone spirit's face darkened and angrily replied, "Qifeng, Manhwa, the two little Taoists of the past are now promising, and have become Buddhas and ancestors." Hearing the conversation between the two sides, Chinku seemed to wake up. "Qifeng, Manhwa, white bone spirit, that's right, this must be the world of journey to the west. And it's after several hundred years of obtaining the scriptures." Manhwa opened his mouth to mediate first. "Girl, bye, there is no conflict of interest between us, why don't we just let it go today?" But how could she listen to him? "Now I am the holy bone lady, I can't let it go. I came to Yaosho Mountain to establish prestige." Qifeng then retorted, "Do you think we are afraid of you?" Her whole body exuded murderous intent and replied wickedly, "Then let's have a match." Suddenly, Manhwa raised his hand to signal, "Wait." He began to say, "The holy bone lady wants to establish prestige, I will give you face once. But Su Ping is my disciple, you are not allowed to touch her. As for that mortal, kill him if you want, it's up to you." Hearing him say that, Chinku's face immediately showed the words shock times 2. "What?" Su Ping immediately stopped him. "Ancestor, no." Then the old man waved his hand and pulled her closer and said, "Shut up, come here." At this time, Su Ping's face was full of panic. "Ancestor, but Chinku, he..." Before she could finish speaking, Kai had been tied up by Manhwa and had her mouth gagged. Although her mouth was gagged, she still insisted on speaking, so she could only make a sound, On this side, Chinku was in a dilemma and cursed inwardly. "Damn it, Qifeng Manhwa is not a good thing either. Yaosho Mountain, except for Su Ping, are all villains." The white bone spirit then laughed in contempt. "Ridiculous, killing a mortal. How would the other demon kings view me if it spread?" At this time, Tang Feng spoke, "Girl, bye, don't think that the two of us are really afraid of you. It's just that recently the two of us are consolidating our cultivation and don't want to take action. Don't force us." Manhwa also continued, "You came to Yaosho Mountain and made a scene and left intact, which is enough to establish prestige. Lady, don't be too ambitious." Finally, she agreed, "Okay, I'm tired today, I won't bother with you anymore." After saying that, the bone arm rushed straight to Chinku's place, but he could not do anything but curse inwardly. "Damn it, I'm done for this time." Suddenly, Su Ping broke free from Manhwa's restraints. Immediately afterwards, she rushed down and shouted, "Stop." Seeing Su Ping break free from Manhwa's restraints, Qifeng was shocked. "What?" Seeing his disciple rushing to Chinku's place, he angrily shouted, "Su Ping, come back quickly." But it was too late. At this time, Su Ping rushed out in time and blocked in front of Chinku, and she took the full brunt of the white bone spirit's attack, and blood spurted out of her mouth. Unexpectedly, even though she was hit, it did not affect her too much. With a bruised face, she strongly said, "If you want to kill Chinku, then kill me first." Seeing the scene that just happened, Qifeng immediately scolded, "Su Ping, you are so bold, come back. Although blood was still flowing out, her aura did not weaken at all. Two ancestors, this disciple has decided. Today, this disciple will protect Chunke with her life. After hearing this, the white-boned spirit ran over to attack Su Ping without any scruples. Very well, then I will send the two of you to be lovebirds who died together. Before she could get close, the two ancestors had landed and blocked in front of the white-boned spirit with their disciples. Seeing this, she gritted her teeth angrily. Qin Feng, Mingwei, are you really going to take action? Mingwei replied, Lady Bai, 3 days later, House Han Yaoshu Mountain will reserve a place for you to find the ginseng fruit. Release these two people. Hearing him mention this, the white-boned spirit pondered, the ginseng fruit, that is indeed a good thing. Finally, she and Yugui returned, agreeing to Mingyue's request. If that's the case, consider you to have big lives. 3 days later, I will come to get the ginseng fruit. Suddenly, Su Ping spurted out another mouthful of blood, and Chunke had been released from the confinement. He quickly went over to support her girl Su. Both Qin Feng and Mingwei came over and blamed Su Ping, confused, making a mess. Seeing this, Su Ping weakly knelt down to admit her mistake. Please punish me, ancestor. Mingwei immediately ordered, from today, you are not allowed to step out of your retreat for half a step. After saying that, the two left angrily, at which time Chunke spoke, Girl Su, this kindness, Chunke, I will remember it for the rest of my life. Suddenly, she advised him, Chunke, listen to me, leave Yaoshu Mountain, the cultivation world is too cruel, it is not suitable for you. Chunke scratched his head and smiled foolishly, I understand. Then Su Ping said goodbye to him before leaving, I'm leaving, I hope there will be a chance to meet again. Chunke's eyes flashed with regret and replied, if it weren't for Su Ping, I would have died without a doubt today. Looking at his own fist, Chunke was determined, become strong, this old man must become strong, and must not let others control my life and death. Then he quickly ran over to check on Chen Xiang's situation. Chen Xiang, how are you? Wake up. He put his hand to Chen Xiang's nose to check. Immediately afterwards, Chunke took a step back in disbelief. It's over, Chen Xiang is dead. Suddenly, a magic weapon with a lotus flower appeared in front of Chen Xiang. Chunke stared at it in confusion. What is this? Suddenly, it emitted a beam of light that enveloped Chen Xiang. As if by magic, Chen Xiang suddenly woke up and said with difficulty, Brother Chen. At this time, Chunke quickly helped Chen Xiang to sit up and said, you scared me to death. I thought you were dead. He then explained, fortunately, I had the magic weapon Baoyan lantern that my mother left me. After that, the magic weapon went back into Chen Xiang's body. At this time, his expression was a little sad, it saved my life, but unfortunately I have never been able to fully control it. Chunke was a little surprised at the name of the magic weapon, Baoyan lantern. Suddenly, he patted him hard on the shoulder and said, Chen Xiang, you turned out to be Chen Xiang, damn it, I should have realized it long ago. Seeing his reaction, he was a little confused. Brother Chen, what's wrong? At this time, Chunke began to talk about what happened in the past. Chen Xiang, your mother is the 3 holy mothers, right? Chen Xiang was a little dazed and surprised and asked, how do you know? Then Chunke added, I don't just know these things, I also know that your mother is being suppressed under Manhwa. At this point, Chen Xiang patted his chest to confirm, it's okay, I came to Yaoshu Mountain just to find the ginseng fruit, completely control the Baoyan lantern, and save my mother. After that, Chunke held his shoulder tightly and reassured him, don't worry, I will help you. In his head, he began to think, Chen Xiang later became a disciple of Sun Wukong. Keeping him by my side, wouldn't I be able to meet the great sage sooner or later? At that time, Chunke stood staring at the tank. Then Chen Xiang sat in the driver's seat and said happily, Brother Chen, I've learned how to drive a tank relatively well. Seeing that he seemed quite interested, Chunke gestured to Chen Xiang, drive the tank and follow me. As he walked, he thought, we're about to enter the back mountain. I'm determined to get the ginseng fruit. To ensure that, I still have to draw some good things for self-defense. The tank driven by Chen Xiang drove to the gathering point of everyone. When the others saw this, they were all shocked. The movement is too big. What is this? Could it be some kind of puppet mechanism? Suddenly, Chunke stood on the roof of the tank and waved. Okay, brothers, all eyes follow me. Look at me, look at me. Suddenly a person came forward and parted the crowd, saying, Chunke, what are you doing? It turned out that the person who had just appeared was Wu Qian. Chunke immediately replied to Wu Qian, do you see the small mountain over there? Wu Qian retorted, nonsense, I'm not illiterate, of course I see it. At this time, Chunke stood on the roof of the tank, crossed his arms and looked down and said, do you believe that I can destroy it with one blow? These words were naturally unbelievable to Wu Qian. You're bragging, right? Don't talk about a mortal like you, even the elders of the sect can't easily do that. But Chunke was still confident and wanted to prove it. Let's bet, if you lose, you'll be my son. Hearing this, Wu Qian frowned and said angrily, you're looking for death. Then Chunke quickly corrected his words, just kidding, if you lose, you'll recognize me as your big brother. Do you dare to bet? How could he endure such degradation? So he scolded, I am a dignified prince of the Wusang kingdom. How can I become brothers with a vulgar commoner like you? Seeing this, Chunke sighed sarcastically, I see, you're afraid of me. After all, you lost to me once last time. The words that had just been spoken hit Wu Qian's self-esteem, and he immediately agreed, liar, come on, I'll bet with you. At that time, he jumped down from the tank and said, everyone, wipe your eyes clean and look carefully. Then Qinke shouted loudly to signal, fire. The tank quickly fired, and immediately pierced through the mountain that he had pointed to before the bet. This made everyone stunned and unable to believe their eyes. The fear point immediately increased to 16 points. The people were all bewildered and discussed enthusiastically, why is the power so great? One shot blew up a small mountain. It's too scary, it's so powerful, what is this? Observing the surprised expressions of everyone, Qinke smiled secretly, very good, this harvest of fear value is really not small. The group had not yet recovered from the ability of what they thought was the extraordinary tank, when suddenly a flying carriage appeared in the sky. In that instant, the entire carriage landed, carrying a group of people wearing dazzling yellow robes. Seeing this, everyone was discussing, where did these cultivators come from? At first glance, they are full of energy and have strong cultivation. Not only that, but the dragon horses that pull their carriages cannot be possessed by ordinary forces. I'm afraid they have a big background. Wu Qian frowned and judged, they are cultivators from the Great Jade Firmament sect, and this time they are here, I'm afraid it's also because of the ginseng fruit. At this time, this group of people walked over, led by Zhu Tianxi. As soon as he arrived, he began to mock junior sister Ziyu, which Yao Shou Shan cultivator looks like they have scattered auras. After a pause, he continued, it's really incomparable to our Jade Firmament sect disciples. The girl named Ziyu then replied, senior brother, master said that there are mountains beyond mountains, and there are talented people beyond talented people. When you go out for experience, don't underestimate anyone. After being reminded by Ziyu, he laughed loudly, haha, junior sister is right, but it's not that I don't value Yao Shou Shan, but that they are really worse than each other, haha. At this time, Ziyu looked at the disciples in Yao Shou Shan, and her eyes stopped for a moment. It stopped right on Qinke. When she recognized him, she was a little stunned, that is. Seeing her staring all the time, Zhu Tianxi asked curiously, what's wrong? Ziyu replied, I seem to see a person who looks very much like Qinke. But Zhu Tianxi immediately denied it, junior sister is mistaken, that person was tied to the heavenly pillar and struck by 5 thunders to death many years ago. The matter of that year shook the heavens, and junior sister knows that. Even so, she couldn't help but doubt, I know, but I heard that Qinke was finally rescued by a great power using immortal magic, and since then he has been hiding in the mortal world, and has not been seen. Zhu Tianxi nodded slightly and replied, junior sister is thinking too much, Qinke's karma is too great, it is impossible for him to survive. At this time, Tianqi strode forward, we welcome the heavenly pride of the Jade Firmament sect. The 2 ancestors Qi Feng and Manhwa have been waiting here for a long time. Hearing this, Zhu Tianxi nodded slightly and replied, great elder is polite, lead the way. He then guided the way, please come this way. While walking, Zhu Tianxi chatted with Ziyu, junior sister this time, if we can get the ginseng fruit, the Dao fruit position can be expected. But Ziyu's eyes never left the Qinke-like figure, he really is too similar. As if sensing Ziyu's gaze, Qinke said in confusion, damn, why is that woman always looking at me, could it be that she knows me? At this time, the people of the Jade Firmament sect had been assigned to stand in front of the ancestral hall of Yao Shou Shan. Manhwa opened his mouth to welcome, we welcome the 2 emperors, Qi Feng continued, our Yao Shou Shan is truly honored. Ziyu stepped forward to greet and then said, you are too polite, in the past, the Wuzhuang temple was extremely prosperous, no less than Heaven's city, the ancestor of the earth immortals was the great Immortal Jin Yuanzi, who did not worship the 3 purities and did not respect the 4 emperors, his status was equally respected, you 2 are disciples serving by his side. There is no need to be so polite. Suddenly, Manhwa sighed and replied, it's a pity that the world changed 500 years ago, and the master disappeared, otherwise, our Wuzhuang temple would not be like it is now. At this time, Zhu Tianxi spoke, Qi Feng Manhwa, although the Wuzhuang temple no longer exists today, if you 2 are willing to help me seize the ginseng fruit, I will ask the master to re-establish the Wuzhuang temple for you, and it will not be difficult. Hearing this, Manhwa replied, Yao Shou Shan will do its best to assist the 2 spirit lords, this is a specially made elixir to suppress the poisonous mist. Qi Feng also opened his mouth to warn, the back mountain is extremely dangerous, if those 2 people die there, Yao Shou Shan will also have a hard time avoiding trouble. At this time, Manhwa stroked his long beard and said those 2 people have noble identities, and they must have brought a lot of magic weapons with them, I'm afraid it's not dangerous to their lives. Wu Qian turned to leave a little, now that I'm about to find the ginseng fruit, I have to go back and prepare a bit. At this moment, a hand patted Wu Qian's shoulder. It was Qinke. His face was full of worry. Stop. Suddenly being patted on the shoulder made Wu Qian annoyed, and he turned around and said, what are you doing? Qinke reminded him of the bet just now, you lost, from now on I am your big brother. He immediately became furious and left, humph, what is your identity? I am a dignified prince of the Yusang kingdom, how can a mortal like you be worthy of being my big brother? You don't know your own strength, and you also want to be friends with me. Seeing that Wu Qian could not do what he said, Chen Ke angrily cursed, "You bastard, you don't keep your word, you are really hateful." Suddenly a rope was thrown to Chen Ke, and Wu Qian shouted, "Humph, take it." Holding it in his hand, Chen Ke was suspicious. "What are you giving me this rope for?" At this time, Wu Qian explained, "This is the immortal binding rope that I carry with me for self-defense. Now I'll give it to you. From now on the grievances between the two sides will be erased. And don't bother me anymore in the future." Chen Xiang said, "Brother Chen, this is indeed a treasure." At this time, the ghost monsters sent by the White Bone Spirit were looking down from above, and they said, "I heard that the Holy Bone Lady specifically said that the ginseng fruit in the back mountain of Yao Shou Shan has ripened." They were all excited. "Let's go and join in the fun." The disciples of Yao Shou Shan saw a bunch of monsters flying in the sky, and they shouted in fear, "There are so many demons and monsters, so many monsters have come. It must be because the Holy Bone Lady spread the news." At this time, the White Bone Spirit also came, and she said, "There are many people who follow this lady. But Yao Shou Shan is a hospitable place. I'm sure you don't mind, right?" Manhwa continued, "Since the Holy Bone Lady has brought people, it is not convenient for our Yao Shou Shan to drive you away. But please allow me to say a word to you all." After a pause, he said, "The poisonous mist of the back mountain is extremely dangerous, and there are terrifying shogui inside. Everyone should know how to protect themselves." The ghost then said loudly, "A ginseng fruit can help me ascend immediately. No matter how dangerous it is worth it. Humph, do you think you can scare us? The back mountain only opens once every 100 years. We can't miss this opportunity." After that, the White Bone Spirit spoke, "I heard that your Yao Shou Shan can make elixirs that suppress poisonous mist. Wouldn't you share some with us?" Without hesitation, Manhwa conjured a pile of potion bottles containing elixirs. The White Bone Spirit took it and ordered, "Distribute all these elixirs." The ghosts were very excited when they received a bottle each. "Thank you, lady. If we find the ginseng fruit, we will definitely offer it to the lady." At this time, Qi Feng began to announce, "The auspicious time has arrived. The Yao Shou back mountain has opened." Manhwa looked at his disciples and instructed, "The official disciples of Yao Shou Shan can all receive elixirs to enter. Remember that the place is full of dangers. If you see that things are not right, retreat immediately." The White Bone Spirit's side began to set off. "My little brothers, follow this lady," and set off together. Immediately, the group of ghosts flew closely behind them. The other disciples also moved quickly. "Let's go, we're also going in. Cultivating immortality is originally a dangerous path. Let's take a gamble. Maybe we can seize the creation of the heavens." After saying that, everyone used their cultivation techniques to fly away. Those words fell into the ears of Zhu Tianxi, and he disliked and despised and said, "A bunch of delusional daydreams. That kind of heavenly creation is also something you dare to dream of. You really don't know your place." After saying that, he spoke, "Junior sister, let's set off too." The two of them used their cultivation to fly after them. Everyone had left. At this time Chen Ke told Chen Xian, "Let's go, drive the tank in." Then the two of them climbed into the tank, when suddenly someone ran over and called, "Chen Ke, wait." Seeing Inchi run over, Chen Ke wondered, "Fatty, you also want to go? Let's go together." Because of his round figure, and she was panting after running for a while. And he replied, "I'm not going, I'm here to persuade you." Then he said, "My master said that the ginseng fruit is originally vague and misty, and inside it is full of people where the big fish eat the small fish, and told me to advise you not to take risks." But Chen Ke just happily replied, "Thank you for Sixth Elder's kindness, but we both have reasons why we can't not go." At this point, the two of them got into the tank, and Chen Ke ordered, "Let's set off." Looking down from above, Manhwa said, "The thing that kid took out is getting more and more unbelievable." Qi Feng next to him also continued, "It may be that some refining masters put it out, but after all, it has nothing to do with the great Tao, and will not be successful." A boy sitting on a tank surrounded by thick purple mist in a deserted land. Chen Ke sat around the purple smoke, ate the elixir, and sure enough, the poisonous mist did not continue to erode his body, but he didn't know how long this elixir could last. From a distance, a boy's footsteps hurriedly ran over. "Damn, help." Xuanfu hurriedly ran forward. Shogui chased after him, scared. "Why did I encounter Shogui as soon as I entered?" Shogui's eyes were red and quickly pushed Xuanfu to the ground, and smiled wickedly. Shogui sucked all Xuanfu's breath away, painfully screamed, "Ah!" Shogui looked at Chen Ke sitting on the tank, grunting loudly, angrily. Chen Ke got into the hatch on the tank, challenging, to see if this can penetrate the 150mm armored car. The hatch closed, and Shogui jumped high. It hugged the hatch with its long, sharp nails. Inside the car, Chen Ke stood solemnly and Chen Xiang held the steering wheel. "Brother Chen, it's holding up. Shogui can't penetrate the armor of the tank." Chen Ke raised his fist and confidently, "Then there is no problem. Speed up, chase after the practitioners in front." All the people fell to the ground because of the purple mist. So many dead practitioners. Chen Ke gave them a stern glance. "The number of Shogui in this poisonous mist is afraid that it is a very terrible number. If you continue to go like this, can anyone really live out?" He looked straight and frowned. "Seriously, such a dangerous thing. Why doesn't Yao Shou Shan stop it, but instead gives out elixirs, encouraging everyone to enter?" Chinku sat on the tank. Suddenly a loud explosion sounded, and a light shone. Chinku looked up unexpectedly. What is that? Chen Xiang climbed up and looked. There is a treasure coming into the world. It is very likely to be a fire cloud grass. He turned his head and asked, Fire cloud grass? Chen Xiang turned his head and looked at him and explained, smiling, Fire cloud grass is a high-level spirit grass. Not only can it increase cultivation, especially for people with fire attribute. Spirit roots, it is a natural tonic, and more importantly, fire cloud grass can exorcise evil, which can make the shogui that we can't solve avoided far away. On the tank surrounded by poisonous purple smoke, it was the first time they had encountered a natural treasure. Let's go and see. Chinku looked ahead. Suddenly he spoke, that is. He sat on the tank. In front of his eyes were some people standing in a circle. In the middle are 2 flowers. Lan Lang held a sword in his hand angrily. You little brats, don't get out of the way. I will chop you to death. The boy with a bun in his hair, angrily, bold demon, don't forget that this is the territory of our Yao Shou Shan. Are you worthy of shouting with us? Chinku and Chen Xiang looked at them. Brother Chen, it seems that they are competing for the fire cloud grass. Lan Lang grinned his sharp teeth, angrily, go, beat them to death, and grab the fire cloud grass, otherwise you will be killed by those shogui sooner or later. Lan Lang and 2 teammates rushed in front of the 4 boys, kill. Lan Lang and his 2 accomplices killed them all lying on the ground. The wolf held the sword horizontally across the boy's body, and a sound rang out, fuck. His hand tilted the sword, and the boy fell to the ground. You little brats don't know your own strength. Wait a minute and I won't even leave your bodies, eat them all for me. The tiger pointed in the direction of the tank. Brother Lang, there are still 2 people over there. Lan Lang's slender nails called, you 2, what are you looking at? If you don't go, I will chop you into minced meat. Chinku put his hand on his hip and his thumb pointed at himself, angrily and stunned. 2 little demons dare to talk to me like that. Your Yugain Yang Yang doesn't know how many times I've beaten her. Lan Lang and the tiger came to Chinku. What kind of dog thing is this that is still bragging? Are you worthy of being mentioned in the same name as Yugain Yang Yang? Now I will strangle you to death. He put his hand out. Chen Xiang, give them one. Chen Xiang climbed down in the tank. Okay. The muzzle of the tank lit up with a strong light. It shot straight at the tiger, and some rubble flew high. Lan Lang was shot with his head far away. What? Chinku jumped down and walked forward. It's solved. Chinku and Chen Xiang walked to the 2 flowers, and when they got closer, they could feel the violent fluctuations of fire spiritual power, worthy of being a natural treasure. It's really wonderful. He picked 2 flowers with his hands and held them. Chen Xiang, just enough for one each. Chinku stood watching Chen Xiang evolve. He stood up and around him was a very strong fire. I am a fire-water dual spirit root. After using the fire cloud grass, I clearly feel that the power of my fire attribute has been greatly enhanced. He held the flower in his hand. Sadly, unfortunately, I am currently a mortal physique, and my body does not accept it, so I can't use the fire cloud grass. Chinku gave the remaining flower to Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang, you can also use this fire cloud grass. He looked down at the flower. Brother Chen, using 1 fire cloud grass has already achieved the effect of eliminating shogui. Continuing to use the same medicinal properties will not have much benefit. For me, you keep it. Wait until you find the ginseng fruit, and you can use it. Suddenly a voice came from a distance, and he and the boy turned to look. Run away. Ling Lan, Kaipu and Xunfu ran quickly as shogui chased after them. Worried and afraid, the shogui are chasing after us. Damn it, why can't we cut them off? Ling Lan saw Chinku and Chen Xiang. There are people over there. Let's go over there. Kaipu and Xunfu ran while looking. Those 2 people are wearing only the clothes of handyman disciples. They can't help at all. Ling Lan hurriedly ran towards him and the boy, angrily. We don't need their help. Let's go over there. A shogui had already caught Kaipu and Xunfu, and Ling Lan turned her face to look at a shogui who was flying high towards her. Kaipu and Xunfu were pressed to the ground by it, and shouted in fear, help, I don't want to die. Ling Lan turned her face to look, angrily and worried. It's over. Chinku looked at Chen Xiang and an idea came to him. Try to use the fire cloud grass to see if it works. Chen Xiang with the surrounding strong strength came to them. Okay. Shogui pressed Ling Lan's head down and looked up, unexpectedly, roar. Then Shogui quickly left. Ling Lan supported himself and sat up, blankly. Here, why did Shogui run away? Xunfu pointed forward. Senior Sister Tian, it is the breath of the fire cloud grass. Ling Lan saw the flower in Chinku's hand. Unexpectedly, you still haven't used fire cloud grass in your hands. He turned around and glanced at the boy, coldly. Let's go. Ling Lan reached out his hand and spoke. Wait, the shogui are too dangerous. Can we go with you? Chinku turned his face away, coldly. Can't. Then the 3 of them looked at him and the boy and got in the tank and left. Ling Lan and Kaipa looked, angrily. 2 handyman disciples. They dare to refuse our elite disciples. They really don't know what's good for them. Xuanfu raised his hand. Senior sister, that kid still has a fire cloud grass in his hand. What should we do now? Ling Lan waved his hand. Follow them. It is safe to follow them now. Chinku looked behind him and Chen Xiang drove while watching, solemnly. Brother Chen, those 3 people are still following us. Chinku looked seriously. They saw the fire cloud grass in my hand. I'm afraid they will have other thoughts. Stop the car. Then he stepped up and grabbed the tank and looked at the 3 people following behind him. Chinka reached out his hand. Why are you following us? Ling Lan looked at him, smiling wickedly. This fellow apprentice, I see that you have no cultivation. You must not be able to use the fire cloud grass. If that is the case, why not sell it to us? How about it? He stood solemnly looking at the 3 of them. I have a use for the fire cloud grass I keep. I won't sell it. Xuanfu and Kaipa looked at him and pointed, cunningly, Kid, you really don't know what's good for you. And you don't look at what the situation is now. You say you won't sell it. You must listen to a waste like you. Chinka stood solemnly with his arms crossed. I just saved you, and you are talking to me like that. Kaipu pointed his finger at him, angrily, you dog, a handyman disciple is nothing in front of us. I'm talking to you like that. Kaipu was talking but was interrupted. Suddenly a light pierced straight through his forehead. Unexpectedly, it's already. Ling Lan and Xuanfu looked at Kaipu falling backwards, unexpectedly stunned. What? Chinka held the gun seriously. His mouth is not clean. He deserves to die. Xuanfu's fist flew towards him, angrily. You dare to kill people. You're looking for death. Chinka seriously raised his hand high and pulled the trigger, and a loud noise was heard. Ling Lan looked at Xuanfu falling down, stunned. What's going on? Chinka pointed the gun at Ling Lan. Unexpectedly, it's your turn. Ling Lan frowned and looked at him, worried and afraid. You are the Chinka who can kill immortals with a mortal body in the Miscellaneous Affairs Institute. The one who killed Yang Dabiao, who is protected by the goddess Su. Chinka answered coldly, it's me. Ling Lan knelt down and begged, fearfully, spare me. I was confused for a moment. Chinka pulled the trigger, and Ling Lan was shot far away, coldly, it's too late. And she stood behind Guangtu holding a bronze cage with an animal inside. That's it. If Chinka doesn't listen to advice, he will go and not return, and you will lose a part of the karma, which will be beneficial to your cultivation path in the future. And she frowned, Master, can no one really survive and return? Guangtu glanced at him. It is impossible for anyone to survive and come back. The search for the ginseng fruit is not just once or twice. Basically it is 10 deaths and no life. Don't you see that the people who go are all ordinary disciples? He turned around and reached out his hand. The sect elders and core disciples like Su Ping and Su Pa have not gone. And she scratched his head and thought, if that's the case, why does the sect let so many disciples actively seek death? Guangtu stroked his chin. I don't know, maybe it's because the 2 ancestors are not reconciled and want to find the ginseng fruit to rectify the glory of the sect. He reached out his hand. I still don't understand. Guangtu handed the bronze cage to Entei. Alright, such a big matter is not for a disciple like you to discuss. Take this Ling Zhu from Gaolao village and roast it. Entei held the Ling Zhu in the cage. He instructed him, this animal is very intelligent. It will definitely be delicious when roasted. Inside the bronze cage, the Ling Zhu sat with red eyes, shuddering unexpectedly. Entei left with the cage in hand. Yes, I will take it to the Dan room. In the spacious room, he placed the Ling Zhu on a large table. After today, I'm afraid the disciples in the sect will all be dead. After that, Ling Zhu watched Entei leave. This path of cultivation is too dangerous. It's best to find an opportunity to marry a wife and live a stable life. Ling Zhu stood up and decisively opened the bronze cage himself. It jumped out of the bronze cage and ran away. Want to eat me? Wait for the next life. I should go do my main business now. Ling Zhu ran quickly towards the city gate. Ginseng fruit, here I come. In a large open area, 2 people sat surrounded by powerful energy. 2 people flew in front of them. Su Ping and Pa solemnly clasped their hands and said in unison, Greetings, 2 ancestors. Greetings, 2 ancestors. Mingyu threw out many sparkling jade beads this time. I brought you a lot of immortal medicine. Su Ping looked at the jade beads, surprised. So much? Thank you, 2 ancestors. Mingyu held out his hand seriously. These immortal medicines were all obtained from an immortal. You 2 quickly cultivate and don't let us down. Pa raised his hand. Ancestors, please rest assured. We siblings will definitely try our best. She and her brother stood watching the old man finish speaking and then disappeared. Very good. Su Ping reached out to catch the floating, sparkling jade beads. Collect. Pa looked at her. Sister, wait. She spoke, bewildered. Brother, what's wrong? He held his hand in front of the jade beads. Let me have all these immortal medicines. Su Ping looked at him and said, all for you? Brother, do you want? Pa held the jade beads and looked at her. I feel like I'm about to break through. Instead of both of us breaking through slowly, it's better for me to break through quickly first. Su Ping looked at him, smiled. Okay, then let big brother use these immortal medicines first. Pa opened his mouth wide as the jade beads flew into his mouth. Come. In a deserted area with poisonous fog, Chen Xiang said, Xinge, we've been traveling for half a day. According to the records, we should be arriving soon at the Wuzhuang temple where the ginseng fruit is. Chen Kai turned his head. Chen Xiang, have you noticed anything unusual? Chen Xiang, holding the steering wheel, replied, the longevity ghouls have decreased, and there are almost no cultivators to be seen anymore. Chen Ke, sitting on top of the armored vehicle, said loudly, it's understandable that there are no cultivators. I'm afraid that 90% of the cultivators have been killed by the longevity ghouls. But the decrease in longevity ghouls is not normal. The effect of the fire cloud grass is only within 5 meters. The surroundings are filled with strange purple poisonous fog. Currently, we can't see any longevity ghouls anywhere. Chen Xiang seriously continued, this is indeed not quite right. Chinke raised his hand for a long-range view. If there are no other accidents, I'm afraid the longevity ghouls are gathering in large numbers somewhere. Hearing his words, he looked ahead. Chinge, look ahead. A large mountain with many longevity ghouls gathered there. Light shone down on Bai Gu Jing and Yugui, along with some longevity ghouls, with solemn expressions. Ziyu and Tianxi had a glowing bell above their heads, surrounded by them and the longevity ghouls. Wu Qian held a sword and was surrounded by some people and longevity ghouls. Chinke stood high and looked from afar. I guessed right. As expected, that's how it is. So the longevity ghouls have all run here. Chen Xiang looked at them. There are probably more than 1,000 of them here. Longevity ghouls rushed over and grabbed people, who screamed in fear, ah. Some people stood behind Wu Qian, scared, boo-hoo, what should we do? Is there any chance of survival? There's no chance anymore. Saint Bone Madam and the Tianqing cultivators all have protective magical artifacts. We don't have anything. We can't block the longevity ghouls' attacks at all. There's only one way to die. Jin Baoan as she looked at it, terrified, I regret looking for the ginseng fruit. Can I go back? We can't go back anymore. We're definitely dead. No one can survive and return. Bai Gu Jing solemnly looked at it. Yugui behind asked, Madam, the front is the only way to Wuzhuang Temple. We must break through to obtain the ginseng fruit. But now, a large number of longevity ghouls are blocking the way. She glanced at it, calmly. To break out of this large number of longevity ghouls, this madam is not confident. Qianxi raised his hand, Senior Sister, these longevity ghouls are gathering more and more, and they can't be killed at all. We must leave here quickly, or who knows how long we'll be trapped here. Ziyu placed her hand in front of her chest, seriously, Senior Brother, let's join forces. Tianxi and Ziyu joined forces, and above their heads was a large bell. Many longevity ghouls looked towards the large, piercingly loud bell. Ziyu realized the problem, worried, no, there are too many longevity ghouls. It's hard to take even one step. Chen Xiang and Chinke looked at them from afar. Chinge, everyone is blocked here by the longevity ghouls. What should we do? He pointed towards them. While these people are surrounded by the longevity ghouls, let's accelerate as much as possible and break through. As she was caught by a longevity ghoul, screaming in fear, save me. I don't want to die. He was pressed down by it, desperately pleading, Ancestor, save me. Wu Qian turned his head, gritting his teeth. Suddenly, death is coming. I really shouldn't have looked for any ginseng fruit. Run! Wu Qian was grabbed by the neck by a hand, frowning with worry and fear. The longevity ghoul grabbed his neck and lifted him up high, grinning, you're doomed. From afar, the armored vehicle rushed over, throwing the longevity ghoul and Wu Qian away. Wu Qian propped himself up and looked, this is. Chinke sat on the armored vehicle, waving his hand. He was shocked, Chinke. Some longevity ghouls walked over and looked at him. Chinke held a flower branch in his hand and took it out. The longevity ghouls looked angry. Shanli and some other boys looked, what is that? Ziyu looked up and frowned, it's him. Yugui walked to Bai Gu Jing, Madam, it's Chinke. How dare a mortal like him follow us here? She said solemnly, that's not quite right. Have you seen it? The longevity ghouls around Chinke are all running away. Bai Gu Jing and Yugui looked towards him. Indeed, that was the case. There's only one possibility. He found fire cloud grass that can restrain the longevity ghouls. She said solemnly, that's right. Not only do they have the aura of fire cloud grass on them, but it's also the aura of unused fire cloud grass. Yugui behind him grinned, there's such a good thing? If we get the fire cloud grass, we can leave this place. Above Tianxi and Ziyu's heads, there was a large bell surrounded by a powerful light. Senior Sister, those two little brats have the aura of fire cloud grass on them. It's really a case of heaven not abandoning us. Let them pave the way for us. That way, we can break out of the longevity ghouls' encirclement. Wu Qian hurriedly ran after the armored vehicle. Chinke, wait for me. Chinke turned his head and looked, wait for you to do what? He panted, smiling, let me come along for a while. I'm royalty from the Using Kingdom. You saved my life, and I won't treat you badly. Chinke looked at him, coldly angry, get lost. Wu Qian propped himself up on his hands, kneeling down, crying in disappointment, Big brother, please take me with you. Chinke sighed and shook his head, helplessly, Big brother, a mortal like me is not worthy to be your big brother. He looked at him standing below, no, I was wrong. I lost the bet before. A bet is a bet. Chinke, you are forever my big brother, even closer than my own father. He held up one finger. I know my identity clearly. I don't have the qualifications to climb up and associate with you. Wu Qian clasped his hands, begging, crying, Big brother, I really know I was wrong. I shouldn't have said those words to you before. I swear, you are my real big brother. Even closer than my own father. Chinke said solemnly, I don't support idle people. Tears welled up in his eyes, determined, I'm not an idle person. I can work for Big brother. He pointed behind him and asked, "Do you know how to drive an armored vehicle?" He suddenly replied, no. Chinka crossed his arms, "Then you're useless to me." Wu Qian pointed, embarrassed, "Big brother, I can learn." Chinka glanced at him, "Get up here." Wu Qian jumped onto the armored vehicle, smiling, "Thank you, big brother. From now on, Wu Qian will listen to your orders." Four longevity ghouls stood looking towards Tianxi. "Little brat, come to my side." Chinka looked confused. "Come to your side to do what?" Tianxi put his hand on his chest. "I can make an exception to accept you. You can follow me to find the ginseng fruit." He turned his face away, frowning. "Become slaves?" He held out his hand. "That's right. This is an opportunity I'm bestowing upon you. Ordinary people don't have the qualifications to be my slaves." He crossed his arms, glancing coldly, not interested. Tianxi's eyes sharpened, frowning angrily. "You dare to reject me?" Wu Qian stood behind, whispering, "People like him are too lazy to pay attention to you." He heard and smiled awkwardly. Big brother, they are disciples from Tianqing. I don't dare." He turned his face and said, "Coward." Chinka looked at some longevity ghouls standing opposite Tianxi and Ziyu. "Little brat, what's your name?" Surrounded by Tianxi's protective circle, "Impudent. How dare you call Chu Tianxi me a little brat?" Chinka put his hand on Wu Qian's shoulder, grinning. "Chu Tianxi, you are worthy of being arrogant in front of me? Do you know who my little brother is?" he asked. "Who is he?" "I really want to hear." Wu Qian was surprised when Chinka ordered, pointing towards Tianxi, angrily, "My little brother Wu Qian comes from the imperial family of the Utsang kingdom. His status is noble. A Tianqing brat like you is worthy of being arrogant in front of him? I'm giving you face." Wu Qian looked ahead, trembling in fear. "Damn it, big brother, what are you doing?" Tianxi's eyes sharpened, frowning angrily. "Utsang kingdom, great prestige." Very good, very good. "Utsang kingdom, you wait for me." Wu Qian looked at him, crying, "Big brother, you can't harm me like this." Chinka stood upright, pointing, "Be your slave? Are you kidding me? Even if you begged me to be your father, I wouldn't agree." Tianxi concentrated his strength, courting death. Ziyu stood from afar, looking at Tianxi. "Senior brother, let me deal with him." Ziyu realized the problem and said to him, "Senior brother, bear with it for a moment. It's not convenient to act now." Chinka reached out, provoking, "Chu Tianxi, come here. I'm waiting for you here. Hit me." She solemnly thought, this guy's personality is indeed a bit similar to Chinku's. It's a pity he's just a mortal. Then Tianxi rushed straight forward. She looked surprised, can't hold back anymore. Surrounding him were longevity ghouls. Chinka reached out and gave Wu Qian the flower branch in his hand. "Very good, this idiot is rushing up. Wu Qian, do you know what to do next?" Wu Qian held the flower branch in his hand, suddenly shocked. "This is fire cloud grass." He looked at him, worried, his face turning purple and green. "Big brother, do you want me to take the opportunity to attack Chu Tianxi?" Chinka said sternly, pointing, "Not attack, but kill him. This is a once-in-a-millennium opportunity." Wu Qian and Chinka stood on top of the armored vehicle talking. "Seriously? Big brother, aren't you really afraid? Do you know what the consequences of killing a Tianqing cultivator are?" He said seriously, "Now you and I have both offended Chu Tianxi. Either we kill him, or he kills us." Wu Qian hesitated a little, but Chinka and Wu Qian looked at each other, angrily shouting, "No buts. The path of cultivation is about decisive killing. Eradicate the weeds by the roots. Your hesitation will only lead to you being killed by others." Wu Qian held the flower branch in his hand, resolutely angry. "Fine, I'll do it. Otherwise, after we get out, Chu Tianxi will take revenge on my Utsang kingdom." Tianxi rushed straight to the longevity ghouls, angrily. "Get out of my way." Chinka glanced and raised his hand. "Chinxiang, give them a shot. Assist the longevity ghouls." Chinxiang held the steering wheel, determined. "Okay." Then a large explosion rang out, causing the longevity ghouls and Tianxi to fly up high. He was blasted up high, injured in the mouth, closing his eyes in fear. "What?" He lay on the ground as the longevity ghouls rushed over. Tianxi, surrounded by it, rolled his eyes. He shouted loudly, using powerful energy. "Golden light talisman." It stood watching him as Tianxi stood up, light flashing. Chinka pondered. As expected, the longevity ghouls have no way to kill him. This kind of dog has more life-saving methods than usual. Next, it depends on Wu Qian. Ziyu shouted anxiously, "Senior brother, come back quickly." He turned around angrily. "Damn it. Wait for me." Suddenly, a sword pierced through him from behind, unexpectedly. Pfft. Tianxi turned his head to see Wu Qian holding the flower branch and the sword, trembling in shock. "What?" He was blown away when he used his energy. "Impudent. How dare a lowly commoner injure me?" Tianxi's mouth was full of blood, and there was a pool of blood on his chest. Cough. He stood surrounded by longevity ghouls who were approaching. Tianxi looked at it, shocked. No good. The longevity ghouls are attracted by the fresh blood. The longevity ghouls grabbed his hands and feet. Tianxi widened his eyes and shouted, "Ah! Senior sister, save me." Ziyu reached out as the huge bell rushed forward. The huge bell rushed straight at the longevity ghouls, sending them flying away. Ziyu ran to Tianxi, worriedly asking, "Senior brother, are you okay?" He struggled to stand up, in pain, angrily. "I've never been so miserable. I must kill those two bastards." Wu Qian stood from afar watching, and the longevity ghouls looked at him and her. What a pity, Chu Tianxi was almost killed. Bai Gu Jing took the opportunity to rush forward. Good opportunity. This madam will go grab the fire cloud grass. Yu Gui looked at the longevity ghouls running over. She held out her hand in front of it. "My lady, the defense barrier will disappear soon. Everyone, try to hold on. When my lady obtains the fire cloud grass, everyone will be safe." Bai Gu Jing flew towards Wu Qian. "Little brat, hand over the fire cloud grass." But two longevity ghouls appeared and blocked her. Wu Qian held out the flower branch. "With longevity ghouls blocking you, you still want to catch this young master? Dream on. Get lost." Bai Gu Jing used her power, her hand lengthening and piercing the longevity ghoul. Wu Qian stood wide-eyed, dumbfounded. "Damn it, so strong." Her hand grabbed him, suddenly. Her skeletal body was stern eyes. "To think that my lady wants to catch you. Can you still run?" Wu Qian was grabbed by the waist by her hand. "Crap, I'm doomed." Bai Gu Jing grinned. "The fire cloud grass is mine. Go die for me." Qinke waved his hand and shouted, "Eat the fire cloud grass." Wu Qian looked down at his hand, confused. Qinke raised his hand and shouted, urging, "What are you spacing out for? Quickly eat the fire cloud grass." Wu Qian put his hand to his mouth and ate it. "Okay." Surrounding his body was a power. "You dare." Bai Gu Jing faced Wu Qian. "You dare eat the fire cloud grass. I will kill you." Wu Qian held up his hand, smiling. "I am now a walking fire cloud grass. Are you sure you want to kill me?" She let go of his hand and looked at him. "After you're done being useful, this madam will personally kill you." He sighed. "Still, Big Brother is smart. I've temporarily saved my life." Some longevity ghouls rushed over in defensive postures, growling loudly. Tianxi and Ziyu frowned as they looked at it. The longevity ghouls are going berserk. A large number of longevity ghouls are rushing over here. Both of them were pressed down by it. Yu Gui heard the screams. "Ah!" Yu Gui shouted, "Madam, save me." Bai Gu Jing grabbed Wu Qian's collar and lifted him up, ordering, confused, "Go." She and he stood in front of the huge longevity ghoul. Bai Gu Jing said solemnly, "There are still stronger longevity ghouls." The longevity ghoul with sharp teeth roared loudly. Wu Qian knelt in the air, being held by Bai Gu Jing's collar, and looked at it. Even though there are stronger longevity ghouls, they are still afraid of the aura of the fire cloud grass on this brat. But they are no longer as afraid as the other longevity ghouls. "I'm afraid the aura of the fire cloud grass won't last long." A large bell surrounded Tianxi and Ziyu in front of the longevity ghoul. It raised both hands high and roared loudly. It slammed its hands on the ground, which cracked. Ziyu glanced up at the bell, realizing the problem, worried. "Not good. The Zishian bell is about to give out." Tianxi shouted, "Senior sister, use your Zishui power. There's a little brat over there who also has the aura of fire cloud grass on him. Right now, catching him is the only way to survive." Ziyu put 2 fingers in front of her chest. "A purple light. Okay." Then she teleported the purple light to the bell that was cracking. "Go." Tianxi and Ziyu looked at the bell that had been restored. She reached out and ordered, "Open the way." The large bell moved forward, knocking the longevity ghouls up high. Qinke looked from afar and saw the bell successively knocking the longevity ghouls away. He and she flew up high. "Go, over there." He stood up and raised his hand, ordering, "Stop them. Fire the cannons." The cannons of the armored vehicle fired with a loud explosion. Tianxi used his hand and power to block the attack. "Block it for me." However, his hand gradually disappeared within the circle, unexpectedly. Tianxi opened his mouth wide, astonished, crying, "Ah! My arm!" Ziyu supported his remaining hand. "Go." The bell rushed straight forward as the longevity ghoul clenched its fist, preparing to punch the bell. It swung its hand straight out, causing the bell to crack into small pieces. At this time, Tianxi and Ziyu also appeared, looking extremely anxious. Qinke tightened his grip on the gun, gritting his teeth in anger. Troublesome. They broke free. A longevity ghoul standing from afar roared, startling them. She exhaled a breath of discomfort. That was dangerous. "We almost got trapped." Then turned to look at him, unable to hide the resentment in his eyes. "Little brat. You dared to chop off my arm. I must take your life." However, Qinke didn't say a word, decisively firing the gun at the opponent. Caught off guard, Tianxi couldn't react in time, only knowing to blankly watch the bullet flying towards him. Fortunately, Ziyu quickly reached out to block in front of him. This scene surprised him a bit. This person is a master. The bullet has been imbued with spiritual power, but it can't even slightly injure this female cultivator. Tianxi roared, "You still dare to attack me at this point? Watch me peel your skin off." As he prepared to act, she stopped him again. "Wait." Ziyu's eyes were sharp, directing her voice to Qinke. "I ask you, what's your name?" Hearing this, Qinke felt a pang in his heart. She's asking my name? Could it be that she recognizes me? Over here, Tianxi was blazing with anger. "Senior sister, why ask him? Don't tell me he's not Qinke." He looked at him with eyes full of resentment. Even if he is, he deserves to die. I must kill him. As the situation gradually became tense, Chen Xiang ran over and shouted loudly, "Stop!" Qin couldn't hide the tension in his heart. They don't know my name is Qin. So they really know me, they know my identity? Don't block in front of him. A stern voice rang out, "You release him." Seeing Chen Xiang's appearance, Tianxi snapped, "You little brat. What are you? You say release him and we'll release him?" Then he didn't hesitate to point the knife at himself. "If you don't release him, I'll kill myself right here." Chen Xiang's threatening action only made him more uncomfortable. "You're threatening us?" He still didn't flinch at all. "If I die, the aura of the fire cloud grass will also dissipate. At worst, it's a situation where the fish dies and the net breaks." Hearing this, Tianxi could only agree, "Fine, you're ruthless. I won't kill him, but I won't save him either." At the same time, 3 longevity ghouls with red eyes walked towards them. He quickly grabbed Chen Xiang's collar and flew away. "Senior sister, let's go. Leave this guy to live or die on his own." However, Ziyu still had questions. "Wait, I haven't finished talking yet." Tianxi seemed extremely anxious. "Senior sister, those powerful longevity ghouls aren't very afraid of the aura of the fire cloud grass. Let's go quickly. This guy can't possibly be Qinke." Now, she had to leave with him, alright. Looking down at Qinke again, Tianxi smiled triumphantly. "Little brat, let these longevity ghouls tear you to pieces. Consider it a good end for you." Perhaps the loud noise had attracted their attention. A longevity ghoul jumped up. Bai Gu Jing immediately accelerated. "The longevity ghouls are starting to rush over. If we don't leave, it'll be too late." Seeing them leave, Yugui wailed, "Madam, you can't abandon me and leave." She saw the hand of a longevity ghoul gradually reaching her. It only needed to swing its hand to send Yugui flying away. She lost her balance and fell right under the wheels of Qinke's armored vehicle. Yugui trembled all over, despair surging. "I'm doomed. Losing the protection of Madam, I'm definitely dead." Then she shouted at Qinke, "What are you looking at? Even if I die, I have to drag a beast like you along with me." However, he only looked down at the opponent with contempt and uttered a light sentence, "Idiot." Suddenly, 2 longevity ghouls climbed onto the armored vehicle from behind Qinke. Seeing this, Yugui revealed an obvious look of triumph. "I didn't expect Yugui, your lady, a magnificent existence, to finally die together with a mortal like you. How ironic." However, he radiated a powerful energy, knocking the longevity ghouls away. This scene immediately made her wide-eyed in shock. "What? You're not dead yet." Standing from above, Qinke cracked his knuckles, a thick murderous aura spreading. "It's time for you to see my true abilities." Over here, Yugui was not to be outdone, immediately entering a fighting stance. "You're not dead yet? Then I'll personally kill you." But before she could do anything, her body uncontrollably knelt down heavily on the ground. Yugui felt a horror +5 and couldn't believe it. "What's going on? Why do I feel a fear from my soul, from the depths of my soul? I've never even trembled like this facing my lady." Qinke still radiated the purple energy, looking down at her as if looking at a tiny creature. Now, with the horror +8, Yugui finally realized, this aura, it's ghost cultivation. "You're a ghost cultivator. What's going on?" Without giving the opponent time to recover, Qinke directed his demonic power, accompanied by the words, "Die." She couldn't react, and could only stand still, waiting for death. It's that strange tombstone. When she was swallowed by the demonic power, Yugui could only shout out in a desperate voice, "No." Seeing that she was lying motionless on the ground, he assessed. As expected, the tombstone restrains all ghost objects in the world. Even a half-ghost, half-human existence like Yugui Nyang was drained. This energy attracted even more longevity ghouls. Qinke's eyes lit up with a hint of excitement. Next, it's hunting time. Without hesitating for even a second, he quickly drained all of their spiritual energy. Submerged, the longevity ghouls could only roar a few times. "Gao gao." Over here, 3 other longevity ghouls were trying to escape. But they still couldn't escape Qinke. "Gao gao." After a while, all the living things present here had their spiritual energy drained by him. Qinke exhaled a breath as if he had just eaten a grand meal, absorbing all the energy of those longevity ghouls. "I feel so full right now." Suddenly, he was startled when he felt a change from within his body. Looking at the wings gradually forming from his back, Qinke became even more horrified. The dragon wings spread wide in the blue sky. He shouted, "Ah!" Qinke gasped, unable to believe this scene. "My body has undergone mutation thanks to absorbing energy." He couldn't hide his satisfaction. "I feel that my physique has become much stronger." After landing on the ground, Qinke swung his hand and slashed a few times. He stared at his hand. "It seems that after the mutation, I have indeed strengthened my body. Other aspects haven't changed much." The scene shifted to a mansion, a yin-yang symbol appearing. Mingyu was absorbing spiritual energy into the container. "Looks like it's enough." He lightly shook the bottle with satisfaction. This much longevity is enough to refine a large amount of longevity pills. Qin Feng, standing next to him, observing, also couldn't hide his joy. 500 years. Finally we've waited for this day. Suddenly, cracks appeared on the yin-yang compass, attracting their attention. Mingyu immediately became flustered. What's going on? Why is the longevity gathering formation cracking? In the next second, the yin-yang formation shattered into pieces. This scene shocked her. It's broken. That's a magical artifact of the Antarctic old man. How could it break? Without hesitating for even a second, he quickly flew away. Something must have happened. I have to investigate. After inspecting, Mingyu recounted, the longevity ghouls in the back mountain have undergone a change. All the longevity ghouls have disappeared. It's likely they were destroyed by someone. Hearing this, Jing Fo felt incredibly unbelievable. Destroyed all the longevity ghouls. Who did it? He replied, I didn't dare to investigate deeply. Ordinary cultivators can't kill longevity ghouls. To destroy them all, it must be a powerhouse at least at the celestial immortal level. We can't afford to provoke that kind of character. She was equally worried. That's right, we can't get involved. We've been working discreetly and secretly, but I didn't expect to be noticed. What should we do now? Mingyu looked at the bottle in her hand helplessly. The longevity gathering formation is shattered. The remaining longevity can't be collected. The Antarctic old man will definitely blame us. I'm afraid I can't even keep the longevity in hand. Hearing this, Jing Feng quickly urged, we can't manage that much. Quickly use up all this longevity. Without wasting a second, the two of them quickly took action. Let's go. There are no more longevity ghouls blocking the way. Even if someone finds the Wuzhuang temple, they won't be able to enter. After all, that place has the Grand Guardian formation personally set up by the master. On Chunka side, he landed in a corner of the forest. Chunka muttered, having obtained this ghost body, I can be considered to have some self-protection ability, even though this face can't be easily revealed. He retracted his wings, clenching his fist, now, continue drawing rewards. I currently have over 100 horror points. I can directly draw 10 times in a row. At the same time, the system panel appeared. System, congratulations on receiving Mobile Suit Gundam, 1 unit. Seeing this, Chunka smiled triumphantly. Damn, as expected, a 10 draw is completely different. I got gold right from the start, and even gave me a Gundam. The information panel continued to appear. System, congratulations on receiving North Wind Express, 1 nuclear bomb. He couldn't believe his eyes. Horror plus 3 times 2. Damn, are you kidding me? I even drew a nuclear bomb? Is my luck so heaven-defying? Items continue to appear. System, congratulations on receiving Mao Tai, 1 case, Dubai Tower, 1, drones, matrix. Chunka carefully looked at each item. Drones, matrix, camera, 1, Playboy, complete collection, spicy stick, 1 case. After observing, he muttered, these 5 draws are a bit illusory. Apart from the drones, the others aren't very useful. Continue drawing. The notification sounded. System, congratulations on receiving Unmanned Fighter Jet, 1, Unmanned Fighter Jet 1, Unmanned Fighter Jet 1. He smiled with satisfaction. Unmanned combat equipment, more good stuff again. A 10 draw is truly invincible. Chunka quickly climbed into the armored vehicle to take action. I have to go find the ginseng fruit. Chen Xiang is still in their hands. The scene shifted to the Wuzhuang temple. Groups of people were entering. Bai Gu Jing couldn't hide her satisfaction. Finally, we've arrived at the Wuzhuang temple. When they weren't paying attention, 2 trees in the back slowly moved. Tianxi quickly noticed the strange thing. Those trees are moving. Those trees had enough parts like humans, with red eyes slowly moving towards them. Ziyu frowned and judged. These trees must have been nourished by the spiritual energy from the ginseng fruit tree for many years and have become spirits. It reached out its hand to grab them. She quickly waved her hand to create magic, courting death. 1 strike from Bai Gu Jing shattered part of the tree demon's hand. Looking at it being destroyed easily, she assessed, just a minor demon, not worth mentioning. But Wu Qian timidly pointed ahead. Here it comes again. A series of roots like countless snakes shot straight at them. Fortunately, Bai Gu Jing created a magic ball in time to protect both of them. What? An airtight attack. Over here, Tianxi and Ziyu also created a protective layer. Take action. However, the roots kept coming more and more. The destructive power caused part of the protection to crack. He had realized the concern. We can't hold on for long like this. The tree demons are attacking too much, too relentlessly. Over here, she suddenly had an idea. Saint Bone Madam, why not join forces and stop them? Now, in the face of urgency, she also agreed. Okay. Without wasting a second, Ziyu created magic formation activate. Around her, there was a large swirl, and a solid wall was formed, blocking them and the tree demons. Now, Bai Gu Jing also recognized something. Tai Weiqing Grand Formation? It seems that this girl has a not small background. Ziyu anxiously directed her voice towards her. Saint Bone Madam, please add more power for me. Bai Gu Jing also quickly ran over to support her. Okay. The two of them created a large formation, attacking the tree demons. After finishing, Ziyu said, we've temporarily stopped the tree demons. Quickly enter the Wuzhuang temple. A moment later and something will change. She swung her sword and rushed forward open. But she was knocked back by a strange magical power. Ziyu couldn't hide her confusion. No, it can't be opened. The protective formation of the Wuzhuang temple is still running. She used her power to destroy it. You little cultivators are indeed immature. Let this madam take action. However, even Bai Gu Jing was blown away by that magical power. She exclaimed, it didn't even budge. It's worthy of being the Wuzhuang Temple. After so many years, the formation is still so solid. At this time, Tianxi was extremely worried. What should we do now? We struggled to find the Wuzhuang Temple. The ginseng fruit is likely inside. Are we going back empty-handed? She stared at the protective formation in front. Forcibly breaking it is not possible. Now, the only way is to break the formation. Hearing this, Bai Gu Jing refuted, easier said than done. Even this madam can't break it, who can? Then Ziyu stated her speculation. I just observed the entire Guardian formation and discovered that the main gate of the Wuzhuang Temple is the Formation Eye. And the key to opening the Formation Eye is the couplet hanging on the door. He quickly read it, couplet, long life and immortality, the abode of gods, only the top line without the bottom line. She wondered, little girl, do you mean that as long as we match the bottom line, we can break the formation? She replied in a firm voice, that's right. The probability of success is very high. At this time, Ling Zhu was skipping and humming, like birds' nests on tall sorghum stalks, pointy like jujube dates, hands as skilled as weavers gliding shuttles. Left hand touching one, right hand touching one, cold hand touching that hot one. Then it suddenly stopped because its stomach was rumbling, guru guru. Ling Zhu exhaled wearily, I'm so hungry. I can't even see a delicious demon beast in this place. While it was muttering, Qin Ke's armored vehicle rushed over from behind. If I can find the ginseng fruit, I must eat my fill. Seeing the light above his head gradually being obscured, Ling Zhu hurriedly turned his head to check, what is that? He was sitting inside the armored vehicle eating spicy sticks, looking at the creature outside with suspicion, that is. It immediately jumped onto the armored vehicle. There's no fluctuation of spiritual power. How can it move? Ling Zhu stopped when Qin Ke opened the door. Then it immediately darkened when he teased, it really is the Ling Zhu that Wu Yan gave to Elder Lu. How did it run here? Embarrassed into anger, it simply ate Qin Ke's armored vehicle. Then, in the next second, Ling Zhu spat it out, terrible. He frowned slightly, thinking to himself, I knew this Ling Zhu was no ordinary pig. It's too fierce, it can even gnaw on armored vehicle steel. Suddenly it crawled inside, startling Qin Ke. What's that smell? It's so fragrant. Ling Zhu picked up the pack of spicy sticks and asked, what is this? This scene made him a little interested. Qin Ke replied, spicy sticks. It wanted to quickly fill its hungry stomach, and immediately devoured them. As if feeling the delicacy of the human world, Ling Zhu said happily, so delicious. What kind of immortal food is this? No, immortal food isn't even this delicious. Then it simply poured the whole pack into his mouth. This is the best thing I've ever eaten since I was born, even better than the spirit rice buns from Gao Lao village. One pack was still not enough. Ling Zhu looked at him with greedy eyes. Any more? Hearing this, Qin Ke pulled out another pack of spicy sticks, of course. Its eyes shot out heart shapes, immediately rushing over. Quick, give it to me. But he was in the mood to tease. We're not close. These spicy sticks are extremely rare in the world, more delicious than immortal food, and more precious than spirit pills. I usually don't give them to anyone. These words made Ling Zhu extremely resentful. I can guess what you're thinking even before you lift your butt to shit. If you didn't want to give it to me, you shouldn't have taken it out. Now, it was willing to do anything to exchange for this delicacy. Speak quickly, what do you want to do? Being guessed correctly, Qin Ke felt a pang in his heart. Damn it, this pig is so smart. Then he began to inquire, Old Zhu, are you also here to find the ginseng fruit? It didn't hide anything and honestly replied, that's right. Who has time to come to this ghostly place? Hearing this, Qin Ke asked again, do you know Zhu Beiji? These words made Ling Zhu a little suspicious. I don't know, is he also from my old Zhu's family? Seeing its blank look, Qin Ke wondered, doesn't know? Could it be that this pig came from Gao Lao village but has nothing to do with Zhu Beiji? At this time, Ling Zhu had lost patience. It took out an item. Little brat, stop talking so much. I won't take it for nothing. I'll trade with you for a treasure. This thing immediately made his eyes widen in shock. Oh my god, nine-toothed rake. You're telling me you're not the second senior brother? Holding the rake in his hand, Ling Zhu couldn't understand Qin Ke's words. Second senior brother what? I picked up this weapon when I was born. Trade or not? 2 packs, no, 5 packs of spicy sticks. Qin Ke rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Even if this guy isn't Zhu Beiji, he's a direct descendant. Otherwise, how could he have the nine-toothed rake, the iconic weapon of the second senior brother? After a second of consideration, Qin Ke suggested, Old Zhu, I think it suits you very well. Let's become sworn brothers from different races, how about it? However, it was only concerned about one thing. Does becoming sworn brothers get you spicy sticks to eat? He immediately took out a pack to lure it. Yes, you can eat as much as you want. Ling Zhu immediately bowed respectfully. Big brother, please accept this little brother's bow. This scene left Qin Ke speechless, not knowing what kind of expression to show. Then he took out several packs of spicy sticks, making it light up. Second brother, get up quickly. Big brother gives you 5 packs of spicy sticks as a gift. Chinku was extremely satisfied. I'm making a big profit. This Ling Zhu is very strong and has a not small background. With it by my side, I have an extra layer of safety protection. On Ling Zhu's side, it was also equally satisfied. I'm making a big profit. I'm making a big profit. I ran into a fool. I got 5 packs of spicy sticks with a few words. This kind of elite food of heaven and earth is not easy to find. Thus, the 2 newly sworn brothers quickly moved to the Wuzhuang temple. Looking at the scene ahead, he was a little worried. Saint Bone Madam and the Tianqing cultivators are all here. I'm afraid we can't even get close. Ling Zhu then drew up a perfect plan. This is simple. Knock down that wall to let the tree demons hold them back, and we can take the opportunity to pass. Hearing this, Chinku nodded in agreement. That's also a good way. It frowned again. The biggest problem is how to enter the Wuzhuang temple. They obviously can't open the main door. Over there, Tianxi was still diligently solving the couplet. I think of the bottom line. Benefiting longevity and extending years. Living freely in a hut. Seeing that this answer was quite reasonable, Ziyu stepped forward. Let me try. Then she carefully wrote the couplet. Benefiting longevity and extending years. Living freely in a hut. But the words immediately blurred. Ziyu exclaimed, it doesn't work. Over here, Bai Gujing spoke, the Wuzhuang temple is such a solemn place. You used the word hut, it definitely won't work. You wasted your reading. Use mine. Auspicious Chi fills the door, the sage reveals his family. But when Ziyu wrote it, the words immediately disappeared. She said it still doesn't work. At this time, Wu Qian suggested, everyone, stop guessing randomly. The probability of guessing correctly is too low. We must find the original bottom line of the Wuzhuang temple. These words made him even more desperate. Several hundred years have passed. Who still remembers what the bottom line of the Wuzhuang temple is? On Ling Zhu's side, it also realized that to enter the door, they had to match the bottom line of the couplet on the door. Chinku then became full of spirit. In that case, it doesn't seem to be a big problem. Start blasting. He secretly recalled, this couplet is exactly the same as in the journey to the west I watched. Seeing this, it refuted, what do you mean it's not a big problem? This couplet isn't something you can just think of anything. You have to know what the original bottom line is first. Don't move yet. But it was too late. Chinku had already fired at the wall. This made Ling Zhu helplessly sigh. Young people are too impulsive. They watched in shock as the wall was being broken from the outside. Ziyu immediately became alert. Not good. Someone is destroying the grand formation. This small hole was enough to allow several tree demons to crawl in. It roared a very ferocious sound, as if it could swallow everything. Bai Gu Jing couldn't hide the tension. The tree demons are rushing here. Quickly stop them. Without delaying for even a second, she fired magic at it. Seeing that the grand formation had been broken, he quickly controlled the armored vehicle, rushed through. Chinku tried to weave through the tree demons to enter. It couldn't understand his actions. You're really reckless, just rushing through like that. In just a moment, the 2 of them had successfully entered. Seeing Chinku's armored vehicle, Bai Gu Jing widened her eyes. Shock +3, it's that little brat. Chen Xiang couldn't hide the joy and shouted, Chinku. Wu Qian also exclaimed in shock +2, big brother isn't dead. Chinku waved his hand, calling them over, come on up. Hearing this, they quickly ran to the armored vehicle. Okay, big brother, we're coming. This scene immediately stunned Tianxi. Shock +4. How is it possible? How could this mortal brat survive that swarm of longevity ghouls? At this time, the vehicle door closed, and all of them were safely inside. He then recounted the previous events. Chengge, to enter the Wuzhuang temple, you need to match the couplet. He was still full of hatred. I'm going to kill that little brat. But he was stopped by Ziyu. Senior brother, deal with these tree demons first. Over here, Bai Gu Jing also spoke. Tree demons are difficult to deal with. Stabilize these tree demons first. That little brat can't escape. Wu Qian suggested. While the tree demons restrain them, let's quickly run. However, Qin could jump down. Run from what? Let me try. While chewing spicy sticks, Ling Zhu said, the bottom line has to be right. There's only one bottom line for the Wuzhuang temple. There's no different than finding a needle in the ocean. He firmly held the pen, slowly writing the answer in his head. Ziyu and Tianxi couldn't help but utter words of contempt. Ignorant brat. How can you match the next line? After a while, Qin completed the couplet, sharing the same lifespan as the heavens, the home of Taoist immortals. Qin Xiang rubbed his chin, sharing the same lifespan as the heavens, the home of Taoist immortals. This couplet is quite reasonable, just don't know if it's correct. And Wu Qian immediately assessed, it might be right. Meanwhile, they had created another grand formation to stop the tree demons. She was constantly using magic, her eyes concentrating. He gritted his teeth in anger, stop these tree demons. I'm going to kill that little brat. Unexpectedly, the gate of the Wuzhuang temple really opened. This scene made Tianxi gape, shock +5. What? Bai Gu Jing was no less surprised, shock +5, it's open. The Wuzhuang temple's door was actually opened by that little brat. He couldn't believe his eyes. Am I seeing things? The door is open. Big brother matched the line correctly. Ling Zhu had to praise, it's really open. You're good, kid. As for Chinku, he was busy with self-admiration. How could I be your big brother without some skills? Then, he waved his hand. Chinxiang, drive in. Their armored vehicle had successfully entered the Wuzhuang temple. Not allowing them to achieve their goal, she rushed over. Little brat, the ginseng fruit is mine. Tianxi and Ziyu also followed. Go, let's go in together. Seeing them rush over, Chinku said loudly, fire the cannons. Immediately, the armored vehicle's cannon was preparing to fire. The bullets were fired relentlessly, not giving the opponent time to react. Bai Gu Jing gritted her teeth, trying to suppress it with magic. Her spiritual energy and the cannon fire collided fiercely. As for his group, they had entered the Wuzhuang temple. When they rushed over to enter, the gates slammed shut. Tianxi punched the wooden door hard. Damn it. One step too late, the door closed. Bai Gu Jing suggested, wait here for them to come out. How can the ginseng fruit be allowed to be taken by this trash? But he raised concerns. What if they eat the ginseng fruit? Her eyes sharpened, then refine them, and then eat them. Su Ping and Po were cultivating together. Just at this moment, two figures appeared from the sky. Seeing them, Su Ping and Po quickly stood up and saluted. Greetings, two ancestors. Mingyu directly got to the main point, urging them, the situation has changed. An accident has occurred in the back mountain. You two must break through quickly. Po asked in confusion. Accident? What accident? However, Qin Feng didn't tell him. There's no need to ask about this, lest you be distracted. Just know that our Tianla mountain is about to welcome a great tribulation. So you two must strengthen your cultivation. Su Ping said with a worried expression. Ancestor, I'm afraid we need more time to break through. At this moment, Mingyu conjured a bottle of medicine and sent it flying towards her, saying, here's something for you. As soon as Su Ping opened it, she exclaimed in surprise, it's an immortal elixir, even of higher quality than the last time. Mingyu earnestly instructed, this number of immortal elixirs should be enough to help both of you break through. Don't disappoint us. After saying that, he disappeared. Qin Feng lingered and reminded them once more, hurry and cultivate. Whether Tianshu Mountain can survive the tribulation depends on the two of you. Pana cupped his hands in a respectful salute and replied, farewell, second founders. This disciple will certainly not fail your expectations. After the two founders left, Su Ping quickly suggested, brother, let's hurry and start cultivating. Pana then requested of her, sister, give me that immortal elixir. Su Ping readily agreed, using her magic to give him a portion. All right. Unexpectedly, he repeated himself clearly once more, little sister, I said give me all of that immortal elixir. She repeated those 4 words in confusion, give you all of it? Then she asked in puzzlement, brother, that many pills should be enough to help you break through. Why do you still want? Pana frankly replied, I want to continue advancing another realm after breaking through. After hearing that, Su Ping's mind was a little muddled. With a worried expression, she said, but the founder instructed that both of us must break through. Unexpectedly, Pana directly sucked the entire bottle of pills in her hand towards himself, while reassuring her, leave the matter with the founder to me. At the same time, Anchinku sighed. Wu Chan looked around and couldn't help but exclaim in admiration, worthy of being the #1 Taoist temple under the heavens. The Wuzhuang temple is indeed extraordinary. Chinku was concerned about something else and asked him, Wu Chan, as a descendant of the royal family, you should know why Jinyuan Daxian suddenly disappeared. Wu Chan recounted with a serious expression, 500 years ago, heaven and earth experienced a great tribulation that caused the universe to turn upside down. Many deities disappeared from the world. As for the specific details, I don't know much. He continued to probe them. What about Sun Wukong? Do you know him? Ling Zhu, who was still holding the spicy sticks, spoke up. Sun Wukong? Why does that name sound familiar? Wu Chan was extremely certain in his assertion. I've never heard of this person. Chinku felt that something was strange, and stroked his chin as he speculated, that's strange. Could it be that the great sage never existed in this world, or was his trace intentionally erased by someone? At this moment, their tank suddenly bumped into a protective barrier, causing it to stop. After observing it, Wu Chan confirmed the reason. What's ahead is the central domain of the Wuzhuang temple, guarded by a great protective formation. Ling Zhu also jumped down to take a look. He immediately stated his thoughts. There must be extraordinary treasures inside. At this time, Wu Chan called out from the tank, second brother, get out of the way. Then, he had the tank fire a shot at the protective formation. After it was done, Chinku said with a tense expression, not good, the magic power isn't enough. Wu Chan also jumped out of the tank and said, it's a gathering heaven spirit formation. You need an extremely powerful spirit treasure to break it. Let me try. After saying that, he loudly shouted the command, spirit fork needle, break. But the barrier didn't budge at all. Wu Chan finally had to give up helplessly. It's no good, the treasures I brought are too weak. This time, Chen Xiang stepped forward to volunteer, brother Chen, let me try. However, Chinku spoke up to refuse, no need. Your precious lotus lamp will cause a big commotion. Don't let others know about it for the time being. Seeing this, Ling Zhu said with regret, looks like this pig doesn't have the good fortune to acquire the wondrous items inside. Wu Chan also suggested that everyone give up, let's go. Let's continue looking for the ginseng fruit. Without a powerful spirit treasure, staying here will only waste time. Unexpectedly, Chinku had another way. Who said I don't have a powerful spirit treasure? Second brother, you have one. Ling Zhu didn't even know that he had a powerful spirit treasure, and asked back in confusion, I do? A second later, he said incredulously, are you kidding me? If I had a spirit treasure, wouldn't I know? Chinku called out to him, second brother, take out the nine-toothed rake I gave you and try it. Ling Zhu listened and conjured his rake. The nine-toothed rake? You mean this thing? He confirmed, yes, that's it. Quickly use it to break the formation. However, Ling Zhu still couldn't believe it, and explained, are you drunk? I picked up this thing when I was young. There's nothing special about it. It doesn't seem to have any spiritual energy fluctuations. It's not even as good as a low-grade magic tool. Wu Chan observed the nine-toothed rake and commented, this weapon only looks strangely shaped at first glance. It's indeed very ordinary. I can't see any magical points. Chinku said with great certainty, believe me. I'll bet 5 packs of spicy sticks. Upon hearing that there were spicy sticks, Ling Zhu quickly agreed this time, alright, this pig will give it a try. He used the nine-toothed rake to scrape hard at the protective barrier. Unexpectedly, a second later, he was bounced back by the barrier. Ling Zhu and the magic tool fell to the ground. He painfully rebuked, little brat, you almost made this pig's internal organs shatter. Wu Chan sighed and turned his head to leave, it's no good. Let's go. Just then, he heard cracking sounds behind him. Wu Chan couldn't believe it and turned back to look, exclaiming in shock, what? Before his eyes, the barrier was slowly opening. Ling Zhu's expression was no less astonished. He asked in a daze, what? The formation was really broken by me. He looked at the ordinary magic tool on the ground, still unable to believe it, and asked again, is my nine-toothed rake really a treasure? Soon after, the 4 of them stepped into the domain of the Wuzhuang Temple. Wu Chan looked around and said, this is the central main hall of the Wuzhuang Temple. Worthy of being the Taoist temple of the earth, immortal ancestor. After entering, you can feel the Taoist rhythm flowing. The aura is extremely profound. If you can cultivate here, it will definitely be twice the result with half the effort. Chen Xiang pointed to a glowing cushion and said, this bulrush cushion looks extraordinary. Then, everyone paid attention to it. Wu Chan was the most knowledgeable about this place and introduced, this is very likely the cushion that Jinyuan Daxian used to cultivate. It's said to be an immortal treasure, stained with the Taoist comprehension aura of the earth immortal ancestor. This is a great opportunity. After hearing that, Chen Xiang went over and sat on it, saying, I'll give it a try. In the next second, the cushion emitted a faint golden halo that surrounded him. Wu Chan quickly asked curiously, how does it feel? Chen Xiang seemed extremely comfortable and replied with satisfaction, it's so good that it can't be any better. My whole body is relaxed, and my senses have improved significantly. Many of the previous cultivation problems have been easily solved. This bulrush cushion can help people comprehend the Tao. Wu Chan also flew closer and urged, hurry up a bit, let me try it too. So, he was the next person to sit on the bulrush cushion. Not long after sitting down, Wu Chan felt the spiritual energy brought by the cushion, and laughed happily, ha ha ha, I broke through. I actually broke through to the peak of qi refining. Seeing this, Ling Zhu also jumped onto the cushion, let this pig try it too. However, even though he put his hands together very sincerely, the cushion didn't move at all. Ling Zhu also asked in confusion, what's going on? Why is there no movement when this pig sits on it? Wu Chan speculated, could it be that this treasure isn't suitable for the demon race, and only works on the human race? As soon as he heard that, he left in a huff, saying, how boring. I'm going to look around somewhere else. After Ling Zhu left, Chen Xiang suggested, brother Chen, you should try it too. Although you can't cultivate, maybe you'll have some insights. Qin readily agreed with the okay and jumped onto the cushion. At that moment, the cushion emitted the same comfortable, faint golden halo that surrounded him. However, just a few seconds later, Qin suddenly clutched his head and shouted, ugh, it hurts so much. This feeling, the memories of the past are flooding back. In his mind, images of himself covered in injuries appeared. 2 guards stood in front of him, shouting, young master, run. Immediately, the guard received a sword slash to the neck, accompanied by a reply, he can't escape. Finally, Chinku was captured, and they tied him to a tall pillar. An old man with green hair of unknown origin questioned Kur, will you admit your mistake, or will you accept your fate? Chinku did not hesitate and shouted resolutely, I am not wrong, and I do not want to accept my fate. Seeing that he didn't listen, the old man raised his hand into the air and shouted, bring the lightning. A bolt of lightning immediately struck Chinku. He shouted a long ah in pain. At this time, outside, Chen Xiang and Wu Chan took turns calling him, Brother Chen, eldest brother. Chinku finally woke up. He opened his eyes wide, panting, and said, the images were so real. Someone wanted to kill the original body. The identity of the original body is probably not so simple. Seeing this, Chen Xiang asked worriedly, Brother Chen, are you okay? He lifted his foot to get up, and replied, I'm okay. It seems that the bulrush cushion has no effect on my cultivation. Just then, the bulrush cushion suddenly sprouted several vines. They slowly climbed onto Chinka's body, causing him to call out in confusion, "What's this? What's going on?" Chen Xiang reminded Brother Chen, "Don't move." After hearing that, Chinka didn't understand, and asked back blankly, "Don't move? What do you mean?" Wu Chan explained more clearly, "This bulrush cushion seems to be emitting vitality. And what's more, this vitality is pouring into you." At this time, the vines were still enthusiastically wrapping around his body. Chinka was a little flustered with them, and cursed, "Damn it, this is the first time I've experienced this. I'm a little panicked." Soon after, the branches of vitality lifted him into the air. Finally, it formed a small seed. Chinka exclaimed in surprise and confusion, "The bulrush cushion turned into a seed. Can anyone tell me what's going on?" Wu Chan explained, "It is said that the bulrush cushion used by Jinyuan Daxian to comprehend the Tao was a section of Immortal Vine from the beginning of the primordial chaos. After Jinyuan Daxian obtained it, he used great magic power to create it. Now, without the magic power of Jinyuan Daxian to suppress it, it is very likely that this immortal vine has turned into an immortal seed, about to awaken again." Chinka asked, "What should I do now?" He looked at the immortal seed and replied with a smile, "The immortal seed is an opportunity that we wouldn't even dare to think about. We must obtain it." Wu Chan originally wanted to grab the immortal seed, but was knocked away by it. He was sent flying all the way to Chen Xiang. Wu Chan got up and hurriedly called out, "Chen Xiang, let's attack together with all our strength." He quickly replied, "Okay." However, both of them were pushed back by the immortal seed's spiritual energy at the same time. Seeing that it was too unstable, Wu Chan said, "No good. Compared to the immortal seed, we are too small. We are completely unqualified to obtain it." Suddenly, the immortal seed automatically flew quickly towards Chinka. Then, it stuck itself to his forehead, and was even trying to invade him. Wu Chan was shocked when he saw it, exclaiming in surprise this. Chen Xiang asked with concern, "Eldest brother, how do you feel?" He rubbed his forehead and replied, "I don't feel anything." Wu Chan was happy for him and congratulated with a smile. "Apart from the ginseng fruit, this immortal seed is probably the greatest creation in this place. Eldest brother has boundless blessings. In the future, when you cultivate, you will definitely have a bright future." However, Chinka still felt strange, clenched his fist, and wondered, "You couldn't get it, so why did the immortal seed fly into my body?" Chen Xiang explained according to his own speculation, "I once read records in ancient books, that immortal vines only grow in places of no spirit. This is probably the fundamental reason." He repeated the 4 words in confusion, "Places of no spirit?" He explained more clearly, "Places of no spirit are places where there is no spiritual power at all. For treasures like the immortal vine, any spiritual energy in the world is a kind of pollution to it. It grows in places where there is no spiritual energy, and can become a world of its own. Brother Chen, you don't cultivate, and there is no spiritual power in your body, so to the immortal seed, it is a place of no spirit." Chinka realized something was wrong at this moment, and asked, "So, the immortal seed sees me as nourishing blood? Am I not going to become a vegetable in the future?" Before anyone could answer him, Ling Zhu fell from somewhere. He sat up and complained, "Damn it, I almost died." Wu Chan asked in confusion, "What's wrong?" Ling Zhu pointed to the painting hanging on the wall and said, "There's something wrong with that painting. This broken place doesn't have any treasures, but there are a lot of restrictions." Everyone quickly gathered to look at the painting. Wu Chan recognized it as soon as he saw it. This is a portrait of Jinyuan Daxian. Then, he and Chen Xiang saluted the painting together, and said admiringly, "Jinyuan Daxian has blessed the cultivators of the lower realm for so many years. He is indeed worthy of our worship." Ling Zhu turned around and left without any interest. What's so worthy of worshipping about a painting? This pig is going to wander around somewhere else. At this moment, the painting emitted a surge of spiritual energy, easily visible to the naked eye. Chinka stared at it intently, and exclaimed in confusion, "This is..." Then, the old man drawn on the paper stepped out of the painting. Wu Chan exclaimed in shock, "Jinyuan Daxian stepped out of the painting." Then, he and Chen Xiang saluted again without any precautions, and said respectfully in unison, "We juniors pay our respects to Jinyuan Daxian." At this time, Chinka felt that something was wrong, and said, "Wait, something's not quite right." Wu Chan and Chen Xiang both met. Over here, Jinyuan Daxian's whole body suddenly trembled. Seeing it, Chen Xiang was startled and shouted, Why is Jinyuan Daxian shedding tears of blood?" At this time, he could no longer stand and fell to the ground. Chen Xiang said with a pale face, "Could this be the scene before he passed away?" Jinyuan was crying louder and louder, his eye sockets filled with blood. He sobbed in front of the 3 of them. Wu Chan asked in confusion, "What kind of scene is this?" He glanced at it, and exclaimed in a tone that was still shocked, "The Earth Immortal Ancestor has turned into blood water." At this time, Jinyuan spoke, "Little ones." Chinka asked with a slight surprise, "Are you talking to me?" He nodded in confirmation, and said, "Little one, Dong San Xing." Chinka asked everyone nervously, "Did you hear what Jinyuanzi said?" After hearing his question, Chen Xiang replied in great confusion, "Say what? I didn't hear anything." Wu Chan spoke up and said, eldest brother, that's just an image left behind when he was alive. How could there be sound? Qinke's expression immediately became even more confused, and he muttered, damn it, so only I can hear Jin Yuanzi's words. Jinyuan Daxian called out to him in a weak voice, Dong San Xing, Xiaoyu Mountain, go. Qinke seemed to realize something, and his eyes widened slightly as he thought, Jin Yuanzi told me to go to Dong San Xing on Xiaoyu Mountain. In Journey to the West. That place is no ordinary place, but the cave dwelling of Patriarch Bodhi. The key is, why did Jinyuan Daxian come to me? Could it be related to the identity of this body? While Qinke was lost in thought, Chen Xiang spoke up and said, Earth immortal ancestor Jin Yuanzi has turned into blood water and died. This matter will surely shake the heavens and earth when it spreads out. Even Wu Chan replied with an unbelievable expression, who would dare to attack Jinyuan Daxian? Moreover, that person may be Jin Yuanzi's opponent. This matter may be related to extremely great secrets. Then, he quickly suggested, it's best not to get involved in any karma, otherwise, the lightest consequence will be the destruction of your soul and body. Let's leave quickly. Chen Xiang turned around to leave with him, not forgetting to call him, eldest brother, let's go. Qinke stayed behind and hurriedly bowed to Jinyuan, expressing his sincere apology. Dong San Xing on Xiaoyu Mountain is located on Lingtai Fengsuan Mountain. With my current abilities, I'm afraid I can't reach it. I'm afraid I can't fulfill Jinyuan Daxian's last wish. However, the reply to him was silence. Qinke thought suspiciously, no reaction? Could it be that Jin Yuanzi really has no consciousness now? It's just a segment of the image left behind? Seeing this, he had to change his tone. Great Immortal, forgive me, my intention is that in order to fulfill your last wish, I need to increase my strength. Sure enough, as soon as he finished speaking, a whip flew out from the painting. Qinke raised his hand to receive it, and said happily, a weapon, it really came. This is the right way to ask for help. He looked at the weapon in his hand, and commented, this is Jinyuan Daxian's weapon, the dragon pattern 7-star whip. This treasure once caused even Sun Wukong to be beaten in pain. Qinke cupped his hands and said his thanks, thank you, great Immortal. But I am still just a mortal now, even with a weapon, I don't know how to use it. Is there no other way for me to cultivate? According to his demands, another treasure flew out from the painting. Qinke praised with satisfaction, it's here again. This is the jade orb that Jinyuan Daxian often holds in his hand. This is Jin Yuanzi's close item, and has an extraordinary origin. At this time, Jinyuan Daxian raised his hand, and weakly instructed one last time, time is running out, within a year, you must arrive. After speaking, he turned into a pool of black mud. Qinke hurriedly called out, great Immortal, Jinyuan Daxian, are you still there? Seeing that no one answered, Qinke also understood. He looked at the two treasures in his hand, and said with some regret, it seems that he has really disappeared. It's a pity, Jin Yuanzi's most important magic treasure, the Earth Book, was not passed on to me. In his mind, he associated it with the Spirit Treasure Heavenly Book Jade Scroll, and also spoke of it. That's one of the 10 great innate spirit treasures, belonging to the highest level of magic treasures. Soon after, the three of them came out. Chen Xiang spoke to inform, I once saw the map of the Wuzhuang Temple in the Tibetan Sutra Pavilion of the Wusizang State. Beyond this courtyard is the place of the ginseng fruit tree. As soon as they finished the steps, Ling Zhu was sent flying from somewhere and fell to the ground, blocking in front of them. Qinke asked worriedly, second brother, what's wrong now? Ling Zhu stood up while rubbing his butt and replied, there's something above. According to his words, the three of them simultaneously raised their heads to look. Above them was a huge monster with countless tentacles spreading out. Wu Chan exclaimed in surprise, what is this? Chen Xiang gave a speculation, it seems to be a monster. Why is there such a thing in the Wuzhuang Temple? At this time, the monster launched a tentacle towards Ling Zhu. Fortunately, he reacted quickly and turned his head to run, shouting in panic again. However, the monster was determined not to let him go, and it continuously launched tentacles to attack Ling Zhu. Chen Xiang recognized the strange point, and pointed to say, everyone, do you see that? It seems that this monster is only attacking Ling Zhu. Wu Chan also recognized it, and while thinking about the reason, he said, that's right, it seems that there's something on Ling Zhu that attracts it to attack. Over here, Ling Zhu was finally caught by the monster, and he scolded irritably, this is bullshit. The monster said loudly above, immeasurable amount of kulpas, formation, persistence, destruction, emptiness, yuan hui extinction, even the immortal gods will be destroyed. Seeing that the three people below were just standing there watching, Ling Zhu was annoyed and shouted loudly, what are you standing there for? Save me quickly. Chen Xiang shouted a word up. Then he and Wu Chan immediately flew into the air. However, before they could get close to the monster, they were bounced back by its formation. The two had no other choice but to land back on the ground. Chen Xiang said helplessly, no good, there is a restriction in the air of the Wuzhuang Temple, it's completely impossible to fly. Ling Zhu heard and cried, it's over, this pig is done for. At this time, Qinke conjured an assault rifle, let me. After saying that, he raised his gun and fired a shot. The shot successfully hit the tentacle that was binding Ling Zhu. Unexpectedly, it didn't do anything at all. he exclaimed in surprise and worry. What? The attack is completely ineffective. Wu Chan reminded him, eldest brother, hit its eyes are its weak point. Chinku shouted a word, okay. Then he raised his gun and fired another shot. The shot hit the monster's eye. In the next second, it became flustered and struggled with its tentacles. At this time, Chinku quickly fired another shot into its remaining eye. The monster couldn't bear it anymore and released Ling Zhu. Then, the group of four quickly ran away. Chinku also looked at Ling Zhu and shouted loudly, run quickly. At this time, the monster in the air repeated the sentence from earlier, Yuan Hui's fortune is an immeasurable amount of kulpas. The heavens and earth are reconstructed, no one can transcend. After arriving at a safe place, Ling Zhu breathed a sigh of relief and said, you scared the pig out of me. Is that monster gone? Chen Xiang looked around and replied, gone, it's gone. Then Chinku asked, what did that monster mean by saying immeasurable kulpas? He explained to him, immeasurable kulpas is the greatest tribulation between heaven and earth in legends. If it really happens, everything will be wiped out. Wu Qian also turned his head back and stated his own speculation. Perhaps this is not baseless. The monster just now was very similar to the Kulpa demon in legends. A kind of demon specializing in harvesting lives during tribulations. He pointed to his eyes and continued, the weak point is the eyes, just confirmed. At this time, Ling Zhu came out of the house wondering, what Kulpa demon? The important thing is why it only caught me and not you. Chen Xiang speculated, perhaps it's because our cultivation is too low, the Kulpa demon didn't bother with us. Ling Zhu, after hearing this, began to pretend, crossing his arms and admiring himself, hearing what you said I understood. It's because I, Zhu, am divinely martial and extraordinary. Heroic and unmatched, with endless potential. I will definitely become a famous cult leader in the future, so I was targeted by the Kulpa demon. Wu Qian almost believed these words, looking dazed and saying, if you hadn't been born in my pigsty, I would have believed it. At this time, Chen Xiang suggested, let's go, find the ginseng fruit first. Soon they saw the four of them standing in front of a closed door. Wu Qian looked at it and said the ginseng fruit is right in the backyard of this door. Then Chen Xiang stepped forward to open the door. Qin Ke, not knowing what scene he saw inside, exclaimed in extreme surprise, what? Before their eyes was a tree that had been uprooted and lying withered on the ground. Wu Qian exclaimed in disbelief, the ginseng fruit tree, is it dead? Chen Xiang observed the tree trunk and analyzed, the tree trunk is all withered, it has probably been uprooted for a long time. Qin Ke then approached the tree trunk and said, look for any ginseng fruits. After a while, Ling Zhu sighed with a disappointed expression, I wasted my time, there's nothing. Chen Xiang asked a question, I don't understand, it's clear that the ginseng fruit tree is dead, why does the sect still periodically send people into the mountain to look for the fruit? Wu Qian guessed, could it be that the two ancestors Qing Feng and Ming Yu don't know about this? He decisively rejected, impossible, the ginseng fruit tree is a divine tree, it's not easy to die like that. Now it's withered like this, it must have been 400 or 500 years to get to this point. Over here, Qin Ke, listening to their discussion, put his hand on his chin and secretly analyzed, 400 or 500 years, could it be that after Sun Wukong pushed down the ginseng fruit tree? That year, he didn't ask wanting to save it. Chen Xiang turned to ask everyone's opinion, what should we do now? He replied, if Qing Feng and Ming Yu know about this, I'm afraid we can't go back to Tianlao Mountain. Wu Qian asked in confusion, can't go back? Why could it be? Chen Xiang agreed with Qin Ke's opinion. Just as Qin Ke said, the two ancestors Qing Feng and Ming Yu probably knew about this a long time ago. If we go back, we will definitely be silenced. Finally, Wu Qian concluded, then the problem is, if the two ancestors knew that the ginseng fruit tree was dead, why did they keep sending Tianlao Mountain disciples to find it? Isn't it sending them to their deaths? Chen Xiang shook his head and replied, this is not clear. At this time, Ling Xu went over to affirm, you're right, it's just sending them to their deaths. Qin Ke saw it speaking so certainly and asked, second brother, do you know something? Unexpectedly, Ling Zhu replied, I don't know anything, but I'm sure the longevity ghouls we met last time were not simple. I guess those things must have been raised by someone. After hearing this bold speculation, Chen Xiang was shocked and shouted, what? Longevity ghouls are raised by someone? Wu Qian's expression also clearly showed tension, saying, who has such great ability, to be able to raise those immortal and indestructible longevity ghouls? Ling Zhu put his hands on his hips and replied, I'm afraid only a powerhouse at the immortal level can do it. Qin Ke was silent, worriedly thinking to himself, the longevity ghouls have basically been destroyed by me. If a big figure is really raising them, and knows that I killed them all, he will definitely not let me go. At this time, Chen Xiang analyzed the current situation. Now we are in a dilemma. Don't talk about Tianlao Mountain, even the Saint Bone Madam outside will not let us go. Wu Qian sighed, helplessly saying, Haze, in this situation, we, the royal family of the Utsang country, will surely die. The people of Tianlao Mountain, Tianqing, Saint Bone Madam, we can't provoke any of them. Unexpectedly, Qin Ke decisively suggested, then kill them all. Wu Qian surprised and said, huh? Ling Zhu, after hearing, laughed and agreed, ha ha ha, kill them all, I Zhu like it. Wu Qian was still a little worried and asked again, "Big brother, are you serious?" Chinku nodded without hesitation, replying, "You're talking too much. There are people who want to kill me. I don't mind blowing up a big one." After finishing speaking, he turned and left, not forgetting to advise everyone, "Now that it's like this, quickly find if there are any opportunities here to increase your strength. Don't go out for now, the longer we stay here the better." Qinxiang beckoned to Wu Qian, "Let's go, let's find it separately. Only by getting stronger will we have a chance to survive." Soon after, the three of them gathered. Wu Qian said, "I've searched everywhere. I didn't see any opportunities." Qinxiang repeated the previous incident and speculated, "When the accident happened that year, the disciples of the Wuzhuang temple ran away and must have taken everything they could, leaving nothing behind." At this time, the sound of cracking came from behind them, causing them to turn around to look. It turned out that Ling Zhu was working hard at the tree trunk, constantly making sounds of cracking. Chinku went over to ask, "Second brother, what are you doing?" It replied while chewing, "This ginseng fruit tree is so fragrant, I thought I could eat it. I didn't expect it to be so delicious." After speaking, Ling Zhu turned to continue gnawing at the tree trunk. Unexpectedly, a large flame radiated around its body a few seconds later. Wu Qian exclaimed in surprise, "Damn, this pig actually broke through after gnawing wood." Qinxiang then realized something, quickly saying, "I should have thought of it earlier, this is the ginseng fruit tree. Even if it's dead, the tree trunk is still a supreme treasure. We were still looking for other treasures." Wu Qian, after hearing, also went to Ling Zhu, saying excitedly, "Hearing that makes my teeth itch, I have to try to bite a piece too." He held the tree trunk with both hands, opening his mouth wide. Then he strongly bit a piece of the tree trunk. Unexpectedly, things didn't go as expected. Wu Qian clutched his mouth and shouted, "Ah, it hurts. It's too hard, I broke my teeth." Qinxiang pointed and reminded, "The ginseng fruit tree is a divine tree. It's extremely hard, we definitely can't gnaw it." Wu Qian, after hearing, pointed at Ling Zhu and angrily shouted, "So this pig can actually gnaw it?" Qinxiang just smiled and guessed, "Probably, it's an innate talent." Over there, Ling Zhu finished eating and lay on the ground, saying, "I'm full, I'll rest for a while." Wu Qian still felt unwilling, and complained, "The opportunity is right before my eyes, but I can't use it, it's really uncomfortable." At this time, Qinxiang conjured a lotus flower and said, "Maybe I can try it too." He curiously asked, "What treasure is this?"